pressure is always high every year in every FNCS and every major tournament.
Well, personally, the pressure on me hasn't gone up. On other people, the pressure definitely has gone up, especially people that want to make it to their first global championship as well as grands.
It would be the best thing, like, to spawn major 1 or 2, but it seems really hard. I want to play like really good on all the 3 majors.
The thing is, anything can happen, even if you're one of the best in the game. I go into everything with 100% confidence.
Qualifying early this year would be very chill, because then pressure's off. I mean, there's like record numbers playing tournaments now.
It's definitely more competitive this year.
People will play a bit more scary in grants because there is no less chance.
Getting first or second in grants is pretty difficult with the big names we have in Europe.
To make the LAN, you have to be a seasoned veteran of the game.
Hopefully I can prove that me and Mongrel, we can come back and we can smash it.
The only thing I really care about this season is FNCS because it's like the biggest thing.
Oh, I forgot to go live on Kick as well.
We have like the best chemistry.
Let's chat solo.
I'm trying to get a few
Not
more
that.
FNCS
Oops.
clutches and
Here we go. Get live on Kick as well there. It's literally just oh my days, I'm losing my voice, Excel. Hello, Excel. We still got 4 insta stars. I'm actually just going to do maths homework during this as well. The farmer collects some eggs from his hens one morning. The eggs are either brown or white and are sorted into small and large sizes with Venn diagram shows the results. 2 eggs are chosen at random. What is the probability that the first egg is large and white? Wow.
Please forgive me.
No!
Vino's hair, mate. I ain't got a clue.
I think we got Vino's hair. That's King's eyes.
Is that King or not?
I say Queasy.
The top is Benno, the middle is King.
It's a chin. It's literally a chin. Hold on. Vico.
What are they doing?
Oh, it's Vico, no!
I don't know the last name. Wait, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
Do you like the video that plays at the top where it says like Twitter and all that? It's actually, I think I cooked with that.
Championship, I'm trying to think.
I'm not sure. Okay, well I'm just going 9 at the top.
Put aside maybe. Put aside Payton, Giannis. Lock it in. Oh, mate! Oh my god, I know my chins, mate!
I'm getting 2 out of 3 every time.
I know my chins.
Can we change it to cool?
It's my arch nemesis, Fanabuka. The bottom one is pink, but I don't know who the top one is.
So the middle one's...
Well, the Book is his arch nemesis apparently, I don't even know that.
I don't know the last one.
Okay, we got Malibu now.
Do you think they actually do well today, Excel, or do you think they just flop? I think they flop again.
Oh, it's pink.
Oh, he's gotta be mad at me.
Not saw it yet.
I'm gonna be
It's
honest.
no, like the video that's the left, on the top left. Yeah.
Queasy's one of my good friends, you know, as well. So please forgive me.
It just like shows all my socials,
Top one is Moneymaker.
and then like the merch store. So maybe I'll actually start gaining Twitter followers. That's a dream, that's a dream. There are only 7 blue pens and 4 green pens and 6 red pens in a box. 1 pen is taken at random. This is definitely foundation level maths they put me. I write down the probability that the pen is blue.
steady. Pretty steady.
7 plus 4 is 11, plus 6
Easy. I think
is
that's
17.
but the hair, man.
Probability, it's 7 out of 17 chance.
I don't know the last one.
Yeah, I know that chin. That's really
I think it cooks it, so like, I actually think it looks good.
No reason smile. So bottom one is reason A, middle one is me, and then hand on the top. That's my final game.
I think it's actually good.
It's not hen. It could be. Is it hen? Nah. It's chin for that.
Okay, it's gotta be
Rose Smith. Hello, Rose.
I'm passing. I don't know the trim.
Is that Rose from a Discord server? Is that who
It's hen.
Rose
Hen
is?
trims like that.
Oh, what? I actually got it.
Oh, it was really.
Hen, mate. What are you doing?
I get how he's talking about haircut. That is mad. Oh my god, Hen actually looks a bit. Hen's terrifying. Rihanna plays a game. The probability that she will lose the game is 0.32. Probability that she will draw the game. This is tough. We only got 1 minute. It's actually a pretty short test. Exile, I think Mongol and Mr. Savage, they actually have a comeback today, 100%. I hope Mini Miner's here again, I love Mini Miner. I'm Rose from the Discord. I don't think I've actually ever seen you chat. Meow, why are you meowing? Should I make that a command? Meow. I'm not going to right now, but I could. Oh, they actually need to hurry up, this is boring. Come on. I hate her so much, she's my least favourite.
FNCS Grand Finals, it's day 2, and you know what that means? It means in 6 games time, we are going to crown a champion. And you know who is going to join me in this ceremony? It's 11-2K and Mini Miner. You get no points for guessing that one. It was rather obvious. If you've been
Game
watching the
7's in
action
15
over the last
minutes.
month- in fact, if you've been watching
15
over the past
minutes.
2 years,
I'm not waiting
what was your
15
first
minutes.
broadcast in FNCS?
It was Chapter 3, Season 2, so nearly 2 years ago
15-minute
now, so
wait
been around for a little while.
for Game 7. I thought it was going to be like immediately.
Yeah, I think chapter
15 minutes. Well, that woman XL, that is a bit weird.
I'm an old head in the game.
You're not
Oh
an
my
old
God,
head, you're
15-minute
about
wait.
22, But you were a mere teenager when you joined the broadcast team, so it's been an absolute privilege to see you grow up. We're not going to talk about my age, although my first one was a year ago now, and it was such a memorable final, so I'm hoping we're going to make some memories today. And speaking of a walk down memory
That's
lane,
actually a weight
can we
XL.
talk
What is that?
about comebacks, Levin?
Yes, I think it's really important to talk about comebacks, right? Because today's a bit different from yesterday, Frankie. Today we have
Anyways, I'll keep doing my maths homework. I am not falling behind.
Obviously, today is instantly just a bit more valuable than it was yesterday, and so the potential for comebacks is huge, really.
Yeah, it really is. I think I saw a little bit of confusion on socials as well. It's 1.5x eliminations and placement. So it's not just going to benefit certain teams, it will benefit a lot of teams that are going to have a better day on day number 2. And I wanted to have a little word. What was the biggest comeback from previous seasons?
Jesus Christ, my dogs are going
FNCS?
insane.
One
They're
stands
happy,
out,
I
of course,
guess.
Chapter 4 season
Or not
1
happy, I don't know.
chapter ago was Mustache and Payson. These guys are actually in 7th place on day number 1.
Rihanna, oh, I don't know that one. The table shows the sales of food and drinks of 3 days. At a market stall Thursday. Great. Hannah used this information to draw, wrote down 3 different mistakes she has made.
Looking at some of the players on the leaderboard, maybe some people try break that streak today. Of course, below that, iDrop and Mappy had a very historic season where they had a big comeback.
I don't know.
Cammy have had big comebacks
That's
in the
right,
past.
50.
You know, we've seen people have comebacks in the past that are, you know, outside of the top 10, pushing them way into good, you know, standings. And I think we're going to see quite a few of those today.
I'm curious
Yeah, the big one.
to see.
I was going to
Go, Mini Miner. Tell me what you're
I
curious
was going to
about.
say the hen one right on that list right there. 41st to 8th in Chapter 3 Season 2. That was absolutely crazy. And that was actually my first season. So we're talking about first season of the broadcast. That was my first season of the broadcast. I was like, Hen and Queasy, these guys are from 41st all the way to 8th. And the reason I want to bring that up is because Hen, in the same sort of situation today, 28th on the leaderboard, a little bit further down. So could we see a little bit more of a comeback from these guys today? I certainly hope so.
I think the potential's there. If you know anything about Hen as a player, he's always been, well, he says it in his name, max damage, right? You know, he's a high output player who has that ability. And obviously he's been in situations like this before, not just, you know, in that one FNCS. You know, he's been there so many times where he's had to make a big comeback happen. He did it at the Invitational, a couple years ago now. And so he knows what it takes. He knows how to react to a bad
I hear you playing FN. Yeah, I literally, it's a 12-minute wait. I'm not about to just sit here for 12 minutes and wait, so I was just gonna hit a free ball for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, his name's Max Damage Hen. We didn't see too much of that yesterday. It wasn't quite a day where we were used to seeing Hen and being quite an OG format. You expect Hen to be jumping in box and stuff. They only actually managed to average 1 elimination per game.
It's still quite a long wait, and I really cannot be bothered to wait that, so. I actually get way more stream delay when I stream that. Or stream delay, build delay. I think we're going to point out the guy who's called Bring Back Cypher, and actually we're going to ignore him. I don't think we're allowed to say his name.
Maybe we'll get to R10 at some point. Maybe he'll raise the active champions and he can tell us once and for all why 75. Now there's another duo who is known for a comeback, whether that's over the course of a tournament or just jumping up the lead.
How long's left? 10 minutes still.
Seti and Cami.
Seti will have a comeback today, there is no way. Let me turn down my game sound just in case it's too loud.
Into this weekend with Seti and Cami in their top 5, some even in their top 3, a lot in their top 3 actually. And of course you would Mini, it's Seti and Cami that you always seem to do.
You got 4 people in it though, like that's good. Oh, I fell. All the way.
So they look like you know, nailed on to be a team that does incredibly well, and it hasn't been that day for them in day 1, and so you know a lot of eyes are going to be on them to see how they react here in day 2.
Yeah, a lot of Cami and Seti's problems over the years have been when they're contested. Yesterday, not contested. A completely uncontested drop spot at a drop spot they know well. A lot of people would have expected them to do better, and a lot of the time it was just down to solo clutches. We saw one of them going down. They had good surge as well. It was often just other teams that were causing them problems because they needed to adapt to these new Storm Surge changes. So it's not necessarily things that they were doing wrong. Maybe they haven't necessarily developed as strong of a game plan as we've seen from these guys in the past, but I think today it's going to be all about making sure they make it to that end game together as a duo, because we know what we can expect from this team. It's just been a little bit disjointed so far this weekend. They need to ramp it up if they want to find some success today.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like in general, a lot of teams have struggled to find like a really nailed on game plan in comparison to other seasons. You know, as a whole, there's a bunch of teams I've spoken to who have said they felt that same problem. I feel like it's less of the actual game plan. Sometimes
9 minutes, so it's actually mad for a wait.
They're getting in a lot of situations that are typical of your Cami and Seti, but they aren't able to deal with some of the aggression from a lot of teams around them, right? And that's causing them issues. So hopefully today, you know, they get their firing beats on. And
so I want to get at least 8 hours watch time from this stream. I need to get people in here. Are you even here? I think I saw one.
But maybe season 1
I want at least 8 hours watch time from this.
But I have no doubt, as we go through the competitive year, this is a duo that is undeniable. I can't wait to see how they do going forward. You know what? I can't wait to see how they do today. However, did they make the top 10 yesterday? Let's take a look at the leaderboard. We'll see some duos on there that you know and love and you've seen achieve greatness in the past. But actually, in 10th position, No Kill Wild and Iron.
Mongol and Mr. Savage are top 40, so basically last.
In the grand finals, Mini.
They need to turn up today, basically.
Neither did a lot of people, I think. It was a great first game victory from those guys. And of course, us on the desk, a lot of people at home would have been surprised the fact that they were actually able to get that VR. I think for me, it was just, was that going to be the end of their day? Was that going to be their moment in the spotlight? And it wasn't. They continued to be quite consistent in the rest of the games. And to find yourself in 10th place here, 11, it's not bad at all. Because we often see teams that have a good first game, maybe lesser known teams, they get a little bit too excited and get a rush of blood, and then things start to go worse. But it hasn't happened for them.
Something I might actually do is I don't know how to explain it. Basically, like people do this thing. Oh, I can't build there. They do this. Oh, why am I lagging? Wait, I'm okay now. Oh, it keeps trying to switch me to keyboard and mouse. Oh, maybe that's why. There's no reason to do that. Something I want to start doing is doing like pre-recorded streams because I can do them. And it just it just shows different videos that I've done. That's all it does. So it shows like all of my videos. So it's like what, 10 hours long or something. And then have people watch that, and then like get watch time off that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Even on socials, I was looking. Vadil said, I don't know how I'm in first, but we're in first. We're here and we're ready to go.
Vadil when he doesn't know how he's in first.
They didn't have any like massive pop-off
They were the best team in it.
We didn't see a victory out from them at all, but they were really solid in their game plan. They didn't have a single game where they had no points. They always got into that placement points. They always had some eliminations as well. And just the way that they were playing was really, really nice. They had a solid plan. They're not afraid to fight early game, which is something that I like about this team, because with these new Storm Surge changes, needing all of that damage, being proficient.
I'm actually free building up and I'm going insane. I thought
it's clearly working out.
I want to see the leaderboard again because I want to see the competition for Vadil and Reason. Vadil and Reason didn't get a victory royale yesterday, but they are so consistent in those fights in particular, as well as getting to that end game, that they have really blown away a lot of the competition. However, Veno and Tayson, when I see these guys already in second place, I just feel like it's inevitable, Levin.
Yeah, I mean, look, I sort of said yesterday I thought they were going to win FNCS, and because I just think they're so great. They didn't start the day great yesterday. The first 3 games were a bit, forgettable for Veno and Tayson, but after the third game, they definitely locked in. They were struggling with sort of the early surge, and to be fair to them, everybody was struggling with early surge. Like, if you can tell me, really good teams that weren't struggling with early surge,
nobody interesting
to come by. But then once they sort of understood the assignment, Veno did what Veno does, right? Veno was tied for the most snipes yesterday, right, with 11. He was spamming that sniper rifle. Tayson was setting them up to play for high ground a lot more, which was part of the friction they were having as a team earlier in the season, Mini. And so to see them actually being able to get in these positions more,
Excel, did you hear that 2 Brazil pros got banned yesterday in the grand finals? Excel pros, I don't even know if they're actually cheating, but I know they got banned. Which is mad embarrassing.
Anyone that wants to even think about holding the Axe of Champions.
Yeah, I was really impressed with this team yesterday. The way they changed their strategy on the fly, they were looking towards that east side of the map for their surge tags. They then went more west when it wasn't working out, trying to fight a little bit more early game, which we highlighted yesterday. They're very, very good at. And they're one of those teams that, of course, are doing the damage in late game as well. They're always in that top 3 in those final 5 zones in terms of damage dealt. So it seems like they're really, really fragging out when it comes to that side of things. I mean, Veno, of course, what a sniper as well. We have to talk about how good he is at that. Thomas HD, he was getting kind of overthrown here in terms of the sniping king, and I'm interested to see how this goes today, because a lot of their damage when it comes to the surge for Veno and Tayson 11 came from Veno's snipes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I made a bold claim yesterday that I said, I think he might be the best sniper in EU, and I'm sure a lot of the Danish people who used to like me, definitely weren't a fan of me saying that, but Thomas obviously was keeping up with the snipes. Some of the snipes Thomas was hitting yesterday were ridiculous on height. Unfortunately, Veno was definitely trying to match him up there. They're both tied for 11 shots so far, so we'll see at the end of the day who's coming out on top. But ultimately, when it comes to Thomas and Queasy, these guys, I mean, a lot of people were worried about them, Mini. They thought, look, they're contested off spawn by Cringe and Noms. I don't know how that's going to play out for them. Are they going to get to play 12 out of 12 games? And most people thought no, and so that would mean you know, they probably won't be as good as what we could expect from them, but they're not letting that affect them. I think the experience is really coming through from this team. They're not going to let, you know, some team come through and roll them over.
It's not a 3-minute wait, or is that?
They've done that so well. Thomas, and these mid-ground layers with the mythic shotgun, oh my goodness, it was filthy, some of the things he was doing yesterday.
It was absolutely insane. I think being contested has actually benefited this team. They only went down off spawn twice yesterday, and they're a team that have
twice is still a lot though. There's only 6 games.
In a really good way.
Most of their games still.
Well. They played a game on low ground, a game on mid ground, and a game on heights. They seem to be able to do it all.
This time last year, boys, we got to witness one of the great showdowns in a major. It was Thomas and Malabuka versus Tayson and Mersash. There was about 1 point separating these two at the top of the chart. 1 point separating Thomas and Malabuka from the Axe of Champions, because Mersash and Tayson were the ones to take it. And this duo, Mersash and Malabuka, I mean, personally, Minnie, it's my dream team.
Yeah, I think this is a duo that really are looking good right now. They're making good end games, of course. We know this duo are all about getting end games and making the most of it, and they did do that very well. Back-to-back second places for those guys. I think the problems that they had yesterday, the reason why they're not in first place was because they were taking risks. Around 7th zone, they were going for a big refresh, even though they didn't necessarily need the surge or even the refresh itself. They take these big risks in these fights, and then sometimes, of course, that doesn't quite work out for them. What I do like, though, they're making it to these end games. They're making their consistency, which is
I'm actually hitting every edit right now. I don't even know how. Kind of scared. I'm scaring myself.
Have really good times off spawn and then sometimes really bad times off spawn. So it's nice to see them generating a little bit of consistency, even though the zones were kind of in their favor yesterday. So maybe that's a question mark for today. Will they have that same success?
I mean, if you want to roll back the years and look at FNCSs of the past, Malabuka and Mersash were always a team that was getting a bunch of eliminations but could never, you know, get, you know, top 5 type of games. They'd get to an end game and that'd be it. Now they're able to do that, right? The back-to-back second place.
Oh my god.
Showed a bit, and
about a minute. Thank God. What are you saying? Yeah, game 1 minute. Great.
Yeah, they'll be rising for sure.
We have mentioned the Axe of Champions, but let's take a look at the prize pot. How much could our duos be taking home tonight? 170,000 to the top place duo. Life-changing money, and that's not all they would take, Mini Miner.
No, it's not. First and second place today will be getting their tickets to the Global Championships later on this year. So, of course, EU has 2 spots for that this season, and I think a lot of players will be keeping their eyes on that. The prize money is amazing as well, of course, 85k each. It's not too bad.
When someone mentions Global Championships, I get chills, boys. I just think of these duos on stage.
I'm actually just going insane with these edits.
Their minds and making their dreams come true. And you know what? After today, some of these duos will be a step closer to raising the Axe of Champions on LAN. Day 2 of the Grand Finals starts now.
Thank God.
What makes a champion? A champion is someone who ain't afraid of the
I did not mean to pause that. Finally started.
Any opposition. A champion is someone who can do it not once, not twice, but 5 times. A champion isn't someone who never fails, but someone who never quits. A champion has an edge. They have ice in their veins.
They're kinda yapping.
Can't be cracked. A champion is someone who can step away from the battle bus for 2 years and come back like they
There's
never
this
left.
Mongol, yeah, they're doing Mongol's
Champions
return.
innovate. Champions inspire. Champions conquer the world. Again, again,
Oh, someone. No,
and again.
I need to set the
Champions can do it
streams.
when the lights are the brightest, and they can come from the
Here we
shadows
go,
when
here we
you
go.
least expect it.
Looking, not looking for players.
Champions come from
Self-promo.
far and wide to show you how great they are.
Paste. There we go.
Champions' journey begins long before a title is won. But the grand finals is the road all champions must take to reach their destination. This is the place where they make it known. Are you ready? This is where champions are crowned.
The time has come. The
Game
finale,
1,
day
finally.
2 of the EU FNCS Grand Finals, and today, Takata, we crown ourselves a champion. Over $800,000
Moz is a burger.
to be
That's
won,
horrible.
and
Poor
the
Moz.
coveted spot at the Global Championship later this year. There is so much at stake today.
every single player in the top 4 are running for the title of the best player in EU. All 8 players competed in the global championships. All
Queasy's
8 players
got. I think
had at
Queasy's
least
been
one
winning this,
top
haven't they?
5
Queasy and Thomas.
FNCS
They've been doing better than
finals
the
finish
others.
last
I
season,
swear down.
and we're starting off strong. Lavish Layer, a battle continuing from yesterday. Thomas HD, Queasy, can they take it today?
Yeah, one thing I noticed about this fight yesterday is Cringe. He was kind of struggling in these off spawns, and it wasn't necessarily because of
Are they
Thomas and
pulling?
Queasy.
I think they're
Two
pull-
different
nah, they won't
games
pull, they won't pull.
down to fall damage, trying to grab one of those
Sorry,
weapons
I
at
meant
the top, which kind of made it easy
Muzzin.
for Queasy and
What?
Thomas to roll over. And I think this time they're taking more of a passive approach going against Thomas and Queasy. You see them disengaging out of the main building of Lavish Layer altogether, moving towards the south. There's vending machine, there is loot down there, but you're kind of giving up the priority position to Queasy and Thomas very, very early on.
Yeah, we mentioned this earlier, but when playing Lavish Layer, you want to land at the top of the building. It secures the best position for this
Mongrel
early
first.
engagement, but also
They're not going to show Mongrel off
maximizes
spawn, are they? I want to see
efficiency
Mongrel
in
off
terms
spawn.
of the loot
That's the only one I care about
Queasy
off spawn.
on the drop.
Do they win it?
Their opponents are gonna disengage. Nom's Cringe are not trying to risk it all, especially.
Only one team's died
in
so
the
far.
first
There's no way
game
that's
of day
Mongrel.
2. We talked about it earlier, but as a reminder, the points are multiplied by 1.5. It's 6 points per elimination, as well as the placement points being multiplied. Mixon also connecting shots right off the bat, allowing him to get some pressure in.
Yeah, he's trying to help
Just
Pings
do it.
and alleviate some of that pressure.
Yeah.
Luckily, he did just enough damage. Ping's able to survive with just 1 HP and a dream, and you can kind of hear the crash pads coming out. Kind of leaves no choice but to disengage, especially from a fight happening this early. Starting on top of the mountain, you gotta imagine there's no materials to really continue this battle. So for Mixon and Pings,
Well, even
specifically
Nines around
Pings,
it. They're getting keyed
he's
by
gonna be
another
able to
team.
escape and fight
Our
another
team's pushing
game.
him. I think they
Those
even.
points
Well, they
are
wouldn't
so
know it's
valuable,
impossible
'cause
to
you can
know.
already see that one elimination, 6 points already out of the gates for them.
There's a lot of thin ice on this mountain. Not a lot of
Pink's dead.
natural cover.
They won't spawn.
But take a look at this, Jacob. The battle of the ages, it seems
This skin's
like
so
now.
ugly. I don't actually care what
Pink
people
Vico
wear it.
up against Kiro and Kiduo.
It's
for
not
that
a good skin.
forecast tower. And with the 2 elims on the board for Kiduo and Kiro.
Is someone talking in the
let's actually
kick
just
chat?
take a look at what happened, Jacob.
Yeah, yesterday, this is something that's been going on almost 6 out of
Don't
6
cut down
games
trees are important to the
between these two
environment. What are you on
teams.
about, Mike?
Unfortunately,
Why are you in
now,
the
Vico
kick
goes
chat?
on first.
I don't think anyone
Sandwich between both of those
ever joined
players,
the kick
Kiro
chat,
and
to be
Kiro.
honest.
Does look like they're going to be able to get that forecast
How long do I
tower
need
in
to
this
stay?
game.
If you join the
Early
YouTube one, I actually get the
hot
watch
start.
time. I don't care much about the kick one, because the kick one doesn't mean anything. But I need watch time on the YouTube streams.
Between them and the rest of the competition.
That's 12 points. Jacob. 2 eliminations off the bat like that, instantly granting you 12 points is a huge change for the leaderboard. We saw here Thomas and Queasy. Looks like it was actually Noms and Cringe who built on top of the lair, but you can see that our game 1 winners of day 1, Aryan and his duo partner, were creeping in close by, so they knew that the third party was getting there and the engagement was no longer worth it.
I couldn't find it on YouTube. If you just go and like search up Tanu Danny, it should come up just immediately. It's one of those things where it should just come up
Yeah,
first.
leading up to this FNCS finals, everybody
I'll
had
try it again.
questions
Okay,
about
okay.
Tayson, his dedication, commitment to the game, and they were even asking Venno, why are you playing with somebody that isn't necessarily putting his all? Well, guess what? Tayson's just a prime-time player. He shows up when it matters, and all of his experience throughout the last couple years kind of leads him to be one of the star players. Of course, those 5 FNCS championships kind of helps along
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
do you
and
think
then
about
him
like
and Venno
Pink and
combining every single time
Yeah,
I
you're
see
like
Tayson's
you're
game, they're just
autocorrect,
getting
making
better
it confusing.
each and every single moment.
You found
And
it,
if
fair
Tayson's
enough.
able to get his 6th here, it's going to tie him for the most overall FNCS titles across all regions, alongside Mero,
This skin's ugly.
Epic Whale,
I
and
don't- I
Arco,
hate Janice, he's
which
not
are
good.
all NA-based players.
Very impressive. List of names.
Among them,
Accolade
Mr. Savage
alone,
died
even
yet.
if the names aren't that impressive. It's just massive in its own
Thomas
right.
HT,
Giannis Quincy,
Keo.
uncontested for the
Yeah.
But this one, this is the fight that more times than not ends up with a winner, even with a third party coming in. Thomas dealing most of the damage, but he gets sandwiched 2v1, almost stuck in a box. He's able to escape narrowly to try to live, but Queasy's there trying to alleviate the pressure.
Because I'm in chat on mobile.
To begin with. Good job. Another shots could be landed, but instead of going full focus,
I hate watching streams on mobile. It just auto-crit. I don't watch streams altogether really.
They have are, well, is that Flowberry Fizz? They're even aware that they are.
If you've lasted like a minute.
They've got a bit of damage. They don't need the elimination.
Just play in the background. I beg. I need a watch time.
That is gonna include. So they will back off here. Continue farming up. Continue looting. But it looks like another forecast battle. Henski walks Pixie. Nobody with a clear advantage yet.
I feel like you could tell teams yesterday hit the vase after the day where more times than not, Hem and Vasquez were able to get this uncontested, giving them a huge advantage with the forecast tower.
I got 6 people watching this, Jesus Christ.
Was able to grab it. Pixie and Walks possibly, as Hen was kind of down there by himself. Vasquez was separated, so you got to imagine the forecast tower going over to Walks and Pixie. And so that kind of leaves a choice. Do you stay? Do you continue to fight this fight, especially since zone is now going to force you in, or do you just try to disengage on out? You can't.
Is Mongol up? I'm pretty sure Mongol was up, yeah. What are they showing? What was that? Why did they show that? I'm pretty sure Mongol's up, yeah. I don't think he's died yet. I've been trying to like keep an eye top left, top left. I haven't seen him die, so I'm assuming he's up still.
Or anything that opens up an option to take a few shots.
Like, that could be them there. Tanugidini, Bikini. The Bikini is the best. Someone has to buy that Bikini.
But forecast tower has been given up.
Like the model thought Bikini was good, so someone will buy the Tanudani Bikini one day. It's 30 quid, I think. It's quite expensive, but it is a Tanudani Bikini.
So both of these teams are going to have the element of being.
Some of the merch is quite bad, but I need to fix it up
before the previous one does close, so they're going to have an advantage in terms of positioning. There's definitely so many other intricacies into the game. Storm Surge, extra loot, materials that you need to get, so sometimes you can't just beeline it.
How many points? 318. Is it yeah, this video on reason. Is Mongol up? There has to be them, surely.
First place after day 1 in an FNCS finals, but after day 2,
wow, these two just
he wasn't able to hold on to it.
It might be
so
dead.
We'll see if history can be changed today. Bertini and
I don't know if I like that. That's not even joking. I'll buy it when I move out my parents' house. The FNCS t-shirt, the FNCS t-shirt's so bad. I think I made that like a 4 minutes. But like the stickers are alright. To be honest, it's just a sticker, innit? You can't really go wrong with a sticker.
And the blessing is they were able to get those 2 eliminations. Even with how
like there's some random stuff, and some of it isn't even that bad. Some of it's bad, but the other stuff isn't.
People that need to go down before it deactivates. Getting that early surge is so important, but you gotta be able to keep the flow going throughout the course of the game. Even if the first couple of zones you are ahead of surge, we've seen teams fall behind at a moment's notice. As we jump on board, Vortexers and Voco. A team that I've been seeing progress and get better and better each and every season that they partake, and even got their first FNCS Finals win yesterday in a set lobby, so they're already on an upward trajectory, and they're already trying to third-party another fight for some cheeky surge opportunities.
Can they make it their second?
I would buy the shot. I'm just gonna see me in glass. The shot glass. I know how much it is. I think it's like 16 quid or something. It's kind of expensive, but I think it's a pack of 4 though. It's not even like it's alright for a pack of 4.
Vadil or Vadil Reason. It would be scary to see these two dudes go into a full-out engagement so early on. But
yeah, with the merch, I do need to fix stuff and like make it a bit more professional.
In a bit more of a risky situation.
The bikini has to stay there. The Tanudani bikini is insane. I don't know what I think.
They're the ones boxed up below.
And throughout the course
I could sell to, like, I don't know, I feel like Mr. Sam shouldn't be, I even never find out to be honest if I sold something to do with him though. 299, I mean, I haven't seen Mongo to Savage Diver, they haven't shown him. Sky's dead.
Veno finally joins the fight after finally healing up. And what they're going after now is those combat caches, third zone.
I might check the merch still, like, let me check it and see virtually. I've never checked it on mobile. Except for cookies. Yeah, the Tiny Dining Glass, 16 ounces. FNCS pet bottle was 30 quid. My mug. There's a tote bag. There's a sticker sheet. The towel was awful. The towel was definitely not worth 30 quid. The iPhone case, 16. Holographic sticker, £9. Sports water bottle.
It's more just like a back and forth game of ping pong.
There's a notebook
between
and
these
all.
two duos.
Surely someone will buy something one day. The Epic Sliders, £44.
Even at one point, sharing first place on
the pet ball was a little bit much for the FNCS pet ball.
In the road, but Tace and Venno, they're going to disengage on out, kind of leaving what's left of that weapon cache on over to Cade and Diox. It's going to help their game out, help Metal that they were able to gab, because you know they land over towards fencing fields, and with so many teams, 3 contested teams on that side of the map, you can kind of see that there might not be too many opportunities to grab Metal, which is the hardest resource to gather.
Pablo's doing it. Where even I don't know about the leaderboard.
You can see a lot of the duos here kind of surrounding the forecast tower that Pink and Vico and Kiro and Kiduo have been battling against almost all season long. But with the fight having ended so early on, there's nothing really to third party. Looks like Thomas and Queasy, though, are going to get a free combat cache. Nobody contesting it, even pulling the 4th zone here. They are a bit at the edge of
RNG,
north,
basically.
so it would be nice to rotate a bit more centered, but they've got the extra loot, they've got the extra metal, and now they're free to continue with their rotate.
Yeah, this is, I wouldn't say interesting season, but this is one of those seasons to where you have so many different teams fighting for history, fighting for bragging rights on their own mind. If you look at this team right here, Queasy and Thomas, this would have been, if they do win, Thomas's first FNCS.
Your song looks like a page from Timu. It's really horrible. It's really hard. It's actually like, it genuinely isn't bad quality. It's actually a good quality. Like, the products are good. They're just not very professional looking because I made them myself and I've always made them like midnight. So
different teammate. That just goes to show how impressive Queasy is and what he's able to do with his duos, no matter who it is by his side.
And each of those duos that Queasy was paired up with, it was their first FNCS win, including Thomas's if he's able to get it. I mean, you talked about his consistency. He has the most top 10 finishes in the world, not in EU, in the world for FNCS finals at 14 top 10s. 10 top 5s and 7 top 3s, but he's yet to win an FNCS, so this could be history for Thomas HD. Venno Tayson now.
They should make an FNCS dog with a logo all around.
Venno.
I mean, they should get the FNCS dog ball. That is a
EU competitor.
28 quid's a bit much. I thought it was like 10. Not think it was 28.
Yet another FNCS title to his name, his 3rd title. It could help him round out his kind of resume as a Fortnite competitor. Giras Chari now, 247 above the Storm Surge threshold. We've seen how dominant, how prevalent Storm Surge has been, especially in these grand finals with the amount of experience that's in this
I
lobby.
think Mongol and Mrs. Savage are dead.
In this
Let me check their stream quickly and I'll see. I think they're dead, bro.
It's a great position to be in.
Let me head on to Twitch.
Their team, particularly in this zone, they do find a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think they're dead.
In zone 4 when it comes to overall
damage
damage dealt throughout the past couple games. But Thomas with the
yeah, we're watching the deal. We're dead.
Hear it coming. Oh no, I cannot believe Thomas.
He just laughed.
Queasy's just there watching that one go down, and Queasy has to just be smiling ear to ear. Yeah, that's my duo. He just did that. They had no idea.
Oh, he got 2v1. That's slow.
Are you kidding me? Caught them with their pants down. They didn't even know where they were. In the bush looking lost. Quick 2 eliminations. I mean,
oh, he's definitely making a Twitter post about that. Follow the Twitter right here as well. It's appearing up on screen. I'm actually I made that myself, but I'm really proud of it actually. Where it goes like Tanu Dani and then it fades and then it goes to Tanu Dani and it says like all my socials. I'm so proud of that. I made that myself. Also, the tip page doesn't work. The tip page is broken. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna have to try fixing it.
He's trying to go ahead and get revenge for Bevies, who went down, and he has a huge
so I'm gonna have to do it through the kickball or something, so it actually works. At least I think the merching works, so that's good.
The elimination to save the day, and they're really trying to reunite the momentum in which they started off the day yesterday. They even got a VR. If they can mix that up in here today, Takata, they'll be well.
Pablo's doing good. That's all I care about. Oh, his duo's dead actually.
All these brawls are ending incredibly fast today. I mean, there's a lot of staggered kind
Brawls,
of engagements.
that's one
but
way of putting it.
They haven't really ended in eliminations. The ones that have ended in eliminations have... It's been in an instant, literally, from Thomas jumping in the bush to now Pablo.
Stash, they got
finishing it up
mythic. They haven't got much ammo actually. How do you only end up with 7 sniper ammo?
On the other hand, no eliminations to their name yet. With the position they're in,
Is even no way it's a no scope one.
Consumables, they have everything to make something
I'll
happen.
pop a big as well. I guess he's the one in finals and I'm not though, so I can't talk.
By himself. Just need a chance to get back into the game. You can make wonders happen. Mustache might have the record with least amount of game time actually played with a victory royale in Malibuca's impressive run to qualify to the grand finals. It's not an accolade most people even have a chance
Fix
to
your
get.
tip page. I'll try and do it after the stream if I remember.
Him and Pablo got a second chance at life, and they're 200 above the damage threshold. So very little to worry about outside of rotating the zone.
Taking a look here.
Something I was thinking of doing is making like a stream where it just like shows my passes. Is this for 1080p? Is it just struggling a little? I literally have no space on my desk right now. Settings, yeah, 1080p.
Is appeared on the screen. They know whether they need damage or not, as Pablo connecting those shots with the lock-on pistol and now making his way in. Bevy's though being so low, you know it's gonna
Pablo's in at
be a
least.
deciding factor.
I love Pablo. I actually hope Pablo wins the whole thing. Reason 318 with deal up. They got 2 kills. Any placement in? No, not placement. 90 above.
77 above. Slowly bouncing around that storm surge threshold. Pretty consistent overall on day 1. Gave themselves a nice little cushion up until that last game where they did go down just a little bit earlier than they'd hoped. And you can see even with storm surge kind of showing itself, they're not too worried about it. These guys have experienced almost everything when it comes to Fortnite and more. They know how to deal with the pressure, and they know that they don't need to make any risky plays to try to rotate. It does look like they're just trying to together some extra small fry, any HP heals, and then they have the choice to grapple blade to the zone or maybe even find a rift that is left over from Loot Island.
But as one of the most important factors of this mid-game, it's making use of the natural mobility.
Actually, like, I think they know they've won it at this point. They just need to play good today, and they've won it.
Surrounding it, even the launch pads like Tayson and Benno are using on the Rift Island.
Most of the lobby just rifted as well.
Kind of moment in the game where there's so many duos flying through the skies, and the ones down below already boxed up will take that opportunity to take shots and hopefully connect.
Surely one's gonna go like far left and go for dead side.
It's literally almost half the lobby right now just using a rift, and everybody kind of knows at this
like nobody's on left side. They're all landing on top of each other as well, which is really weird.
Those rifts just make it so worth it.
They're keying him.
Oh,
they're below, that's why.
But looking to grab that much more.
And he died.
Astro's going to be in his line of sights, but it's Vadil and Reason who go down early in game 1 without any placement points.
Our #1 duo going into the day eliminated before the late game even starts. 318 points is going to be what they're stuck at for the first match of day 2. Even with the point multiplier, we know the leaderboard is going to change. Benno, Tayson taking shots, but they're more enough 320 above.
Yeah, from this stage right now, they don't really have to do anything, make any risky plays except for go to zone, but you know as well as I do,
they could actually use first
not only how to take opportunities, but they know how to create
hello
them
again,
as
Excel.
well.
I'm losing my voice. Welcome back.
Every single person here on their rotation.
Take your leaderboard.
So
I miss
that way they can figure out
leaderboard.
which way they do want to go to try to get that slow side of the zone. Most of the lobby is stacked up in the middle if they were just trying to beeline it to zone. So that right side, the eastern portion, especially when you go more towards the north, is going to be pretty open if you can sneak your way through.
Pablo with 3 elims already. Bevy's
Yeah,
with
good.
1.
Pablo's him.
Let's see how he picked up the other 2. Looks like it was Hen caught off guard from the back as pressure was being applied from the surrounding duos. Finishing off Ski as well there. And that's a huge refresh, especially seeing that he was able to pick up Bevy's.
Hey, Bevy's and Pablo, you give them a chance to play.
Excel, did you hear of our like master plan to get watch time up? I don't know if you were here. I'll have a master plan.
I feel like the only weakness is kind of biting off more than they can chew in certain situations in those off-spawn contested fights. But you see first place is down. Huge opportunity for
It's the
Benno,
best
Tayson,
plan
everybody
ever.
else on the
It's
leaderboard
like,
to
it's free
move
watch
on
time.
up, especially with the 1.5 points. You get 100 for the victory out, 6 points per elimination. Everything else in between is 25 teams still left alive. Finally, placement points are starting to get granted and will cascade with every team that drops.
26 above now for Mixing Ping. Pressure gets on as Merstash Malabuka 160 above, but it's going to be Yanis and Flixie that go down. Merstash picking up that extra loot already with the mythic loot, already with the
Setty's down.
now.
Oh, is that who he just killed? That shit might be dumb.
Looking like they are strong competitors for this first match in the second day of Grand Finals.
Yeah, they caught fire on the second half.
I might
of
plug
the
my
day
Nintendo
yesterday.
Switch in to
And
help with watch
Malabuka,
time.
even though he hasn't necessarily
here
been
it
on
is.
top of the
I'll
mountain,
plug it in
winning
quickly
FNCS
to get it to
championships
boost
for
the
the
watch
past
time as
couple
well.
of years, he's been probably one of the most
I want like at least 8 hours watch time from his stream, so I actually need I'm gonna just have my Switch watch it in the background by itself.
Placement overall. Teamed up with Merstash not too long ago, but this is their chance to reunite and finally get that Axe of Champions.
Yeah, you talk about dominant players. I mean, his duo, Merstash, had the most individual eliminations in day 1 at 22. Wow. So that combination is a lethal threat in this lobby. But I'm looking at lethal threats. I see Beto Tayson right beside them. Rotates come through now. 8th zone does appear. A long rotation for a lot of these players. As Storm Surge starts taking...
I still need to start like properly going to the gym again. I actually haven't been properly going since like October. It's been almost a year. Half a year basically. I need to actually start properly going again.
They're going to stay away from that ultimate low ground. They always try to find a layer that they can hang on to, and an opportunity to go to the front side. He's trying to save Tayson. He gets the body through the box, but he is still knocked, and that team is still on the other side trying to break their way through. And there's even a threat at the bottom, but I think Venno has been...
I don't even know who's gonna win this game. Nobody's really that healthy. I just realised I was watching an old part of the stream you've not even been watching with me. Did you hear my master plan though, Excel? Have you heard it? I'm not saying it a third time. Better have heard it. It's such a good plan. He's dead.
He has to keep expanding to get that space if he wants to pick up Tayson, but as the pressure gets too high, Benno gets taken out. Meanwhile, Eclipse, Dexy up above on top of the lavish layer looking to hold on to height.
First and second place are now down just at the beginning of placement points. Malabuka, Merstash, this is your shot. Queasy, Thomas, those are our third and fourth place teams as Pablo still doing work here against Pixie.
Go on, Pablo. Pablo actually is just going to win the whole thing. I did not hear it. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pre-recorded stream of all of my videos and then just not even be here and let it just play. It's like 10 hours long or something. Because it's like, if like some people turn up for that, that's still so much watch time. If some people just like have it playing in the background, it's like all of my videos, so I can do like all of my solo victory cash cups and all.
Barely above that damage threshold.
That's my plan. I think I'll actually like... Because I'm on my last 1,000 hours of watch time that I need. And the streams are sort of boosting it a little, you know. They're not boosting it as much as I'd hope, but...
Tom is still moving forward in the zone.
That's why I need to get like 8 hours off this, because I need some big watch time today. Oh, I didn't even get to see whose height was. Whose height? I missed it. How am I missing it? Malabuka and Moustache have overtaken. They're going to be first, I think. Because the Reason died at 318, so they're going to be first right now. Reason just needs to lock in, I guess. Whose height? I don't even know who that is. Thomas HD. I thought he was going for a play there.
Stay off of that bottom layer. No high ground take just yet. They aren't healthy enough to make that a possibility.
Oh no, don't keep Pablo. Pablo's actually like carried this game. Literally, look at 4 kills. And is boosted as well, so... He's got Mythic out as well. Mythic Peter. Surely he's gonna grapple onto height. Will he grapple? I feel like he's gonna grapple where Atlantic just went.
Where's the impact? Where's the refresh that I can get here as he starts walking closer and closer? There's Queasy close by.
Queasy, he makes it in, yeah. He's got 3 builds actually. Let's do is dead, so of course I'm going to do his partner. That was a bit of a dumb thing to say.
When he uses them, but those are going to be 2 rightfully placed, able to go in and outside of the box before he tries to make his way back in. Can't take too much damage through the zone. Out of builds. Vortex was in his line of sight. This is his chance to get a refresh.
Oh, Pablo, he got a refresh. Oh, Pablo's actually like winning the whole thing. I actually hope Pablo wins. I want Pablo to win it.
Inside the zone, is he going to look for some sort of flank. I'm not sure if
He's gonna go for a flank. He's only got a green shotgun though, there's no way. He's gonna keep Pablo.
Yep, last of the med
Don't
kits.
keep
Now he
Pablo,
has to make
thank
his
God.
way inward, and he does so with the quickness, trying to get to the front side. He can look back, try to defend himself, give himself options. Kiro's gonna pick up a couple eliminations, but Pablo, the solo mastermind, still holding on strong. 6 elimination as a team with the lion's share.
He's on
going to
5
him.
now.
A
Pablo's
nice
actually
shot
going
and a
insane.
nice elimination
He's not
for
moustache, he's got
Pablo
moustache
as he
shed.
gets Verstache down.
Who is Pablo? I don't really know. I really hated him at first, but he's actually like, Pablo's him. Oh my god, Pablo. He's actually is he, it's top 5. He's too low to win the whole thing, surely. Oh my god, Pablo. Oh my god. You can't just do that, Pablo. That's like that's gonna be like a top 5 moment of this whole thing. Pablo, what was that? That was insane. Up to 8 kills.
Yeah, they're running out of builds. Everything's gonna come crashing down, but Eclipse gets dropped. Dexy trying to fight back, but the numbers game is just too much. Marius is able to stand up tall, take him down, and take the game.
Unable to finish it off, finishing in second, but Sangild, Marius securing the win, securing that victory.
Pablo carried that. I don't even know how. You can't even like shut off that win. Pablo got so many kills.
FNCS finals.
Yep, and throughout the course of that game, we saw first place go down, second place go down, fourth place go down, and then even third eventually. And even though Pablo didn't win the game, he was in 5th place. I can only imagine what the leaderboards look like, but Marius and Sangild from
Why don't you
the
check
low
the
ground,
leaderboard
they
or
chop
what?
him down like a great oak tree in the forest, and they put in work to take the game. I can only imagine where they're positioned on the leaderboard now that it's 1.5 times points.
Check the leaderboard. What do you mean? Oh my god, that is such a dumb thing to say. How can you only just check the leaderboard?
Seeing any heal-offs basically in the grand finals. It's been pure chaos, pure annihilation in the late game, but with the new format change for day 2, there's going to be so many changes on the leaderboards, and there's only 3 people that can update us on that. So Frankie, what you got?
I feel pressure now, being one of the 3, but I'll try my best to uphold the reputation of the analyst desk with these 2 boys, Levin and Mini Miner. I love that high ground, low ground battle, and you know what? Low ground took it, Levin, and that's one of the first times this week.
How old actually is Frankie? Is Frankie like old?
Look, we are going to be talking all about Danish Fortnite players right now, because the Danes were popping off in that lobby. A big dub for them, and of course the dub for Marius and Sangild. Of course, very talented players who I think if you are familiar with EU Fortnite, you'll recognize their names, especially when it comes to Marius, right? He's someone who a lot of players talk about, you don't want to fight this guy in creative. He's absolutely cracked, and they haven't had that FNCS performance that's made you go, wow, these guys are here. A big win, and like Frankie said, right, doing it from a position that not many teams have managed to do it from this weekend.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you talk about players that are up-and-comers, players that have the talent. Marius has to be one of those players that are on top of your list, and he hasn't quite done it in an FNCS format. He hasn't quite shown what he can do on there, or out on the pitch, I guess you could say, out there in the on the map. So it's great to see him actually performing right here. It was a nice favourable zone for them, close to their drop spot, but it's not easy to play that low ground, particularly when the zone does pull back like that. You're going through all those old builds, you're going through all that mess that other players are trying to do. So nice job from that team, and you can see a little bit of potential there for the day, because of course it's 1.5x points, so that could jump them up the leaderboard.
Also, just because the zone was in their favour doesn't mean it was easy, because Janice and Flixie, when the zone was in their favour not once but twice yesterday, they did not take the victory royale. So maybe sometimes it's harder than it looks, not that you tell from that victory royale from Marius and Sangild. I can't wait to see the leaderboard for this one when it's ready, because interestingly, our #1 team going into game number 7 went out quite early. They got 2 eliminations. No
leaderboards.
points. I'm scanning
Where
it
even
now,
are they?
trying to see Vidil and Reason.
Vidil went down
number 6.
5 to 5th. Where's Pablo?
I guess I'm quite surprised.
Pablo not even top
honest.
10.
Maybe they
Pablo
need a
was
bit more
definitely
of a
in
warm-up
3.
level.
Oh, Pablo's first. Thank God Pablo's winning. 389, 78 placement points. Why is it saying I've got 0 with him?
So I think that was a situation last game where that happened. To be honest, I'm just impressed by Pablo Ringo and Bevies from that game. Pablo's clutch. My goodness, man. That guy was going crazy, Mini. Every time I thought, okay, he's done now, right? Surely he's done now. He just kept hitting more shots. I mean, again, Danish Fortnite taking dubs. This guy was going crazy. I think Takata called him the headshot hunter or something like the head hunter.
Pablo, Jesus.
Oh my, it was mad.
Yeah, there was just so many.
If only you had like a
plays at this
medallion
point.
for
This is
the
exactly what
heels.
you need to do when you're a solo in this particular point, and we know exactly what Pablo and Bevies do, and it seems like the narrative that we just keep talking about, it's just that they're inconsistent. But you can see if they're able
Where
to
is
do
this
this
actually
more so
you
not
inside
today,
your
this could be
profile?
FNCS champions. We can be looking at
Inside's a bit of a weird way of putting it.
Get almost for this duo when it comes to off-spawn contestation, early storm surge problems, but it seems like it's all coming together now, right at the perfect moment.
Dare I say it, boys, but the way that Pablo was running through those layers, it really reminded me of Veno, and the way that Veno likes to play those endgame clutch situations
Dare I
when
say
he's
it.
on his own. He is literally take no prisoners, just take all the names you can get, Levin.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll give Pablo his props. He's someone who has shown he can pop off in the past, right? I think it's funny, Minnie, because, you know, if Pablo and Bevy stay here and they win their FNCS, they'd be the first Danish players to ever win it. And I mean, it would be, I mean, Thomas HD, I think, would probably be crying inside if that happened. But I do
Thomas
want to talk
HD.
about Thomas because we saw a really interesting play.
I feel bad for him.
We've seen a lot from teams this season. And what a lot of the players have been calling, they've been calling it crash pad bombing. Because what you do, right, is you line up a team, you know,
That was a
team
good play,
somewhere,
though.
and you set up the crash pad so you land perfectly on them, and you do this. And I mean, I was freaking out when this was happening.
Jesus
Me and Frankie
Christ,
were both
X
freaking
out.
And I mean, how can you not?
That's a bit.
It's really interesting. A lot of players have been doing this because if you're the players,
I think the bot might find that one a bit. Your lucky bad Fortnite player isn't in the chat.
And so it's like a really crazy surprise play. We've not seen much of it on screen, but I'm glad we got to see it once because a couple teams have been playing around with it. Obviously, Thomas combining it with the Flowberry Fizz, which was nice. It gave him a bit extra distance. But yeah, Queasy and Thomas still are going to be a threat today for sure.
Yeah, and it's exactly the type of player that you want on the other end of that Flowberry.
People on the
right?
Discord
You want it
server are
to be
gonna have
Thomas
no
HD.
idea what we're on
Getting
about.
into that
We're just gonna
first
look like
play, you're
weirdos.
seeing the team in there. You're also hitting a max damage.
When's the next game?
173,
37
whatever that was,
seconds,
then
alright.
connecting with the assault rifle shots, hitting double headshots on the next player. That was absolutely spectacular. And we talked about how good Thomas HD is and has been this season in that duo. So although that game wasn't necessarily the best for them, even though it was a nice zone for them, I'm expecting big things from this duo because when you got someone on your team that can pull that out of the hat, anything can
The
happen.
more Danish players, the better. I do want to propose something though, boys.
Frankie's
Can we
just.
call that move the baby bouncer? Because they're on the junior.
No.
pad. So, like, you grab your baby bouncer.
Frankie just. I think she tries a bit too hard sometimes.
Bounce into the.
So we just call it the Flowberry crash pad.
Or the
No way,
baby
I've been like
boomer,
50
you jump
minutes.
on the
No, because
baby
you know
crash
what?
pad and then you
can do it
boom.
without the Flowberry. People
True.
do it without the Flowberry as well. You can just do it with the crash pad. If you line it up and you sprint jump, it's like 190 meters. It still works. So, yeah.
Do we need a name for it? Can it just be crash pad onto someone's head, into max damage pump, into eliminate?
Baby boomer.
If you want to say that every time, Minnie, feel free to say that. Every
You jump on the baby and then you boom
I don't wanna jump on
shakalaka
babies,
into
Frankie.
their faces.
She's trying too
I
hard.
don't want to jump on
With
babies.
boom
I'm good.
shakalaka.
I don't want to jump on
into
baby.
Ring. Game number 8. Take it away, Jacob and Takata, please.
Look, that was a whole lot of yapping, Jacob. But what I'm interested in is game 2 of the EU FNCS
I think they have
Grand
enough of
Finals.
Frankie as well.
Explosive start to the day. Pablo, I mean, Headhunter, what did we witness in that late game?
We witnessed somebody steal the show. Ended up in a 3rd place from 5th to 1st after that huge solo clutch. If any time
Oh,
is
I'm
to
not gonna
look
come back
at
when
a
next
moment
game
and say
starts. This is
that
dragging.
is why he won FNCS. That's a big if. Don't want to curse him too early. That is the moment right there. Will we have more clutches with the next game ready? We'll see.
You said it, Jacob. Pablo Bevy's first place on the leaderboard now. Merstash Malabuka in 2nd. Queasy Thomas HD in 3rd. As now instantly right back into the action.
I feel like every single game today, we might have a different 1st place team. I feel like that's the trend. The 1.5 points with how well everyone's playing. It's not just one team playing well. Everyone is playing lights out in this competition. So you got to think fights like this, no matter how well you did in that last game for Queasy Thomas, are never going to come easy. And we're even seeing the ballistic shield coming out from Thomas. Doesn't have any close range, so it could be the play for him, especially with Queasy going down off spawn.
Oh, they saw him. He's dead.
Thomas needs to get ballistic here, but he's unable to. Eliminated off spawn, off the drop. From third place on the leaderboard to now 0 points in game 2.
It's not like the first off spawn these teams actually won.
Could Pablo Bevis be the first? One of the first, I mean, Danish players to secure an FNCS title before Thomas HD, with his history of the most top 10s, 7 top 3s yet to get that FNCS. That would be a script and a half.
Mongo Mr. Savage died. I need to check.
Definitely would kind of be a huge treat.
Let me check.
Just like
Twitch on my phone. Where is Twitch?
Opportunity here to see the replay of Mongrel.
Read chat. Well, nothing's been said in chat. Oh wait, no.
Out of 6 games throughout the day. Yesterday in Savage.
Yeah, nothing's been said. It's just the most recent message was Rose Smith saying rude. It's still up. Oh my god, Mongo Mr. Savage is up.
Yesterday we did say there was
100,000 viewers Mr. Savage has.
However,
Jesus Christ.
They don't really take those early engagements on like Tina and Misha. Sorry. It looks like they're gonna right off the bat eliminate Skydune. Quick 6 points in his duo. Shakoth now on the run.
Yeah,
why are they not showing Mongo Mr. Savage? It literally has like more views. Oh, Exile, what are you? I knew the second I put that, I was literally, when I put that command, I was thinking you're gonna put something in check and try and be funny. Keep spamming, you're gonna get put in timeout by the bot.
Grab the resources. Let those eliminations come to you later on. You don't want to risk it for just those 6 points, Takata. There's 100
Oh, you're actually
points
spamming
up
it.
for grabs
Chill,
for
Excel.
alone.
Why they're actually not showing it?
10 elims with a win yesterday just to score 100 points. Now it's just that much easier.
It really is.
I hope Pablo wins the whole thing. Pablo deserves to win the whole thing. So.
Now. They do have that launch pad that they can use to maximize efficiency on their loot path. But it's all about preparation. As look at that, his duo partner now jumped on. Instant need for assistance. Ping manages to get the knock. It's on Nathan. CZZ sniped as well. The 2v1 continues.
Yeah, mixing pings. They were at the top of the leaderboard for most of the day yesterday as well.
Mixon's on 320. Who's like Mongo? I hope they're not showing Mongo Mr. Savage. It makes no sense.
Especially with that sniper in the hands of Mixon, and we've seen it.
It makes no sense that they don't show him. It's weird.
There's a lot of good snipers going under the radar this season, and this is a great opportunity to
Also, so what you said makes literally no sense.
I mean, they're devastating.
I mean, like, looking at it half and half. You said, like, I would have thrown her off into I would have carried and thrown her into a bush, Mr. Tanu. What? What are you trying to say, Exile?
Tables around could turn your whole game around.
Vico and Pink.
Hero Kiddo, once again, the battle continues.
Oh, you're actually just gonna keep screaming check for the rest of us, aren't you? This is all I'm gonna hear from you for ages now. I should not have told you.
Back and forth, back and forth. Nobody really able to find their stride between the two teams, even third parties interrupting it at one point or another. Pink and Vico on the hunt. Hero's gonna get spotted out.
Oh, they win that. They're like on similar points. They're not doing that great. How much points actually do they kill? Like right now, is it a lot?
And Vico and possibly the forecast tower as well. Once they
I know it's 1.5 more. That's gonna be 6 points a kill now.
For day 2, Hero Kiddo took the battle in the last match. But the question is, the players in the surrounding areas, they're looking at the feed. They know this engagement's going on. And they might use that information to try and take the forecast tower.
I don't think they will. I think they're going to be alright.
So hopefully Pink and Vico will be able to claim that, as they did come out on top in the fight. But we'll take a look at another one going on here. Cringe and Noms kind of scouting out what's going on down here.
Why have you just put Jiwoo? I don't want a bum licking session. What are you doing, Exile?
But so far they're just kind of, you know.
Speak English. They people actually stay in chat. We had 7 viewers, and then you put, "Do I want a bum licking session?"
Fake them out, pretend they've already left, but it's gonna be a long time before anything happens there. Reason for deal though. Not a great game one, not a great start to day two.
Oh, I'm literally, you're getting put in timeout, Exxon. One more check message, you're getting put in timeout. I'm not even reading that one.
Huge flank, third party by Andalex and Sato. And immediately, look at the minimap. They got their surge. Trying to disengaging. Mox, Lazen are there as well. Everybody just trying to rotate on out, maybe even follow the train towards the zone. We haven't necessarily seen it on stream, but throughout the day yesterday, there have been teams using
Let me check. I'm checking again. I want to see if we're up still.
As possible, and we're really seeing things and a lot of the tricks come out.
There.
As Yanis Flixie going against
Are we still up? Are we still up? Please still be up.
And they're ready to end it in favor of themselves. Vico dropped down to just a sliver of HP in the persistence.
Oh, they're still up, thank God.
He even has the card. He's just trying to make his way in to capture.
Fine England.
Vico are doing a good job of defending.
How many viewers is he? He's got 115,000 viewers.
Capitalizing on knowing
they got 2 kills.
Just came out of an engagement, are most likely not.
They need to bring it back.
Might not even be around the forecast tower, which is why they were able to get that card. But the thing is, they're not the only duo that's interested. You saw Tayson as well. Veno kind of saying, do we join
max
this party?
damage 10, 75. I mean, obviously didn't. His max damage is dead.
Sneak in as Giannis and Flixie quickly see the danger and decide.
Why do they keep showing this screen?
We've already got the tower. It's been secured. We don't need those eliminations. We don't need to risk anything else.
That's just literally quick thinking by Yanis and Flixie to be able to see that in the feed and then rotate straight on over to take control before Pink and Vico can actually get back on over there from their contested fight. And this is something that we've seen out of Yanis and Flixie, the ability to adapt on the fly. Flixie even getting his first VR in a finals lobby.
Rose, what's your messenger? XOXO. Just harassing Rose at this point, XO.
For Yanis, that'll be another FNCS champion. For Flixie, it's finally being able to put some respect on his name.
Beto now looking to see what has gone wrong in this forecast battle, trying to see if he can maybe find a bit more information. He does have 32 shots.
How many points? I'm on 320. I want to see the leaderboard.
Sniper rifle.
There's still 4 matches left after this one, so.
But so far, unable to see much. They're just going to continue with the rotate. Almost max materials. Good loadout already with mobility and 3 big pots.
Why are they showing this boring? Literally, no. What are they showing this for? There's people fighting and they're showing this. Pablo, Pablo. No, Pablo's too is dead. Pablo, don't die. Pablo. Pablo's my favorite.
Pablo's gotten a feeling of deja vu. I'm a solo yet again. And it's Marius and Sangil, the same team, made it towards the end, won that last game, and was a huge part in making sure Pablo did go down, but it does look like he's going to be able to escape for now. Nobody's hot on the chase just yet, but he has to be careful because he is on the edge of zone. Teams are beginning to rotate in that direction. You see 2 already on the mini-map, a 3rd following the train, so Pablo has to really think outside of the box of when and where he's going to go back for Bevy's reboot card, because we know 100%. I can almost give you a Jacob guarantee that we'll see
Uguay. They refuse to show Uguay, I'm telling you. They won't show Uguay's point of view. They hate Uguay.
From what we saw in the last match. Tino, Chapix. I don't know if this is going to be a full-on engagement, Jacob, but...
Oh, Uguay's losing that anyway. What was he doing?
As Tini going straight onto Chapix, cracking him. Only left with white HP. Tino as well gets knocked. Upper hand.
Basically just a 50-50 that was. There's no skill in that one. That was just 50-50.
They do.
Wow, Chapix went for the repeat. I can see what he's thinking in his mind. You know, they're going ahead, getting that elimination onto my teammates, scrounging up the loot. I can at least get 1 freebie, but
Pink and Vico going for they got medallion.
A fight that I thought they were going to take a little bit early on towards the forecast tower. Now happening towards Grand Glacier. They don't like the positioning, so Taze and Veno immediately disengage. Not too far off, though, just to give themselves the advantage in terms of elevation. So that way they can really kind of get the information, if any players are around them, to figure out, is this something they want to take? Do they want to hold their position? Or maybe even rotate on
the switch is charged.
Yeah, looks like, especially in these grand finals, you don't want to take too many risks. You want to wait till you have a high chance of coming out on top in whatever risky scenario you want to get yourself into. I do feel bad for Pink and Vico, though. They just can't stop Whether it's the off-spawn engagement from Kiro and Kiduo to the third parties that come in after, trying to take their forecast tower. I mean, they've been having some really difficult early to mid games, and we know the potential they have in those late games. I drop a Nebs though, looking to do a bit of damage as they look for those angles. On it looks to be awkward.
Haha, Mysterious Rose here. Don't worry, I'll make sure you get to know me better. So what's your favourite way to spend this? Stop trying to frizz up Rose. Don't even know who Rose is myself, to be honest. I wonder how Rose follows the channel. And one of them was like the only people who's actually joined the Discord, so it's sort of like, who is Rose?
Especially with Noah just having a 38 shield, only has 5 left on the Flowberry Fizz, so it isn't a ton to get him back up. So it's very, very important that they figure out a way in towards zone, because not only they're traveling parallel to the team that were just fighting, but there's a whole team playing gatekeeper on top of that forecast tower. And it's going to be hard for Aqua.
I hope Rose doesn't respond to you, XL.
Their way in, so interesting to see what decision they make. I know if they keep going towards the east, they might be able to use the line of sight in the mountain to their advantage.
3 bullets in the chamber. All it takes is 1. Can Aqua connect that headshot that they might so desperately need, with Noah already being incredibly low on shield? Not much to recuperate. Walks Pixie, connecting 1. These snipes can be incredibly beneficial in terms of getting that damage you need for the Storm Surge threshold. If you have that ammunition to spare, the extra sniper bullets to help you take more of those shots, it could be the game-changing factor of getting enough damage.
Yeah, huge blessing that Hari was able to kind of go back to.
Oh, Mongo.
It was literally just 2
Where's Mr. Savage? Or was it just 009?
So nice.
Where's the other one?
In terms of the sniper, but not really
I spend my Sunday playing video games or walking. Fair enough. Got nothing to say to that. So.
Finally able to kind of bounce back. Now they set their eyes on the SETI and Cammy. But they know at least one of these players is weak, and they're attacking from 2 different angles. Vidil just trying to go straight in from the low ground. Reason working his way from the top to bottom. Finally, they reunite, and they're able to get 1. Cammy gets dropped down, leaving SETI by himself. The struggles
oh my
for
god, nobody's like the stream.
Invitational champions continue.
SETI put into panic now as he's forced into the 1 versus 2. But it looks like Reason isn't done yet. It's Mongrel close by that wants to escape, but he's been cracked now. Just gonna take 2 more shots, 2 big ones from
no, Mongrel's gonna go down to 39.
Now. Nowhere to run, nowhere to escape. And that's another Elim on the board for Vidil and Reason.
Yeah, 6 more points, starting to pick up the pace.
I love to spend our Sundays playing video games together, taking a round in one hand. What do you think?
Especially with 1.5 points, that 1 misstep is
what
all
are you
it
doing,
takes to cost you that first place spot. So they're really gonna have to dig deep and make up for it. Marius Sandguild, top of Loot Island, along with 1 other team, but you can see they're trying to just loot up, scrap together as much as they can. It's actually Phaser and King who are going to get credit for capturing the Rift Island. No points, but they're going to be the ones to scavenge all that loot that they just were able to get.
Didn't have the best start to day 1, but if I know anything about King, he can turn things around, especially with the sniper in hand. For Pablo, though, has been unable to pick up bevies yet. He is still looking healthy, but the clock's ticking. 30 seconds until this 4th zone closes and 5th appears, and with 2 duos in a battle in front of him, he might find an opportunity to take that snipe, get that
At my age, I'm old enough to know how to treat someone special.
Persistence is key. He does have the 3 medkits as well, but this is vital information because there's only X amount of teams still left in this lobby, 36 overall, him being one of them. And with the rotations coming out, if he was able to get the reboot card, he could outlast the zone, get Bevies back in. I predicted Bevies to be back. I thought he'd be back by now, but
so can you like get Megan to watch in the background but not say anything, just so I can have another viewer?
Crash padding as Darky and Dark as to make their way on out, and finally Pablo sets his eyes on that reboot.
So it's time.
Pablo might actually win the whole thing. He's almost on 400 points.
It's difficult though, Jacob. Grand finals, lobby, 400 metal to work with. Barely any.
Nobody's nearby, so
having to rotate in, having to loot up his duo partner. I believe he did have 3 medkits and 3 big pots, so they have a decent amount of consumables, but they will be used to get bevies back into the game. They're going to need a refresh early on, but anything's possible as we look right back at the deal and Reason.
traveling on the congested side of zone. Swizzy, Putrix, the ones directly in their line of sight. But you can see in the mini-map, so many teams
I'm 16,
around
nearly
this same
17.
rotation,
Of course you
trying
are,
to find
XL.
their way in. In a couple of seconds, zone's going to force them in anyway. As Swizzy and Putrix still trying to get the last of the shots before they make their rotation on. And it's not too far of a rotation for a lot of these teams. When you're rotating parallel with a lot of them, that's where it gets disastrous. As Pablo, Bevy's finally up. They have the high ground, but they're down on Surge. With
They're only
everybody
12
rotating,
below
this is a
there,
great chance
so
for them to
just
pick
hit
up
the
some shots
snipe,
here.
isn't it?
One shot, Jacob. One shot is
Yeah,
all
he
it
said
takes. And there it is, 116 from Pablo.
Bit delayed with that
Should
one.
be enough to bring him above, 62 above now.
Oh, Pablo,
It's not
please win the
gonna
whole
be
thing.
enough for the rest of the match, but it's going to be enough to hold on here just a bit longer. Only a shotgun and sniper in hand, as I assume Bevy's has taken the AR. Medkits being split up, ammunition being split up.
Age is just a number, my love for you is timeless. Let's create our own fairy tale together and make every moment magical.
Curve 62 above, but Veno Tayson under pressure. Noah Aqua going to be the ones on the other side, out of zone. No HP. Veno gets dropped again. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Tayson. Medkit getting canceled. Noah goes in, but he gets set right back on
He's
out,
dead.
leaving Aqua by himself. But Tayson is running
Did
out
he
of
get
time.
that in
This is
time?
a two-tick.
He
Now
did get
or
it in
never
time,
for the
okay.
Medkit. With 1 HP left, he finally gets it off to try to keep himself alive. But Aqua is still trying to do it on the other side. He finally is disengaged. I think they realize this is almost a no-win scenario for both of these teams if they don't get out. And he actually goes down. The medallion gets dropped. Aqua and Noah are out.
With a sliver of HP, literally one for Tayson. He gets the medkit off in time, and with that, heals
10 boys,
Aqua.
10 girls are each given
Finish him
20
off, but
mental
now with Venom being
arithmetic
eliminated,
questions.
Tayson being
Here are
outside
the
the zone, he
number
has a
of
launch pad he needs
correct
to get back
answers for
in.
each boy.
Not even sure if he has time to
The
lead up
range of the
Aqua. Let's
answers,
see what happened to
the
Bevis and
range
Pablo,
of
though.
all the girls is 12, but Minerville is 14.
Pablo's
Use the
already
data.
down.
Boys are
Just a
better than
musky
girls at
elimination.
men.
You said it as well.
So that's the question.
Kind of
Okay,
what was
okay.
happening, even
Well,
though
not
Bevis
easy
is back,
question.
They're going to need a refresh. Look at his loot. If he doesn't have ammo, he doesn't have materials, using all of his heals. Pablo, lucky enough, before going down, was able to kind of gather up enough shot surge.
Oh, Pablo's down.
Now he has to return the favor and have a big solo clutch opportunity.
Because you're
Unless
the
he pulls
missing
him out
piece of
Luka
my
and tries
puzzle,
to
the
reboot
melody to
second
my
time.
song and the love of my
gonna say,
life.
we
Let's
saw it
embark
happen
on a
in the
journey together and create
semifinals.
beautiful moments that will last a lifetime.
And I believe it
XL,
was
what are you doing?
actually in the late game. Murstache picked up Malabuka, and they almost traded themselves, leaving him as a solo to finish it. Until he picked him back up again. But that's going to be difficult here for Bevies. He is 231 above, though. No minis. 11 wood. 1 build. This is really something where you need a miracle, a blessing.
One build, he's basically
come out
dead.
of.
He's done.
Yeah, he's just trying
He's
to
getting looked
rotate,
at, yeah.
get next to a team, but not too close to where they're going to push him. He needs to make himself kind of look like a duo, because if they spot him out as a solo, they're going to go. Cade,
There's a reason
Diox
as well.
spiking towards the backside of the zone, getting smushed further and further back, but they're actually going to get granted the zone as the next one buzz pull over in their direction.
dead.
Nice opportunity for Bevies to hit a shot, but he is just in shambles.
Oh, maybe he gets away.
Getting ping-ponged
Can't
around
hit
the
it once.
lobby, not
Oh,
really
he got
able to
away as
decide
well,
what
fair
he
enough.
wants to do at almost any given moment. I mean,
Got crash
oh,
pads as
man.
well.
3 builds
And 2
now,
builds.
all metal. If that duo that took shots pursues him, it could be the end of Bevies. Tayson, though, 30 below. No duo
I mean, it's
partner to
every
help
shot.
him with damage. It's all up to
Tayson's
him.
dead. Yep.
One of the Fortnite goats. Is he able to do it? Surge just gets the better of him. As now Bevies 197 above, 14 HP, 2 builds, and a dream.
14 HP. Hey, all you need to do is at least have 1 HP. Be able to stay alive. Common sense. He's just outside the edge of zone as well. But he can
Why don't you
immediately go
find
back in.
out?
You see a lot of the builds that are going to be
Jesus,
recyclable
XL,
for a
man.
situation like this. It's all about what happens after. Because you see him down low, kind of in a trench between 2 of the biggest mountains in the zone right now. If it pulls to either one, that's what I'm going to continue to get a little scared for Bevies. But one team needs to go down, and he'll at least start to collect those placement points.
Buka looking to see if he can connect the shot here. AR in
Oh my
hand,
god,
it's
did it just
2
change your
and
black
3.
screen? What did I
One
just
more
do?
needed to get the knock on Pixie,
Oh,
but
no, I
the
broke it.
damage. Now,
Okay,
27
it should be
above,
alright now.
94
Should be.
with the hits.
Yeah? Why is it glitching out?
They hold on though. Just 19 seconds
XL, why is it
left
showing a
until the
black screen?
zone
What have I just
closes.
done? Do I need to check OBS? What have I done? It shouldn't be showing a black screen.
They're not the highest elevation, but they do have
Oh, no clue what I just did there.
behind them. So lessens the chance of somebody being able to break into the box, but Mixon pings a whole different side of that Storm Surge threshold. Not going to be a ton, but 34 below. Not very many opportunities there as we look at an opportunity here. Bevies.
There's a video. That's not fair. No, it's been playing it.
The Reaper Sniper, no scope, not no quick scope at close range. Talk about getting back into the game. Bevies has finally done it. And with the massive solo clutch the game prior by Pablo, this is his chance to return the favor. And now Pablo won't be able to hold it over his head if they win.
Bevy's inventing new words with that headshot snipe. 3 now on the board. Will this be history once again? A solo clutch. He has the damage from that headshot. He has the loot, and now back up.
He's actually this team's insane though. I prefer Pablo to Bevy. Pablo is just him. He's got 100 builds.
A bit of shields, but there is potential to make something happen.
And this is perfect situation.
It's good rotate as well. So
for everybody in
256 above.
So there's not going to be great and too many opportunities for people
400
to
metal as well. He's
can't
fine.
Wait for zone and try to target out a solo like Bevies. He just needs another one of these far pulls.
Obsessed maybe just can you believe me though? You're irresistible. Exile, man. Chill.
Placement points being gathered with every team that goes down. Oh, but Bevies goes down himself. That's Vico who went in. But Pink got lost along
The deal,
so
I honestly need the balls. Mongol's to Savage are dead again, which is annoying. They're just not doing good.
Let's see how it happened.
Oh, Bevy's dead. 419 points, okay.
It seemed to be the safer play, but with his roof, his cone replaced, he did go down. Ping Mixon, though, 4 elims on the board. Just like that, an extra
front side as well.
24 points going into this end game. 3 medkits to work with, 3 bigs. They're already ahead of zone as well. They can't even recuperate what they've used here. Question is, what do they want? Do they want to elevate themselves more? What layer are they playing for? So far, I'm trying to see as well who might be peaking for that high ground. It is 9th zone. It's the first moving, and it commences.
Yeah, what they're doing, you can see it. Peeking through the cone, gathering information, which gives them flexibility and options. Do I stagger myself?
Oh, Malibuca's up. Isn't he solo? I know. Unless you're watching Malibuca's duo.
That answer is Merstash bumbling a little bit, trying to make it on over to Malibuca as players cut off his path with.
I hate your profile picture.
No
Oh,
harm,
Excel.
no foul, able to reunite into the same box. Voco and Vortexers having to do the same thing, but 21 below the damage threshold. The quick fadeaway shot coming out from Voco is going to get him above, but he takes a shot himself, trying to reunite with Vortexers, so that way they can try to heal.
Solid rotate, I guess.
Big
327.
Getting put to good use. Vortex's Volko looking to continue strong. It's going to be Reason. Badil trying to make a comeback from that game 1. They have the high ground. Can they hold on?
Question we're going to be asking ourselves, 364 above, but almost every game so far, no matter if it's early in the 9th zone, late in the 11th zone, somebody usually tries to threaten to take over that high ground, claim it for themselves. Mixon 195, plenty of builds to work with, but he is going to be a solo. Spot somebody right in front, quick reactions to turn around, and once again, grapple blade to the front side of the zone, being able to recycle some of these builds and save it for when he needs it most.
374, Mixon, duo is dead.
Clutch it up. He has that mythic frenzy.
Top
He has a
15.
good amount of builds, even ahead of zone. With those 3 medkits, the potential to play back and slow when he runs out of materials. Merstash Malibuca, though, showing their dominance with 3 elims. Issue is, they could use a bit more materials, but they're more than healthy for the rest of the
Jesus Christ, Exile.
Absolutely insane for Malibuca and Merstash. They're slowly but surely moving up the leaderboard, which is hard to say because they're already at the top of it. Started in 3rd place on the day, slowly but surely taking over other spots. Vortexers lost Voco. You saw his shields get dropped not too long ago, so now Vortexers left by himself, trying to grapple blade once more to the front side of the zone. Ends up almost getting boxed up, but it doesn't matter. Marius and Sangil, 2 shots are better than 1. Take him down.
Wanting to get the back-to-back VR as Vanille Reason still up strong above. Marius Sangil now trying to build up as this zone does pull towards a ridge. They cannot get trapped here. They need to elevate themselves as quickly as possible, but as all duos have the same plan in mind, they get trapped together on the journey up the hill. As his duo partner Sangil goes down, so does Marius.
Yeah, he tries to backtrack in his zone.
Nice one, mate. You've just changed again. It's only a 1 minute ban, so he can go back anyway. I like the stream XL. This year I thought, what? Oh, no, it's up to 5. No, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. Can you find better mods, please? It's horrible.
Traded shot going off. Hari is doing his best to go ahead and dominate the lobby, but he finds a med kit towards the backside. He's going to allow himself to stagger backside his zone.
It was Malabuka who got eliminated, as now zone pulling under the train tracks. iDrop using that as he builds close to one of the pillars, but with just 10 HP, he's forced to pop a med kit.
Yeah, a lot of these med kits coming out a little bit earlier than some would hope, but the trend for FNCS continues. Not too many heal off as Hari's just trying to get some extra points, but he gets shut down from the high ground. Analyx, Sado look towards the back. They find out Art Skill. Another couple eliminations going to be grabbed, and they position them in the top 3.
5 players up, 3 duos. We still have Fadil and Reason up above. Cade is going to be the solo. Goes down to zone. The 2v2 hyper slow.
Why are you two arguing now?
One, unable to get the knock. Fadil now forced as a solo.
He still has the medkits. He gets it.
I need to grab my phone charger. I'm 13%. Oh, the deal wins it. Oh, it basically won the entire thing with deal and Reed. That's the first win of the actual thing there. What points does it spend more?
Game 2 on the day to take it all.
Back in business from a rough game 1 after dominating day 1, finishing in first place. They are back on their throne.
And that's what happened. The topsy-turvy for those points. 1.5 times points compared to yesterday. And I said it, we are going to see that leaderboard change hands almost every single game today. And with a valiant effort from Bebies and his solo clutch, he went down far too early to where points like this, a win like this, 6 eliminations, 100
6
points from
wins,
placement
they're
alone,
fine.
Sakata, they have to be sitting pretty in first.
1 year ago, Reason, Chapter 4, Major 1, first place, day 1, but dropped down to 3rd place, day 2. They said, we're not doing it again.
Okay,
Reason
Nick A43. Right.
So
arguing with my mod.
Is the question.
It's the only mod I have, leave him alone.
Let's answer that. Frankie, Levin Mini, what you got?
Well, there's 2 people that can help you with that, and I am just going to help them talk through the situation that we just witnessed. Because as the boys just correctly said, Fadil and Reason didn't have the best game 1, but what an impressive display from
That was my most
duo,
recent TikTok done. Let me check it.
that high ground dominance again. We've had low, high.
Oh, we only had 2 more likes.
Next, Levin.
Wow, that's great.
I mean, if Video and Reason have anything to do
Oh, the
with it, it's gonna
TikTok's so
be
dead,
a
man. It
shock.
got
It's gonna be
400 views,
entertaining
17
because
likes.
that is what
Great.
these guys do.
It's in the
They
first hour, I
entertain.
guess. So.
Like the caster said, they were asleep still, you know, they actually, you know, it wasn't actually them playing, you know, or somebody else just, you know, they weren't really there. But now they are
that's not the
here, they're
best.
reminding us
Hopefully
exactly
it'll pick up
what
soon.
they're capable of. And I mean, Mini, that is the kind of momentum, that is probably the best game they have had so far, right? You know, you looked at the first 6 games they had yesterday, and it was like a weird one, like I think you mentioned it earlier, right, where you looked at the
Who's
list
first
of
right
games
now?
and thought, can't believe
It's
they're
gonna be
first
Reason,
place
isn't
in
it?
these games, you know, like there's nothing that's jumping out to you, but now a statement win here.
Yeah, Madil said it
Show
himself.
the
He was like,
leaderboard,
hang on a
don't
sec,
show
are we actually
highlights.
in first here? And I think now it just shows that they are actually
Yeah,
deserving
actually,
to be in that position. They
that's,
haven't
why is that the
flunked it
highlight?
on day
Where's that number 4?
1. I think
Well,
it's
how was that a
also
highlight? They didn't do
because
anything.
ended up in the similar sort of area to what we saw in the previous game.
I
So it's like
finished
they had that
second,
practice
XL
with
your
that
ban.
rotation. They knew what they did wrong in
Like
that
from
first game.
Fortnite, I
They could
mean.
actually adjust their strategy. What I did
Vidil
like,
Vico.
though, we haven't really seen Vidil and Reason on hype this season. I haven't seen them performing this well in this level.
I think
on hype, so it's
Pablo and
nice to see
Vidil is
them
going to be
going for
between
that,
those two.
particularly in this
Pablo
sort of
could
format
bring
as
it
well, where
back
they're
and just
gonna
win the
get
whole
those
thing.
1.5x points. A
Cade,
massive
use
win
good
like this is going to
locks.
be huge for this team because it just
Well, we
keeps them
basically had
afloat,
won this
keeps them
game at
on
this
top of that
point.
leaderboard, and
Especially if it
allows
went
them to
over a
continue
bridge.
taking those
It was
risks. I
foul, I would have
worried
been.
that if they did fall down the leaderboard a little bit, they might end up just almost going back into their shell, not taking as many risks, but this is great for this team.
Yeah, I mean,
Those two
you know
both
me,
dead
I'm a
as
bit of
well,
a nostalgia
so.
merchant. I remember back in the trio days, Reason, Vidil, and Noah Riley, when that was a trio, they used to love high ground, right? They
460
used to be
points, it
up
wasn't
there,
500.
and they used to show out. And
If
so
they
it's
play
good
good,
to
they could
see
finish
these
on like
guys going
600
back to
points.
almost their roots, you would say, you know, playing for height there. Really, really fun game for
I'm
them.
not meaning Fortnite, yeah. I know you don't mean Fortnite, I'm just
There
6 viewers
is
there.
a river
Welcome.
adjacent
5 viewers
zone.
now.
Let's
Great.
just build up, and then we're absolutely ready for anything. And I, for one, am ready to see the leaderboard, because I have a feeling that Vidil and Reason would have scooted back up to that #1 spot where we found them at the end of day 1. And there you can see it. Huge placement points for these boys. 160.
Where's
Malibu
Pablo?
and Mustache. It's
Oh,
still
they're
winnable
third
for them,
now.
though. I mean, it looks like a lot of points difference, but actually, Mini and Minor, there's still so much to play for, especially with that 1.5x multiplier.
Yeah, 100%, but really impressive stuff from this team.
It was impressive.
We saw
You're
have
doing
two
great,
massive
Money Miner.
games
He is the
yesterday.
best
They had an
caster.
average game
Let me
there
grab my
as
phone
well.
charger.
It was one of those for me where it's like, are they going to be able to do that tomorrow? Are they going to be able to do that when the points are multiplied? Are they going to be able to do it consistently? And so far, with a 7th there and an 8th in that last game, 5 eliminations and 4 eliminations in both of those games, really nice from this duo. They haven't quite had that massive game yet, the one that we know this duo for from all the way back when, sort of chapter 3 days, just fragging out, going absolutely crazy. But this could be their time to win Malabuka, of course, his first FNCS title. Of course, Mustache won it last year in this very same Mage, Chapter 4 Major 1. So he has the experience, and Mustache was playing so well yesterday. It looks like they're continuing that today.
Absolutely, man.
Excel, I had 8 viewers. Again, I'm not having you in VC. That's not happening.
For me, I think Thomas HD probably is #1 on that list, but if it wasn't Thomas, it would be Malabuka, right? It's
There is
1A,
no way
1B
I'm
in
putting
that
you in a
regard.
VC right
And
now.
So, look, I think we're going to see some history today, right? If
Oh,
it's
that's
these
1
two-
minute until
if
next
it's-
game,
if
right?
it's first place and second place that continue this race for first, then one of those teams is going to have
I'm gonna have to chill out soon because I got my I got a second set of mocks soon, and I actually got to focus on those. So I'm focusing hard on these time.
teams will be pushing in these last
Oh,
couple of
my
games to
God.
really make it happen. I mean, Mustache's done
Revision
it before, and so
list
you'd
from
like to hope that experience will turn well and lead in their favour. Same could be said for Vidil. And if you can keep on putting out moments like this one, I mean, look, these
I
guys
have a massive vision
in their
booklet.
element, flow state right
I have
here.
in
Like,
front of me
you
right now.
just need to get
How long we got? 30
There's not many
seconds.
players better than Mustache
It's,
and Malabuka.
I want Pablo to win, but I feel
We
like
also
Pablo's going to end up
talk
like 3rd or
about some of the
2nd.
duos that aren't quite getting
I've
victory
got structure and
royales,
bonding test
but
on
are
Wednesday.
showing themselves to be
It's February
game
29th this
full
year
of
as well, isn't
fight.
it? I keep
I'm
forgetting it's going to be
thinking
February
about
29th. That's really
him
cool, though.
At the moment, we just saw so much from him and his duo in this game, and actually across the weekend so far, Levin.
Yeah, I mean, Minnie was, talking about them earlier, right, in terms of being a big fan. They were doing a bit of roulette yesterday in terms of where they were landing, so we'll see what they can do today and whether it delivers.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Mute Discord on stream, please. Discord isn't open.
Into game number 9.
Oh.
Everything is
No,
on the line.
you're not. I'm not going in the VC with you.
With everything on the line here, games are slowly but surely going out the window, and the opportunity to pick up points is going along with it. Takada, taking a look at that leaderboard, is there any team kind of pointing out to you?
Look, there's too many teams pointing out at
Too
me,
many
Jacob.
teams
With the
pointing
shakeups
out?
we've had after every match, and this change in format, 1.5 times placement and elims for day 2. It seems like after every game, you said it after game 1, but it's like we have a different person on the throne. It's constantly changing. Like I can't even imagine who is going to end in the top 3. So it's what I love to see. The constant.
Are these two
action,
like ones
but also
speaking
the
throughout the thing?
adaptation
Who are these
that
two?
players
So
have
they
to
just
do.
like kind of
Yeah,
appear.
and honestly, I think Veno and Tayson, one of those
I want Mini
teams that
Minder
have
talking
to
for a while.
adapt.
Mini Minder's
Two
the
games
best
so
commentator
far
of all
where
of
they're
them.
just not having their way. Things are just going horribly wrong. They're stuck in positions, again, having to find Surge. And that's why throughout the course of the game,
Come on, you know
they're
you gotta
going
speed
ahead
up
and
now. You've heard
rotating
about
towards
us.
Forecast
You
Tower
gotta
so
speed
they
up.
can find that Surge. Will that trend continue?
Oh, I show the
Luckily for us,
game.
the battle bus is ready, and we can
Yes.
get right into the game.
There we go. Grand Finals, Game 9.
Third match of the day. Vidil and Reason sitting back on their throne.
I actually
like they were
need
at the
to
conclusion of day
add an
1.
alert thing. I completely
But
forgot I
Queasy
still
and
don't have
Thomas
alerts.
HD,
Let me add
from
that
going
quickly.
down off spawn in the second match, they've dropped down to 8th place on the leaderboard. But with this quick knock, they have the advantage now. The 2 versus 1, all they need to do is close it off, and it's exactly
Here we go.
what gets done.
Alerts.
Yeah, I like the opportunity there, but he had the first shot with a frenzy just too far away.
Put it
to
right
really
there.
damage that matters. Belusi under pressure.
There we go.
Marius and
Alerts
Sango
smells up.
already have one elimination, which is his duo, and he tries to take to fight to then. I've seen that work
Well, that fight
sometimes,
lasted long, didn't it?
but
That
more
was
times than
a
not,
waste of a
the numbers
fight
game
then.
usually wins.
Who even is it a fighting? Oh no, Mongol's dead.
That was an engagement.
I missed this how you
Both
got
were
killed
lavish
him.
layers, so you know these duos are also aware of what Thomas HD and Queasy's engagement is looking like. So seeing that that one ended early, I don't think they'll be looking for any sort of third party. Vidil and Reason feeling a lot more
Mr. Savage and
comfortable now.
Mongo
They're
dead
awake,
again.
like Levin said, no more naps, no more sleeping. It's day 2 of the grand finals, the last chance to show your worth in this major. And they are a duo that are looking like they can take it home.
What I like about Reason and Vidil over here towards Snooty Steps, typically you see a lot of teams kind of just battle it out for
Goodbye,
the mythic,
goodbye,
for the
Excel.
medallion, without too many cares in the world. They kind of play it by ear. They let those opportunities come to them. It looks like the George looking for basket. They finally drop down. They're gonna find him. No more hide and seek. It's all about
What was I
finishing
gonna
the
do?
job.
Oh, yeah, it's not
that
true.
one's gonna come through easy. Just stuck on the side of a mountain. And then Vasquez are gonna be no more here in this lobby, which kind of opens up a possible forecast tower, because more times than not, it was them that were going for it.
And that forecast tower can be crucial for making sure you safely make it to the late game, having that vision of the upcoming zones before your competitors. Reason and Vidil just continuing with their planned out loot path, as they know they do have some players close by. However, there's nothing they need to do other than loot right now.
You're just trying to find for both of them to get a grappler, maybe some fizzes, some crash pads. It's gonna be the most important things that they're looking for. Rotation, mixing pinks.
Getting back onto the stream.
Almost looks like they're trying to cut
Pretty
off
boring
a
start,
loop
to be
path
honest.
right on the chest. Marius and Sangil gotta be careful. It's no longer just a trick coming out from Misha and Teeny. Everybody really taking note and trying to add some sort of that strategy to their game plan. Will it work though? They sense it. They sense something's up. Nothing's easy. They try to go ahead and 2v1 pings on the other side. Marius go ahead and adds a huge flank and a couple of shots. Gonna allow his teammate Sangil to get out almost unscathed.
That's how you say it,
Does
Sangil.
not work.
And he's dead.
Ping and Mixed from hiding now to on their knees, knocked down, using that sniper rifle to maximize damage.
That doesn't even work, so that one doesn't make much
Mixon now
sense.
put into panic. He needs to make something happen in this duel.
It's a nice first shot being fired. He's trying to finish it off. Back to back.
Oh.
Great attempt from Mixon. Unfortunately,
This is a really
Everyone,
boring off
Sangil's
spawn.
really firing the defining
It's just the
shot
same
to
as
take
every
him
other
down,
off spawn,
but
really. I feel like it's only
he was
interesting when it
putting
gets
in
to the
work,
end game,
whittling
innit?
down his opponents, chipping him down one shot at a time. Fortunately enough, he has to kind of watch the rest of this game out on the sidelines.
Oh, is that actually massive? Yeah, it's clips. Gotta watch those later then. I'm sort of doing revision while I stream this. It's one of his easier streams, so it's
all
like,
the time in the world to farm up, to loot up before they make their rotation on outward, and they've been having such a consistent FNCS, not just today, but multiple second places yesterday. Their team, I
boring
feel
off
like,
spawn, I agree.
are
This
in
is
the running towards the top of that leaderboard.
Mongo and Mr. Savage dying on spawn again is so annoying. They've died on spawn basically. If they weren't contested, I feel like they could have actually done well.
Getting the medallion.
But them being contested isn't working for them, and I think they know it now. They've got to change up soon.
Match just like these forecast towers that Giraz and Cherry are going for. They might have even already gotten it. You can see the Elim on the board. Or they're just waiting for the NPCs to spawn still. Taking a look at the surrounding
Game 9 and
areas.
12.
Farming up, making sure they're staying efficient. They don't want to be put into place here, doing nothing. Either you could be farming, either you could be looking for
Where's
tags.
Vika's doing?
There's always something you want to do. And let's take a look at here at the, let's say,
Oh, damn
most
that.
aggressive forecast battle we've seen. But what's going on here, Jacob? I see Vico, I see Pink. I don't see any eliminations, and I don't see any Kiduo or Kiro.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder with how it's been going, trading off between the two. You can kind of see when Vico and Pink get there first, Kiro and Kudo, they either play it slow, they take high ground, or they disengage completely. From the other way around,
So
most
they've
times they're not.
disengaged
Vico are ready to
completely,
fight for it.
basically.
So it does look like they were just
Which
there
is fair.
first through the punch and
Maybe even
really
play
kind
some
of
points,
pushing
worth it more.
teams
I guess it is
out
good
as
though,
they
isn't
try
it?
to enter in to their line
You got
of
a
sight.
Tyler as well, which is
Players
actually
trying to
impressive
launch
with his
back
AR.
into the distance, becoming targets of Vico.
We can
Nice
see
Grand
here,
just abandoned.
Kiduo is at the Grand Glacier with his duo partner. They are refarming, currently in 13th place on the leaderboard, right beside Vico and Pink at 15th. Everybody close in terms of points though. You can see it's 218.
It's actually pretty close
17th, and I believe
FNCS with points.
228. All the way up to 13th. Just a couple eliminations separating them. As Diox and Cade now, as well with 0 on the board, will just continue getting themselves into a better position. Ooh.
Nice find there. Fizz, floppers. A lot of this loot towards the shoreline does remain unlooted until a team like this rotates on past, not really expecting to find much. It's usually a blessing in disguise. Flowberry Fizz coming on out. Say Diox and Cade. Their path currently is going to be cut off by Volko.
Well, I mean, Volko's just starting, but I don't even know what Volko's do
Kind of
is.
separated, but not too far off to cause too many worries. They were able to get one of the
Where's
forecast
Pablo? Is
towers.
Pablo off spawn? Did Pablo die off
Pixie
spawn?
looking like they're going to be able to get the other. And
I hope
obviously the
Pablo's
first one that
alright.
we saw, Pink and Vico, they're going to have the third.
Rotate continues.
There's
now.
no way Pablo dies off spawn anyway. Pablo's
Objective
gonna hit him.
secured, loot secured, and after the forecast towers, now the engagements usually end up for those combat caches that will spawn at an equal distance between two teams.
There's Pablo.
So we're starting to
Okay,
see a lot more
sorry to
box
worry
fights,
about.
that
Don't
is
want
why.
Pablo dying.
Taking a look at Pablo and his duo partner Bevies, who have been performing incredibly well here at the start of
Pablo's
day 2.
him
You
though.
can see up
So
in third place now.
third place. Oh, for
Merstash
460.
Malabuka second, Vidil
Kind of
Reason
far for place though.
back on their throne.
It
in
mostly
third.
is just top 3
This is
at
one
this
big
point.
game, like we saw to change up the leaderboard.
And it almost makes me wonder.
Ah, it was embarrassing on the stream as well. Oh, that was embarrassing though from the stream.
Head on the roof. Like, how good would Pablo and Bevies be on that leaderboard if they were able to play out those respective games together? Might have made a big difference.
It's always the what ifs, Jacob. It's always the what ifs.
For candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Team is basically dead.
And
They're on 3 of 5. 4 kills as well.
Sanguild with 4 on the board. On the train tracks, this is, I believe, for the last
Oh,
game.
please
to
somebody
end.
train runs through him. Doxy's fighting.
Look at Volko
That's close,
board.
isn't it? Oh no, that's not
You
close.
said it yourself, Jacob. First victory royale in an FNCS finals yesterday. They've been getting to late
Michael's
game,
being lit.
especially the first match, but not yet
Vortex
able
3-4.
to secure
3-5-4
another win.
even. Cade backed up.
Sapphire.
So many bush
Gets a
campers.
knock on the
It's like
Dino in the feed. And even gets the cleanup. That's not the best situation for them to be in, especially with a comeback opportunity. Now, I even saw Veno after one of those games talking about taking back control, just watch. You got to imagine, probably with a statement like that, maybe getting a little aggressive, because you know as well as I do, one of their biggest problems throughout this FNCS is how they're handling Surge in these set lobbies, which not necessarily been going their way, and they've been kind of having to really dig deep, put
Dino's
themselves
dead.
into risky situations.
Tayson's
just to
gonna
find
be
that
a
Surge. I gotta
shambles
imagine
game.
there has to be another one.
Headshot's not. Oh, we got a headshot then.
You can see Tayson has been left alone.
39 up.
Benno knocked out of the match. Once again, another solo we're following. Who's in the top of the leaderboard?
Queen,
They
they're
have
top
dropped down,
10.
you can see, though, to 10th place with 326 points. But we said it recently, one big match is what they need. They got it in the last game of day 1. And
I
anything's
think
possible here
Pablo
in
might
day 2.
win the whole thing. I think if he gets like a good game, he's won it. It's gonna be
A
close,
marathon,
probably.
it's not just a race across
It basically
the
is
finish
just a
line.
top 3 fight at this point, though.
Got to be able to stay composed. And one thing I learned, you know, even though we do have those special cases, but not everything in an FNCS will go your way. And you got to be able to handle when things kind of go wrong and be able to bounce back. Can't just mentally give up. And you see eye drops by himself, trying to remain tough in a situation
Tayson gets
just
a
like this.
reboot.
And it doesn't necessarily scare
No
me too
way.
much. I've seen eye drop clutch in some of the biggest moments, including this FNCS, just to make it to this stage. As Veno gets
Keyed
Tayson-
immediately,
or
he's
Tayson
dead off
gets
spawn.
Veno back
Is
into
he
the
dead out
game.
of sky?
But there is going to be another team ready to pounce. They're trying to take him down, and Veno gets dropped just as fast
I can't even
as
see
he
he's
got
fighting
rebooted
him.
back into the game, which leaves
Oh,
Tayson by
it's
himself.
Blazing and Locks.
Blazing and Locks are going to be the team trying to disrupt and really try to stop the credible FNCS run between Tayson and Veno. Tayson doing a good job of fighting back. Brings Lazen down to just a sliver of shield. Full HP, though, is buying himself even more time with each shot that gets fired.
An emergency for Tayson put into crisis as now he's in the 1v2. It looks like their opponents almost want to force out this engagement with the shots coming from Tayson. They look a little scared as they're not being completely aggressive here. Has the time to recuperate his shield with that Flowberry Fizz. Zone gets closer and closer now. As there's just 22 seconds left. Grapple Blade will be put to good use. Eye drop.
Savino's dead again.
Close by. So many things can go wrong here.
I think he's trying to get keyed by eye drops, isn't he? Yeah, he's trying to get eye drops keyed.
On Veno, even though he doesn't get credit, he was able to not only loot it up, get just a couple more shots for his overall Storm Surge.
Did he actually get away with that as well?
In, grabs Veno's card and is immediately trying to disengage on out and go for reboot attempt number 2.
Setty's close in the storm, aren't they?
Continuing to build behind him.
Oh, cracked.
We'll be able to reuse this match, but Tayson with shots like those, cracking eye drop. Is he gonna force the fight from this? He is a solo. He could use a bit of extra loot, but he sees the duos close by. He cannot take a lot of time. It's either get in or get out.
I think he's taking notice.
He's got
of
3
that,
med kits, yeah.
You can almost see the decision making
Doesn't get cracked,
in
so
real
he's
time
alright.
as he disengages on out. Shield isn't necessarily too much of a worry here for Tayson as long as he doesn't get chipped away at his HP. Finally, the disengage is going to come through. You know he has Veno's reboot card, and the goal is to get him back into the game. And after that, goal 2 is find some sort of a refresh because Tayson now doesn't look the most healthy in terms of materials. Now imagine when Veno comes back and they got to split it between them both.
Definitely not going to be easy. Scary from Merstash. No shield, sliver of HP. Although Malabuka has built around the flag here, so it looks like they should be able to secure a bit of extra loot as the medallion gets split up, so they do not have to use those consumable heals so early on. They should be able to get some extra as well now. The question is, though, will these other duos close by apply pressure, or will they just keep refarming?
Second place,
433.
433 points.
Why are they showing second and 43rd?
They're on top of Rift Island.
Why is 43rd on screen? That was really random. Oh, is that his key? Okay, and we're like on island.
Just a regular old launch pad. We're gonna have an easy chance rotating in towards zone.
Tayson's trying to get a reboot still.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. He is taking the safer option to go to Grand Glacier, though, inside of the zone. And he's not the only player that's getting a reboot here. It's iDrop, but you saw the duo creep
those two on him,
once
yeah.
again in a similar scenario to what Tayson just went through. iDrop picks up Nebs. Nebs, on the other hand, though,
Nebs actually got away.
Just yet, but they're forced again into an engagement, into this battle where they don't have the advantage in.
Yeah, Nebs and iDrops need to figure out a way to reunite, but Andalix and Sato giving them more than enough opportunity as they're going to crash back their way towards zone. So now it's just about giving yourself time here in a situation like this, even if you're deep in zone. It's like an iDrop bar, just to try to farm up, get as many resources. You've done enough at this stage to get your teammate back into the game, and now you just need to push yourself over that line. Same thing could be said about Tayson and Veno. And since they do land over towards Grand Glacier,
they got 6 seconds to pull it again, and it's going to go to a 2-tick as well.
So. Behind from earlier on in the same match before they rotate on over. Tayson's going to be the one leading the charge. He's going to find a spot, and then later Veno will reunite into the same box.
God knows if they're actually going to make it in here. I'd be lucky.
Naturally placed on top of the mountain here to fly right back into zone. They should be able to make it all the way. They even have those spare medkits to heal up, but I wonder how much damage Tayson was able to get. He did quite a bit in those engagements, so
it's not going to be enough.
It shouldn't be too bad for this duo, but they will definitely need to do a bit of work in these upcoming zones.
Does look like we got another pool.
Set
not
is
too far away though from the current zone. So Tayson and Veno, that's a little bit of a blessing, so they don't have to keep rotating towards the northwest part of the map, away from Rift Island. But they immediately get spotted out by Seti, who cracks the shield. And typically that would be a great opportunity to go, but you see Seti and Cammy separated on 2 different ends of Reckless Railway, not really able to take advantage of that damage. And instead they're going to do the next best thing. Try to reunite on the other side of the zone, but as we tune in, Malabuka and Merstash in another fight on the other side. They're able to at least get one. AR Bafo is going to be the only one left, and they're hot on the heels, melting through a lot of these builds, just trying to get that 6 extra points for their efforts. And just like that, that's going to be achieved, and that's 12 overall at the top of Rift Island that Malibuca and Mustache just gathered.
Quick, nice little 12 for Mustache and Malibuca.
Jesus.
To give. Oh, that was a disgusting snipe.
Fair enough, that was actually a good
the
night.
benefit of the doubt. The last time he did compete in the finals was over 1,280 days ago in Chapter 2, Season 3. Actually, the longest of any player in this lobby, even longer than Mongrel. So it must be tough. But for iDrop and Nebs,
So they're struggling, miss. I think they're still in
they
front
are
of
going for the
Mongols, so.
combat cash. But they're gonna need to get into a bit of action if they want to secure it. 35 above, they've done a bit of damage. 41 shield, 35 HP as the zone keeps ticking.
Yeah, luckily for them, they did get the combat cash in which you were talking about, which grants them medkits. More time to fight in towards the zone, but iDrop has to go ahead and pop his first one now. Nebs needs to allow him to pop that medkit.
He's got no medkits, he's gotta go.
It's on the other side, Dandy and Stas. It does look like they're down on Surge, so they really have no other choice but to keep fighting this. So if they disengage, that'll be all their HP, all their heals. iDrops and Nebs, they did just enough to stay ahead of the curve. 29 is better than nothing. iDrop's trying to go in, gain a little bit more advantage.
Is Nebs
The
dead
first
now?
knock is going to come through with ease.
He's dead now, no?
Nebs, though, still under pressure on the other side. Another team towards the outskirts taking notice, starting to put shots in that direction. iDrop wins the fight, but Nebs goes down again.
They needed.
Is he leaving Nebs? Oh, he's gonna medkits.
To get the refresh, but as Neb's been knocked, iDrop forced to leave him, continue as a solo. We can see what happened here with Venom and Tayson. They just were making their way back into zone, but Seti and Cammy stopped them.
Seti and Cammy are dead. Fair enough. Malibuca.
As it looks like the zone might have got the best of them.
Jesus Christ, that's it.
Yeah, unfortunately enough, it is confirmed Veno and Tayson go down outside
Veno and Tayson are dead.
Another game where the struggles continue, which is really leaving them in a position, even with 1.5 points, they need top performances. And I need all caps when it comes to those top performances if they want to have a chance at not only the first place prize, but that global championship, which is granted to the top 2 teams in this competition.
Malibuca Mustache currently in 2nd place. Now this is a duo that competed together in FNCS, but ended up splitting at the beginning of Chapter 4. It would be amazing to see them take home a title after joining forces once again. Vidil and Reason, though, they might stop that from happening if they continue the dominance like we saw from the last match.
Yeah, you can see they got that max pull, and instead of fighting a risky fight, the team that's in first place, it does look like they're going to try to crash pad, rotate on out. But they're just double checking before they go ahead, maybe even popping a little bit of a med kit on the side of the deal. Crash pad finally coming out. And this is where the rotation is going to begin.
Well, there's actually nobody on that side. They have the freest rotate.
Shimoki, though, while everybody's making their way
One
over.
team of
If you look at the
placement.
rotation, look at the mini map, Takata. There is nobody in sight in front of Vidil and Reason. They just got themselves a free rotation.
I mean, with 3 elims, it's not like they need a lot of damage either. This is very impactful for this duo. I mean, the only ones you can see Astral Art skill.
I want to see Mongol endgame. Oh, I think Mongol's even going to get a single endgame. I can end up like 100 points.
So that the other duos,
I don't know how they're struggling so
the focus
much.
gets onto them before using the crash pad here.
Because it's not even like they're a bad team. So I don't know what they're doing struggling so much
Take
for.
the rotate early and have the option to look back. Rotating in, he can even slide up this hill here.
Fair
They might
enough,
just be the
solid
most
snipe.
elevated duo as the quick scope comes through, unable to connect the headshot, but that's still a big tag.
I was just laughing to myself momentarily. As soon as they got the crash pad off, you see that team just immediately close up their boxes. They don't want to be susceptible to any sort of sneaky plays or even somebody trying to slide right in. That's Lunex.
Strategy is up.
Who took a huge sniper shot from Reason. Really second guess any peaks coming through as we jump on board Pablo and Bevy. At one point or another today, Pablo had stolen the show, but with the hiccups in that last game, it gets stolen right back by Reason and Vidil. This is their chance now that they're a full duo. Placement points starting to click in. That they can really show the potential in which they've been working on all season long.
Pablo, they haven't had actually any points this game.
Active.
Oh, they're both. Okay, they're
You
both.
see the Nodi
Good.
now as players a rush.
I'm hoping Pablo wins the whole
They need to
thing.
make something happen if they don't have enough, but for Reason and
Dead.
Vadillo,
Oh, I didn't get
push
a
came
the
through,
kill,
took
but
out Arch skill and he went down.
might actually get
Our
the res
number
up. I
one
could.
team eliminated once again.
Malibu,
before the late game even starts.
Thomas HD are up.
Just scraps
That kind of shambles
of
there.
points gathered up until that point. Very little placement. Not a
600
ton in terms
above.
of eliminations.
Malibu
So
from the
again,
stash.
the trend of teams at the top of the leaderboard has the potential to change hands. They were only 27 points ahead of Malibuca and Mustache to start this game off. A couple more placements alone is going to have them overtaking first place, let alone any eliminations they're able to gather.
A huge opportunity
He did,
for
yeah.
this
Did he
duo.
get that kill? I
Mustache
think
has
they
a
need him
title
did.
alongside Tayson, but Malibuca
Oh, no, he did.
is looking to get his first. Will this be enough to put them in the first place spot? The grapple comes through. They have an incredible amount of damage, elevating themselves
damage there as
to a
well.
more secure layer.
Going
But they
far
cannot
from.
get picked off here.
If the train runs through it
You don't
right
want to
now.
be stuck underneath. At least when it starts with the moving zones, it might be fine for now. CZB on the other side, along with his
I
team.
hope the train comes. Like, I really want to see the train appear. Just,
220 above the
it won't,
threshold.
because that's too
Just
lucky.
gathering
But
all
imagine
this
if the train runs
information.
through
They
it.
spot this player out, and they know that he's weak, and it looks like they're going to try to drop him in. That's Robin. He lost his duo Manax not too long ago, and now he loses himself.
Okay, Pablo
He
and Bevy
goes
is
down.
still
Great
alright.
opportunity from Queasy and Veno, or Queasy and Thomas, excuse me, there.
Managed to
find
pick up a
elimination.
kill as well.
Bevy's Pablo, the Elim onto Nathan, as they are all the way down below here. Rotates will have to come through. It's 9th zone now, first moving coming to a close. A majority of the duo is already on the moving side, but it's Swizzy and Putrick that are in the clouds. We've seen throughout these matches that the duos to hold on from first zone are almost able to maintain it the whole rate through the end game. Can they do it once again?
I mean, time will tell, because we know there's a couple of those teams still alive here in this
Oh
lobby.
god, no, Pablo and Bevy, I just realised we were inspecting.
Targeted out, multiple teams,
3
left, right, and
HP.
center. Malibuca and Mustache doing the brunt of that damage, continuing the pressure. They don't want to let these eliminations go for free, but Pablo is going to be able to skip on by with the Flowberry Fizz combined with the Crash Pad. Bevies and him got separated, finally reunite though with just a sliver of HP. These guys neverly seemingly going down without a fight. You can never count them out.
Pressure is on as they're 132 below. Flowberry Fizz
Oh,
gonna be
they're
pumped
below
for
as
that
well.
mobility boost. Big
Yeah,
point coming
Stormfish
through, but
active.
Bevies needs a med kit. It's dropped now as they need to keep
They
rotating.
gotta look at something.
80 below. Storm Surge going to begin
got
to do
no-
damage
only
for his
got
team.
10
They have
builds.
to figure out where they're going to get the damage. 23, 40, 80, constantly ping-pong up and down the damage threshold. A couple of those heals are coming out. Only a couple more players do need to go down before
on,
Storm
Pablo,
Surge
give it
does
damage.
deactivate. Great
Sure,
play
that was
example
enough.
for that as Diox gets the target towards the backside. Damage has been dealt, but Storm Surge turns off. Pablo and Bevy still need some sort of a refresh to heal up, and Diox is going to be the one in their line of sights, hot on the heels, but he changes layers to try to get out. He's trying to plan a great escape here.
Pablo needs to be the initiator here. He does have more HP and shield. His duo partner now needs to regroup. There we go. They're together. They're surviving zone, but with 0 builds to work with, they popped their last big
Swizzy and
pot.
Putrick on
They
the
need to
hype.
make something happen.
Yeah, all they have left. Meanwhile, smooth sailing, Swizzy, Putrick still have to be careful though, because I saw Thomas.
No, he's not even
going
on
up
him.
a few layers. Those are the
He
ones
just
who might
pushed
take
him.
high ground, but Pablo gets
2v1'd
dropped.
him. Like that.
Bevies gets taken down. Dexy with a 2v1. That's how you score 12 points in the late game.
The back-to-back is
6 points are a
Malibuca.
kill. Okay,
Once
okay.
again, left as a solo. 505 points on the board, looking to overtake the throne. 2 medkits in the inventory. He's gonna pop 1. He does have 28 builds. 2 options now. Go ahead with the materials or stay again in the zone. Another medkit. As Queasy and Thomas, they retook height.
I knew it. The moment I saw them moving up a couple of those layers, they want to go ahead and try to close out this game. You have to be careful, though. We've seen them in this position before, yesterday to be exact, and they were taken down by a well-placed snipe shot. Thomas overstretching to get the opportunities.
Hold on, let me
Will they
move my
make that
mouse.
same mistake? Marius
Yeah,
and
well,
Sandguild,
I'll
and
stop doing
this
that.
team, they already have
There you
a
go.
win today. It was Sandguild's first win in an FNCS Finals lobby, and they're looking to mimic that here.
Not only that, 8 eliminations. They want double digits. They're hungry for more. Just 8 duos up as Astral gets taken down. Double edit comes through. It's Pink. It's Vico. As Marius continues taking shots. He's just one more away from getting the knock on Pink, and he gets it. Both players still up. They continue from low ground.
That was a big find to keep themselves moving forward. 9 eliminations, almost into the double digits, but you have to go against the kings of Lavish Layer, Thomas and Queasy. As he drops in, he finds out Pixie on the hunt for another. Pink and Vico are now fully out of lobby as Vico gets taken down. Thomas continues to drop down, but it's not enough. He finally meets his maker. Marius and Sangil take him out, and they're trying to go for the second VR of the day as they inch themselves into the final 4.
Can they do it? It's Queasy up top. He has a med kit. The question is how many? Sangil now forced to play in the zone. Marius looking to cause disruption. It's Sangil that has one more med kit. And Queasy up above, continuing with the heal off.
Yeah, Sapfire's there as well. Basically a solo
He's gonna win this. Squeezy, he's gonna miss. Oh no. Sanglit has heals. He's got no more though. They've had an insane game, Jesus.
Sangil now has to go on the hunt. The last of his heals are
He's
gonna
another.
be used.
Didn't get it done.
Seconds left, but he finds another med kit. No chance to use it. Queasy and Thomas take the game.
Queasy and Thomas HD. He actually, that's good.
For this duo, they were dropped down to 8th place from going off spawn to now securing the victory royale and bumping themselves right back to where they came from.
Playing their roles to perfection. Thomas dropping down, causing so much chaos, so much commotion to find those eliminations and pick up opportunities for Queasy to go unscathed on that high ground. Even with him starting the heal off before zone fully closed, they did more than
Thomas
enough damage
HD.
and found more
Oh
than
my
enough
god, his
heals
snipes
to
are
make
insane
this
though.
game look easy.
Queasy looking to secure his 4th FNCS title. Thomas HD trying to get his first. The most consistent player yet to take home an FNCS. You know they want it more than ever.
It's gonna be the greatest
Solid
chance.
win
There
there.
was kind of the final
Oh yeah, the
moments.
medkit.
Grapple blade into the front side.
Probably
of
would
the
have spotted him
zone.
anyway if he.
Almost even threading
Yeah,
the needle in
medkit
terms of
time.
when he popped it. You saw him go down to about 16 or so HP, but once again,
Second place is still good
Thomas
though.
and Queasy really rise up, and something we
Oh, now we
noticed
got to
throughout
listen to
game
him
one,
ramble.
throughout game 2, first place, the teams at the top of the leaderboard are falling rather early, so another chance for a team to take over first place. But have they done enough? Frankie, Levin, Minnie, let us know.
Thank you very much, boys. I'm so excited to see the leaderboard yet again for this one. Queasy is no stranger to a victory royale in a major final. He's no stranger to winning a major. However, Thomas, on the other hand, has narrowly missed out in the past, but now they are
Oh, why isn't letting me screenshot? I want to screenshot Mini Miner's face because he's so happy to be. Oh my god.
And actually, Queasy got a bit lucky at the end, because he found a magical med kit and it netted them the top spot.
Yeah, he did. This is just classic Queasy gameplay, of course, taking that high. We saw Pootrick and Swizzy, it was all the way up on top, and we thought, you know what, this could be a good game for these guys. Haven't seen too much from them, but yeah, Thomas HD had other ideas with this. Look at that. One snipe, chops it out, and then thinks, you know what, I'm going to go for it again, and hits it again because his name is Thomas HD. That's what this guy can do. Unbelievable stuff. And then just to have that ability, the green light to go up to height, and then say, right, Queasy, you take over. What do we do? How do we win this?
I mean, that double snipe is just ridiculous. Like, that's probably one of the best things I've seen in a long, long time in an FNCS to take high. But like Frankie alluded to, the actual win of this game was so fortunate because you saw Queasy was on height. He drops down it. He's run out. He has no medkits left. He's hoping the other players don't have anything. He finds a
6 kill win as well. That's actually so many points.
How lucky can you get? I was going to talk about luck going into this before they actually won the game because all these zones have been in this lavish lair area. Somebody's looking out for Thomas HD. They want him to get that first FNCS win, and I mean, still, they are delivering in terms of their performances, and it's so deserved. Again, last year, he was playing in Malabuka. They had the chance to win it. They came second place by 1 point. Not one elimination, not one, 1 point was the difference. So hopefully, they can get to first place and hold on and win that first FNCS for Thomas HD. It would be so deserved.
It really would be. Can I just give a quick shout out to Nicholas and Oliver, who are Thomas HD's biggest fans? We had the honour of meeting these two back at the Global Championship, and
What is she on about? Who are these people
right now and eating a celebratory hot dog? So Nicholas and Oliver, if you're watching your boy Thomas HD, I hope you're enjoying the show, and fingers crossed for your favourite player. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and find out where we are. Because
Okay,
that was
Moustache and
an
Malibuca
incredible
first. We're
performance
dealing in
from
reasons.
Thomas and
Malibuca, Moustache,
But
Jesus.
Sanguild and
Thomas
Marius,
50 third,
the
Pablo's 4.
eliminations, the names they were taking in that endgame mini-minor left me breathless.
Oh, reason second, that's
Yeah,
not great.
incredible stuff from that duo. I think it was 11 eliminations they had there right at the end. And to do that on the big stage in the grand finals for a duo that we don't get to talk about too much as top tier names is absolutely incredible, right? They're not nervous at all. They're bringing the heat right now. And that's the reason why they just moved up 6 places on that leaderboard. You just alluded to it there as well, Evan. The zones. They've been 3 zones in pretty much the exact same place. So for those guys, they're taking very much advantage of that. They're taking the most amount of advantage of that, it seems like, because they drop very, very close to that. For someone like Queasy and Thomas, those guys are contested off spawn, right? They've only had 2 chances to actually make it to that end game. So to see those guys really making the most and grasping as many points as they can when the zone's in their favor is really nice from them.
Yeah, nah, again, big ups to Danish Fortnite right now. They got, what, 3 teams in the top 5. Obviously, they want that first place slot. And shout out to the first place team, Malibuca, Moustache, breaking 500 points now. They are the ones in the lead, and the way they're playing, they might not let go of it.
It was a fantastic performance by these guys, and I wonder if they can hold on. They still haven't got themselves that elusive victory royale, but consistency is king in this format, and it's so impressive to see that between this duo, there's always one of them that's playing for the end game, and there's always another one of them who is picking up the elimination. And honestly, it feels like
I don't even remember to say your name. Yeah, cool. I'll just say that. QU4V.
Is that they will have at least 4 limbs as they head into the end game.
Yeah, these are the
How long until next game? We're actually just yapping again. It's always Frankie. Frankie keeps him talking for no reason.
Let's see, as we only have a few more games left, and we're going into double digits, fellas. It's game number 10 with Jacob PR and Takata.
I still go with these two up. They look happy at least. This camera's really good. Like if I turn my camera on, my camera is so bad for quality.
What are they going to change up?
I mean, honestly, a couple of these teams need to change up how aggressive they're getting early. And then some other ones about how passive they're playing early. Some teams going down, going for surge. We saw it a few times already. And other teams just
I remember you. It's been like 6 months since we last played. It's been ages.
It's not the easiest thing. In some
I remember
you
though. When even was like, let me check.
To go down. And even if you have the resources to out heal it, it leaves you nothing left.
Let me check when we last played together.
I mean, we have duos like Thomas HD and Queasy who have engagements right off the start, getting contested at their drop spot. But you have duos like Malibuca, Moustache.
Last time we played together, 6 months ago.
The battle bus is ready. Let's get into it.
Well, anything
6 months ago, and it was the console champion cup.
It's gonna be our 4th
I don't even
game
play on
of
console
the day,
anymore.
and already you're seeing Queasy, Thomas, nothing changing here. Business as usual between the two. It does look like Queasy Thomas have that
times are getting really
elevation
fast
that
recently though.
talking
It actually feels like
Thomas being so patient, even though he has the ability with the
I
hammer
checked,
to go ahead
and
land a
it's been like
one-shot,
what,
making
5
sure to
months since
use
chapter
the
4,
teamwork to really make this dream
and that
work.
doesn't even feel like for half a year ago.
Benefit of getting a
It's almost
shotgun
March as well.
off the start, which can be crucial to coming out on top, but the issue is now.
I feel like time's moving really fast this year, but 2023. Like I can't think of anything that actually happened in February. This is a boosted February. Not really boosted, but you know, it's like 1 day extra. I can't think of that much has happened during February.
I think Crimson Nodge playing just a little bit more careful than they have before. Queasy Thomas, they've never been one unless they have a huge advantage right out of the gates to really chase after.
Thomas kind of
any
needs to win this off spawn.
Especially towards Lavish Layer, where there's so many places to hide, around corners, behind doors, even behind some boxes and chairs. As you tune in to Marius, already down right out of the gates.
Marius died too.
Himself. They are playing so well today.
Yeah, just not gonna say. Did Mongol miss a Savage up? Well, only one team's down, so surely it can be Mongol miss a Savage.
Action as he knocks down one. Engagement has commenced. Upper hand for Queasy and Thomas HD. Is it gonna be enough to finish it off? It is. Nice 2 elims now, 12 points to bump them up. Currently, they were 3rd place going into this match, just 7 points below Reason and Vidil. So with these 12 points, they're already going to be in
Replay on
second.
it? Okay.
Already
Which is a
receiving
wall
positions
where you
changed,
can
and
build,
that's exactly
so
how the fight started.
it's the only reason he's won
Crazy
that.
Nods trying to work their way up. Thomas, Queasy already having that advantage. In the end, the fight just
The reason
as
doesn't
quick
look
as it
healthy actually.
starts.
He can't die here
From
either.
one side of the map to the
His
other.
duo
Snooty
down.
steps rather calm.
Where's his duo?
His Reason does look like he's already stuck as a solo. And this might change the way you think, change the way you play. If you're someone like Reason, especially if it's 1.5 points, placement is everything for him in
Getting
this
3
situation.
mythic again. If they were getting contested, they would not be on
Once
500
again,
points.
Mally Murstache picking up the medallion and mythic loot here. Now shortly going to go towards the vault. There are duos in fencing fields, but they're not exactly fighting each other off the start. They're focused more on looting up and continuing the rest of their path. They
Is
have
Mongol
this
up? I think they're
plan
both still
down
up. I haven't seen
to
them
the
die in chat
second
yet.
From the amount of time
Unless they
they've
died
done it,
first.
what the farm on the rotate.
They're
how
not showing them though
to
because how low points they
maximize
got.
how long it takes. Ping Mixon now, as well, already outside of their original drop
Twist.
spot, being chased down almost, it seems, by a duo on a Rich.
Shots still going through, even though that's not a ton.
I'm back is a
The
bad
team
mod
is getting the
anyway.
shots, it's just allowing them a little bit more
I
flexibility
was a
and
bad
freedom
mod away.
as the game does progress, especially if they're still able to
I don't know
find
what you're trying to
certain
say.
shots, even if it's not just on mixing and beams.
He's probably still there.
Looking around all other
He normally
directions, they
stays
have
and
the
watches the whole
elevation
stream,
advantage in a
so.
position like that, as Sandgill now under pressure
Normally with
once
him
more.
it's
He's
he
left
like
alone as a
he'll
solo
come and
on
watch our
Misha team,
stream,
trying to go
or he
ahead
won't watch
and the
anyway.
run
So
of a team that's just been
not really
so
an able to.
dominant throughout the past couple of games, and he's doing everything he can to try to just disengage, but he's going a little bit too quick for himself. And this is where Misha and Tini, they're just going to continuously chase this one down. This is 6 points. This is a player that's ahead of them on the leaderboard that they don't have to worry about for the remainder of this game.
Looking to plan his escape route, does have that grapple blade in hand, giving him the advantage, as I believe his opponents do not. So they'll take shots from afar, but they're not going to be able to chase Sandgill as quickly as he's able to escape.
It does look like Misha and Tini can remain on the chase, especially as we continue to move over to this side of the map, where there's not as many teams contesting compared to some of these other split drops and overall POIs, especially with another team. I think that was low-key an area nearby. Misha and Tini might get distracted with them and allow
yeah,
Sandgill
they're
to get out
distracting the wrong side there.
and have a chance to get Marius back into the game, because that's going to be the biggest thing. There's such huge strength in numbers. Even with some solo clutches, the biggest difference is when teams are able to make it to the end game alive.
It's easier said than done, Jacob, is the issue, especially with the level of this lobby. Astral Art skill close by. If they're able to spot Sandgill here as a solo, it could be incredibly dangerous for him. He does have the grapple blade though.
Oh, they're
So
pushing
he's
him.
going to be able to quickly get up this ridge. The shots come through though. You can see him almost acting aggressive to try and show confidence, make them think that it's a duo that's healthy and ready to fight. But little do they know, it's a solo with 50 HP and no spare shield or health to work with.
If he has the reboot card, that's a good chance for him to move back towards Rebel's Roost. A lot of the teams are rotating towards the south, towards the center of zone.
Let me check
so
if Mongol
a couple
Mr.
reboot
Savage are
bans
up
up
actually
there
while I'm in.
have the chance to be uncontested.
How many
Nobody
views
really
has he got?
in that position?
102,000. Is he up? They're up, they're
Started
up.
these games off
Where
over
are they?
towards
They changed drop
fancy kills.
spots.
They loot up a lot of the outskirts.
No way, they
since
actually changed
know
drop spots.
Malabuka and Mustache will go for the vault.
Oh
will
my
go for
god,
the
it took them so
NPC.
many games too. Why are they wearing
And then they
booger?
kind of disengage on out from there and try to get their surge before they start to rotate towards the center of zone. They kind of work their way from the outside in.
Oh, they're getting
33
keyed.
bullets
Show
in
it,
that
man.
Reaper
Why are they
sniper
not showing
rifle.
this on stream?
More than enough to make an
Mongol
impact.
Mr. Savage is literally getting keyed for right now. They're not
Continue
showing it.
hunting around to see if there's any players in the surrounding area. For Sandgill though, it looks like he's making it happen. Reboot comes through. Are there any duos around? I don't see them. No shots coming through either, but just in case, building up.
Oh, Nightbot
Making
sided
sure
with
they're
you.
good to go. You can see on the mini-map though, it looks like someone's interested.
Yeah, there was one duo that heard the noise and they're quickly rotating off into this direction. You know exactly
You
where
are the
the
missing
defense
link.
is,
Goodbye.
but have confirmation that they are still
Thanks
there.
how
Up
you've
until
been
this
done
point
that.
where Sandgill breaking through. You still have to break those. I actually got stuck on that the other day. fight's going to begin, though. That's art skill on the other side. Easy work of Sandguild. Marius going to have to go ahead and make up for it. He was able to grab a decent loadout for a situation like this, trying to burst into the box. Art skill is going to be there on the other side. Trade for trade. A knock for a knock. Marius still has a player on Astral.
You've been timed out for 600 seconds. XO chill.
Marius was the one that got rebooted, so no shield to work with. Just a little bit of weapons. He can make it happen. He just needs to hit that initial big shot. He cannot take one from his opponent here. Astral 26. It's not going to be enough yet, but if he can keep it coming, 4 builds to work with. Now in the box, needs to get out. Unable to hit the next shot as now he's dropped down. Forced to work with just 3 builds.
Mongol Mr. Savage show up? I'm gonna watch that on my phone. Why are they not showing that? That's so much more interesting.
There's not a lot of heals to go around as Astrals.
Oh, they're running.
Trying to bait out the revive, get Marius to break into the box, and really
they're
has no other
keying.
choice unless you want to go ahead and try to find a 2v1. Seconds left. Player will
No
go
way,
down overall due to
Mongol
timing.
Mr. Savage are keying.
Kind of solidifies it into a 1v1. Marius trying to turn and burn, but Astral just too much HP. I said that in the beginning. He was full shield and full HP. Unfortunate enough, there was a great
Why are they not
attack.
showing
You
this?
Can't overtake your opponent.
We'll take a look now. Pixie walks. Rasky Hen. They are going to be around the forecast tower. Taking shots with the sniper. Unable to connect one yet, though. As the waiting game here for the objective will continue.
Actually, oh, wow. Pixie almost gets sideswiped there. Scroll narrowly missing that shot. Great opportunity,
Jesus.
but now he's coned up, boxed up. He's going to work his
So
way
you've
down,
been
Box
absolutely
works his
done
way
by
out. Him and
Nightbot,
Pixie
to be
are able
honest.
Reunite finally in the same box.
If it keeps banning you, you're gonna have to switch to a kick stream. Nobody ever watches a kick
Rotating on out. They
stream.
didn't like what they saw in terms of trying to third party this fight. They think it's a safer and better play to rotate towards the zone, especially with Forecast Tower being in that direction.
We've seen a lot of quick scopes turn fights around here. All it takes is one headshot. The sniper rifle isn't just effective from afar. It's effective from close range. Say one of the best weapons to turn fights around. Hayes and Benno looking to see if they can climb back up.
I thought he was actually gonna get a goal.
As Mixon is gonna be the one that goes down. That's one on the board for Venno now, but the pressure from the teams in the surrounding areas will continue. As they're gonna reloot what they got from this elimination.
Surely it'd pop a big, yeah.
This is typically a chance too. If a team is fighting for Forecast Tower over on that side, for them not necessarily to go in, get aggressive with the point getting eliminations, no, not that, but more so to try to keep getting surge, taking advantage of teams, Kiro and Kudo kind of hiding nearby. Don't want to really take that risk. Got to imagine Forecast Tower saw it in the distance, already boxed up. Queasy Thomas with their early game eliminations. They're feeling comfortable sitting on top of Lavish Layer. And with the zone rotating towards the north, they're just hoping that all those teams that landed towards the north, whether on the east or the west side, use Lavish Layer as a way to rotate through. And that's how they're hoping to find their surge.
Rotate coming through now. Thomas grouping back up with Queasy. That was going ahead. You can see up at the north side of the map here, back from zone. There are some duos coming back in. But what Thomas HD and Queasy are going to do now...
Better delay here. There's no way it's better. Why'd you actually go to a kick stream? Oh my days, I shouldn't have even told you about the kick stream. I need more watch time on YouTube, that's why I'm hoping nobody watches the kick stream, to be honest. I'd rather people on the YouTube stream.
But not too far from first. It's still anybody's game, Jacob. And this being the second to last match of the day, you really want to do the best you can to set yourself up for the highest chance of success for that FNCS trophy.
Yeah, especially considering how close this FNCS actually is. It's literally wide open for the taking. One blunder, one little misstep could cost a team everything, especially as you said, we're getting in the second half of the day. Few games remaining overall, which means there's few opportunities to even make up a point differential, depending on where you're at on the leaderboard. You can see Reason just trying to make his way through. For him, Surge is going to be a challenge in this game, especially as a solo, because even if you're able to pop the shots, as soon as the team turns around and sees you're a solo, they might see that as a green light to go and take advantage of the opportunity while they have it.
You can see here, Thomas and Queasy, seeing that the zone did pull more north here by Lavish Layer, they're automatically put on the uncongested side, and they're not forced.
Oh, Excel, I can barely even read what you're putting.
So they're capitalizing on that, including the fact that they already got the 2 eliminations and damage.
Bad Fortnite.
Kind of play here on the safer side, as eventually they'll get in and build up and look for those tags that they will need. But for now, they have a bit of time to kind of plan out the rest of the match.
To me, I feel like it doesn't even matter how long they stay in the zone. I feel like everything for Queasy and Thomas is calculated at this point. Even having an entertaining run at the end. Veno's domination does continue. He's able to get a knock onto Shaco's, but he himself goes down yet again. The aggression turning out to be also their demise in some cases. Does look like Queasy's getting pushed.
Yeah. In a tough situation here. 487 points on the board, 43 builds to work with. He does have those 3 med kits if he would like to stay in zone longer, but forced into this engagement, he really needs to show his dominance.
Hey, he's doing a good job fighting back, especially with numbers massively against him. One's gonna go down, but unfortunately he's just all by himself in the numbers game. The 2v1 is just too strong for him to overtake, but you gotta give him credit being able to not only fight back, but at least get a knock onto one of the 2 players.
Giraz, Cherry, ruined reels, a lot of duos
Oh,
here in the
what are you
area.
on, Excel? What are you saying?
They will be taking pop shots at each other. Good news for this duo, as they're elevated enough to look for those shots on the players rotating in. Diox Cade. A little more close quarters engagement here.
Excel, some bullying mod. Gonna make him quit.
Cade is just a sliver of shield just left, so
Among them, Mr. Savage still off, probably went down. I think it went down. Let me check Twitch. There we go.
They have, I do believe, big pots or maybe a Flowberry Fizz as well.
Oh, they're still up. They're getting keyed, so
of the shields, but there's still
they're
a
gonna have a
lot
kill.
of teams littered in and around fencing fields.
Mongo's down.
So you have to be careful to not overstay your welcome or leave at the wrong time.
Mr. Savage is
More
in
coming
zone.
in. You see Andalex and Sato in the distance. Cam Musetti and the hill outside of fencing fields. With the zone pushing in this direction, it is going to become the congested side of the map.
You can see Murstache, sniper in hand, looking around for an opening. Pixel Debule most likely doing a similar thing here, as there are just a few duos in the surrounding area.
I think I'll kill. Okay.
Fourth zone will come to a close now.
That's lovely. Just got to 100 points.
North, they gotta go. Good news for Queasy and Thomas HD. A little bit of worse news.
Oh, Excel, you said something again, haven't you? Oh no, you haven't.
This is where Zone's going to push teams further and further away from Rift Island. See Voco, Vortex just almost in the center of the zone overall. Have plenty of options, and teams even rotating, riding the train. But when you're going to get off it, though, that's going to be the biggest thing. And they're even capturing it just to get even more loot. It's Hen, that's Vasquez. I do believe they were kind of pushed off their forecast tower maybe this time around. But not only is that a free rotation, you see them going to the slow side of the zone, because remember I mentioned the south being the congested, and they're going to get all those loot, which comes with extra shields and HP at times.
Eco and Pink up against Volko Vortexers. Both duos quite centered in the zone here. They shouldn't have to make much of a rotate at all, but as you can see, the damage required for Surge will continue increasing. You can hear that noise. It's a panic for a lot of players in the lobby, just like Wheat and Shimoki. We're 164 below. They see the rift close by, but what they're more interested in are those shots onto Pablo, are those shots on the players. We're contesting the Rift Island. You can see an engagement happening up above. Is that where Wheat wants to go, as he already gets chased by another player?
Doesn't really have a choice here. Down on Surge, team trying to push into their box.
You're really horrible to my mod 6er.
192 below the damage threshold. His only chance here is to fight back, especially with teams all around. beginning to focus, put him in the box, and that's Kiro Kudo from far away, even put in shots in that direction, really not allowing Wheat and Smokey to find any stride here in the fight. Even got Lazen on the other side, trying to break in from the low ground. This is just so chaotic and desperate to try to get Storm Surge for some of these players, and it's just costing them everything because now Wheat is out of heals.
Out of heals, put into panic, as now the altercations between Pablo as he gets knocked. Bevies, the last player of the duo that's up, but with just 7 HP. He needs to take out more than just one player. He needs to pop that med kit. Unable to, goes down. Wheat as well knocked. Shamoki following after.
I was his first follow. You actually were my first follow on TikTok. Oh, TikTok still, it's not growing. It's like, I thought TikTok would grow really kind of quick. It's so slow. I think I'm almost on 60 followers now, so it's not increasing quick enough. It is just, one of them's on 17,000 views as well, and it's probably going to keep going. It doesn't seem like it's going to slow down, but it's so slow that it's growing.
Right history for Malabuka. First FNCS title up for grabs here today.
Medkits being popped, big pots being split. You can see 6 zone already coming to a close. All the duos now forced to rotate here as the ones boxed up, looking back. Merstash, can he connect? Zooming in with that Reaper sniper rifle, looking to send his opponents to the shadows. With just 25 above, they could really use that shot. As Merstash goes left, Malabuka goes right, they split up. Huge shot connected though. It could be enough to put them above, but they don't want to get themselves into an opponent's box here. They want to regroup, they want to take shots from afar. They don't want to do anything too risky.
Yeah, and as soon as they find themselves a spot that they can box up and look back, even though they're not in zone, they're going to take it. But now teams that are already congested inside of the zone, looking back at them, making them the focal point of their target. Luckily for everybody, we're going down a little bit up this hill. Changes the line of sights, not giving everybody equal opportunity. Walks Pixie, they're still trying to make their way in towards zone.
You'll follow, yes, follow the TikTok, it needs it.
They get themselves above
Hey Casala, are you still streaming Minecraft, or have you stopped with that one as well now?
Malabuka and some of his HP as well.
They saw the crack. It changes focus as pressure is on. Walks able to recuperate that shield that he lost, but still with the low HP. And the shots continue connecting. Yan is close by in the pact of chaos that's the surrounding area of Merstash and Malabuka.
You're no longer in Minecraft, it's probably for the best.
Left until 8th zone, and players are still rotating in.
How much longer are you banned from Fortnite for?
Trying to target out anybody they can for Surge. Jump on board Queasy, Thomas in this replay. They're just going to try to make their way
Thomas is just hitting so many headshots.
But first, making a little bit of a pit stop to try to gather a little bit more loot. Great find by Thomas.
Is Mongol and Mr. Savage up, or have they died now? Let me check.
Trying to take back that first place throne. It's gonna be a hard fight.
They're dead. Great.
Those are the game-winning shots, Jacob.
God.
Those are the game-winning shots that Queasy and Thomas need.
Mongol and Mr. Savage is struggling here.
Currently in 3rd. They had the hiccups from the early game. One big game could set them up in the last match. Cade now has lost Diox. He is alone, but he has a decent amount of damage. 2 medkits as well to top it off. As Storm Surge.
Oh yeah, Excel. I'm streaming Mix Up Monday again.
To do damage. So many players close by, but you don't want to risk it all.
Now, especially since we are in the 7th
We would have
zone,
dropped. Yeah, of
with
course,
about
of course.
50 players still left alive. You know,
I'm streaming Mix on Monday. I'm gonna record it and hopefully make it a video after. I want to do well with OTG.
And then more so after that.
FNCS, yeah, this is FNCS EU finals.
It's not going to be the easiest thing as 8 more players still need to fall. Merstash, Malabuka, they're going to be low on Surge. They have no other choice but to go in. That's Vox, that's Pixie, who feel their force. And with that, they not only get all that loot, the mythic loot as well, but they get above the damage threshold, but still pressure coming from different angles. Merstash ends up being...
To be honest, XL, I haven't been playing that much. I've just been playing ones. I'm trying to get better as a ones player.
No Noah in sight. That team's done and dusted here in Game 10.
Merstash, Malabuka charged up as they look electric.
Thomas HD is doing good.
For the rest of this late game.
Is Queasy dead, or is he on 1 HP? Bro, what's this? No, this is 1080p.
Just 1 HP. I hope they were able to get out of that scenario. I'm trying to look for them. I see Queasy. He has shield now. It looks like they've made some
He needs
sort
a
of a
big
comeback
pull.
from that fight, securing 5 eliminations during it. But they need those med kits, Jacob. They really need to heal
Not
up.
big one, med
Yeah,
kit,
even
yeah.
Thomas is getting tagged up along
Let
the
me
way.
deal with a mix-up.
Shield isn't
OTG would
too
not be
much of a
happy with
worry
that.
overall. They do have the medallion to pass around, just the HP in which they're heavily
Can't abandon
lacking.
OTG either.
He cannot take one tick to that
I
zone
don't know
where
if
he
I'll play
will go
OTG
down.
next season.
It's
I got like
finding
people who
any
asking to
practice
play
that
with me, so I might start
gain
like
some
practicing
confidence
with
on
other
as he tries to
duos
move
and
up
see
on
if I
the
want to play with any of
and
them.
he's ready to fight back, but somebody chopped him down to size.
The thing is, next season is like it's going to be my GCSEs, so I've got to prioritize that over Fortnite, obviously.
He just needs to be able to find some builds, whether if it's a refresh or something that gets left behind. Cade needs to go on the hunt.
Yeah, with 6 builds, it is a dangerous situation to be in as Thomas HD, Queasy now building up top once again. We've seen players hold on from the first moving zone all the way to the end. Can they be one of the duos to do so? They're lacking HP. All they really need is a refresh to grant them those med kits or grant them anything that they can use to heal back up.
Look at that race to the finish.
Stream
31
GCSE
points separating
results.
these two teams.
Oh, it's too close. I got like 11 days until my mocks start up again. So that's not long, so I actually got to start prepping for mocks, obviously I'm not going to be doing much. And I'm going to Dubai for about a week, so that's going to be pre-recorded videos and all that as I'm in Dubai. GCSE result, I probably will like say what I got, unless I do it really bad. There's like, there's subjects I'm going to do bad in anyway, like French and maybe geography.
Before he goes down himself.
Be careful as Thomas HD Queasy now.
Like, who even is good at geography? It's geography is just such a weird subject. I got a revision booklet somewhere, so I've got to start looking through that.
Yep. We've seen this in that last game. Of course,
That makes viral TikToks,
but they're
trust.
somehow able to find the med kit in which they were looking for. Great eliminations and great find for
Thing
them.
is, like,
From
I'm
top
going to
to
sixth
bottom,
form
high ground
after.
below. Mustache,
And I'm going to
Malabuka
like
being
a
the
sixth
defining
form where I'm not
force.
having
Like,
many people I know
everybody
go, which is
from
awful.
top to
Like,
bottom
I'm
has
not
to
looking
go
forward
through
to
these
having
two
no
teams
friends
if
and
they're
all.
looking to take a huge VR. Malabuka, Mustache,
I feel like
gets
when I'm in
outside
sixth
zone,
form,
the
I'm going to be able to
target
focus a
Thomas.
bit more
It's a nice snipe on the
on
darkie.
the YouTube
Everything
and
comes
all.
crumbling down, but Queasy
Bad
and
results
Thomas are
equals
quickly
viral
able to find
TikToks.
their
I don't want to
footing
do
and
bad
save the
though.
day.
I need to get minimum 30 in total to get into my sixth form. I have my sixth form interview on Tuesday actually.
You have to be careful here. You cannot lose your duo partner, but the chemistry.
I feel like once I'm in sixth form, I'll be able to focus way more on the channel. But I don't know, because I feel like the first like 2 weeks I'm gonna hate that sixth form. I'm gonna be miserable there because it's like I'm gonna know nobody. But obviously after I get to know people, it's gonna be better. And all. But still, it's like
and looking for more. They set their eyes to the backside of the zone.
I'm gonna see me in plumbing interview. I had a McDonald's interview. I don't know if I told you about that. I did a McDonald's thing. I worked at it. And they gave me the outfit. And it was 2 hours. And they said I wasn't good enough. And I was so ill when I did it. I was dying. And I filmed it just to try and have a chance to, you know, be there. Work at McDonald's, but it didn't accept me, so I gotta keep applying now. My hair's going kinda quick as well, which is good because I need a new haircut. I need like 60 quids to be able to. I want brain dead now. I need like 60 quid to get my hair permed, and then that'll be fixed. What's actually going on? Like top 5 Queasy's up. Queasy's gonna die to Storm. No, he didn't. He's 8 HP. He's dead to Storm. Why did he go back in? That's weird. Getting sacked from McDonald's ain't a good look when finding jobs. No, they only didn't hire me because they wanted someone who was more available. Because obviously I'm still like full-time in school, and there's not a chance I'm finishing like 6 hours school and then go straight to McDonald's. That's never happening. I don't think I'd die if I did that. Janice wins. I don't want Janice. I don't like Janice. He's not him. They did make that one look easy, though, to be fair.
What a way to close off the second to last match. Once again, a drastic change in the leaderboard. These grand finals have been way too intense, Jacob. I just cannot wait to see how they unfold.
This is just really turning out to be a photo finish. A knock on the
Janice made that one look really easy, to be fair to him.
Down in Flixie. He's been around. He's been here. Not enough respect gets on his name, and with domination just like this, Giannis and Flixie moving up the leaderboard. Hey, this could be his first FNCS championship.
Look,
I hope it isn't. I like Giannis.
Was actually duoed up with Fadil when Fadil secured his first ever and only FNCS title. So seeing Giannis back at it again now with Flixie winning the second to last match, I'm only curious to see.
I want to see leaderboard now. I'm really excited for this video because I'm so hungry. I'm so ready to get something to eat.
Of course, that game, Malibuca Mustache going toe to toe with Queasy and Thomas. I said they needed to go.
I might check how many how much watch time I've got from this so far.
But did Queasy and
It's actually been like a pretty active stream. Like people are joining and leaving the whole time for some reason.
Let us know.
Live, here we go. Oh, it's not showing up. I've got to go to analytics, don't I?
So
Yep.
I'd be surprised if their efforts did not pay off, because when I watched this duo of Queasy and Thomas,
I've had 8 hours watch time from it already, so I'm going off Excel. No subscribers gained from it yet. That's annoying because I got the announcing thing as well. I literally have it so it's gonna like show up on screen if someone subscribes. So I need someone to subscribe because I want to see what it looks like because I think it's actually gonna look cool. Oh, she's yambling again. Yapping.
Wait to see what's happened to Janice and Flixie in the
Which one's Janice? Gee, they are both terrifying looking. Imagine seeing the one on the left in the middle of the night. He is scary. God.
Yeah, they weren't, and this is exactly what we've seen from this duo in the past. The past season has been a height-dominant season for them when it comes to finding success. If they're gonna find success, it always seems to come from that high ground position. And again, we've seen it. We've seen a bit of a rocky road for them today, and towards the latter end of yesterday as well. So it's nice to see them sort of rekindling some of the success they had yesterday. I think it was game number 2. They got a victory on in a very similar manner as well. So this is a team that I spoke very highly of at the beginning of the weekend. And
Game 11, 4 minutes. Not long.
They maybe lost their heads a little bit at the beginning of the day, but they've got them back now.
When's the last game after? Me find the FNCS winning. Did I just mute? No, okay, I'm muted.
Towards that reckless area, and so that was supposed to help them with early surge and then maybe sort of getting involved.
How did Pablo do that game? I think Pablo died on spawn.
The tower, sorry, for the tower fight with Kiro and Pink. I lost my train of thought there. But a bit more passively. I think with Robin and Medax leaving Reckless, they had to get a bit more involved in that fight. Which
Want my setup? To be honest, the only thing I need from your setup is a table and maybe a second monitor. That's all I need. But like, I'm not struggling about it. Nice streaming PC.
Boys,
yeah, you're streaming. I wouldn't fit.
My anticipation any longer. Who is in that top spot? And there you have it.
My PC is still like holding up pretty well for streaming and all that. It's working well.
At the Axe of Champions, because their consistency
okay,
making those
where's Pablo? Pablo's 4th. They haven't moved. The deal. Recent 3rd now. Queasy, Thomas HD for 600 points.
Talking about just how good Thomas in particular is. I mean, some of the shots we're seeing him hit are just, it's out of this world. I mean, he must have now probably around 15, 16 snipes mini. Like, it is just ridiculous the things this guy is doing. This one here early in the game, I mean, do not open up a window. Just don't even bother, because Thomas is going to be somewhere with a sniper waiting, and it's going to be the end of your game. He was hitting shots mid-air, snipes to get height. The variety here. And there's moments like this one where I'm looking at them now. Queasy's very low. He's not the greatest.
I'm checking Mr. Savage's stream.
Okay, yeah, it's over. The game's done. But no, he keeps hitting shots.
And I mean, it just, again, look at this, ready? Oh, that is unbelievable. It's something that we just expect from Thomas HD, and yet we expect that. We still get surprised every single time it happens, because he can just pull crazy
What you mean, what? Yeah, what are you trying to say, Excel? What's that?
Almost every single time. He's almost got a 25-minute high just from his clutches from today alone, and it's great to see that from this duo. And we said it. We've talked about this duo's versatility. We've talked about their ability to play high. We've talked about their ability to play low ground as well. And when you have someone like Thomas just hitting those
snipes, are
it
insane,
becomes a lot easier to find yourself in a favorable position in those games. I sort of asked the question about this duo. You know, are they going to be able to perform when the zone isn't in their favor? Those first 3 games we saw it in their favor. That game a lot more south, like we saw yesterday, and they're performing. They're doing incredibly well. So this is a duo that, if they can make it off spawn in these last 2 games here, this could be their FNCS for the win.
No, we've seen many great FNCS performances from Thomas individually. If he was to win, you know, today, it would probably be his best one yet in terms of just the things he's doing crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I do love that he is fighting his ex-duo though, Malabuka, for that top spot. And Merstash and Malabuka have been another revelation for me, because this is a duo that has actually formed before back in Chapter 3. They went their separate ways. Not exactly sure why, because the way they're playing together now is magic, Minnie.
Absolutely is, yeah, and it's nice to see these guys again continuing that consistency despite that Malabuka hasn't had that FNCS win yet. They're not getting ahead of themselves, they're making sure to stick to their game. This game though, unfortunately for them, wasn't quite as good as we've seen from them. I think it was around a 14th position where they ended up placing here, and it just turned into a little bit of a mess in this current situation. You can see them on the screen, everything was going a little bit wrong for them at those mid-ground layers, which is kind of contrary to what we've seen from them throughout the day. They've been very,
it's really boring waiting for the next game to start. I'm just sat here. What was your chat? Are you actually gonna pull you a boy?
Massive games like we know them for in the past.
Well, I mean, they better be in the running.
Yeah, I agree with you. Exactly. I never spoke to him. Like, I don't talk to him. They just join the stream and all that, and then sometimes in Discord I would chat. So that's all I really hear from him.
If you aren't a fan of Thomas, which I'd be surprised if you aren't, but if you're not, you're going to be rooting for Malabuka and Moustache right now, because they are the ones that could be the team that takes it away. And so it looks like regardless, we're going to see a new champion, someone who's never had it before. And I think on both sides, whether it's Malabuka, whether it's Thomas, it is very, very deserving. And it's just so fascinating how we have a repeat, Frankie, right, of last year, where it was like, last year it was the battle between Malabuka and Moustache.
Get on to the next game already.
And now it's the battle between Thomas and Malabuka. Again, who's going to be the one to get their first FNCS? It's just crazy.
Wow, the soldiers are lining up on the battlefield and war is about to commence. We only have 2 more games left, gents. So let's head over to our casters, Takata and Jacob PR for game number 11.
Let me tell you something real quick, Takata. Those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. And this being kind of a 2-horse race towards the end,
I need a new mic actually looking at his mic. Like, look at Takata. I want a mic like that. With like a mic stand and all. That'd be really cool. I need a new table though. It's like...
Look, I don't know if I even want to answer your question. I mean, what a way to enter the last match. You said it yourself. Malabuka hasn't yet won an FNCS, but you also have Thomas HD on the other hand. Might be one of the most deserving players who has yet to take home a title. The battle bus is ready. Last game of the day. Let's get into it.
FNCS Grand Finals, Game 11.
This is it. With very few chances left here on the day.
I'm gonna check Mongol and Mr. Savage. That's Snapchat, wrong app. Send me a snap. That's really random. I don't know why I've been sent that.
Lose you the FNCS if you're Queasy, Thomas, Malabuka, and Moustache. If you go down early, it is all over. And it almost looks like Queasy.
You think I'm Ollie, or you think Rose is Ollie?
Uncontested.
Wow.
Does that help or hurt them? Huge. I have to ask you, without Surge on Crimson Noms early on, does that help or hurt them?
Yeah, who do you think is Ollie, me or Rose?
No, that's a good question, but I'm gonna say
I'm definitely not Ollie. I'm gonna see you Rose. Are they in?
Right off spawn.
Oh, it looks like it's shambles.
It could be.
Oh no, they got both of them.
The
I think they're right.
Factor of your tournament. So
no
now
way.
having the freedom.
No, there's someone on him. There's someone on him.
Not worried.
Why are they not showing Mongol and Savage? Rose?
You know how skilled.
It could be Ollie.
They're veterans, they know.
But I don't think Ollie has the patience to sit in this. Like yesterday, I messaged him being like, "Oh, I'm streaming, come join." He said, "Okay," and he joined 2 hours later, 4 minutes before I ended the stream. So Ollie does not have the patience for it. He would not. They're getting keyed so hard. Jesus Christ, we're 124 points now.
Mario's trying to alleviate the pressure. It's like a shooting range. Sandguild's gonna go up. He's gonna come down, but he's gonna get knocked. Trade comes out. Marius doing enough to get the knock on the gap. It's Belusi trying to drop down low. He cannot clean it up. He cannot be a hero. He ends up with 0 points in this game.
Mr. Savage has 4 kills already.
Good way to start it off, but for how long will that safety last? You saw another duo coming in. Do they know that they are in the cone?
How are they not showing that off spawn?
It's Misha. Yes, they do. Shots come through. Pressure is on.
It's almost gotten personal between these two teams. Teeny, Misha trying to go in and cause destruction, and they do successfully get the eliminations. Marius and Sangil go back to the lobby with only 1 game left.
Oh.
Right, this is the
I don't know who you have added on
Snap.
Snap.
Game 11. 1 more to be played out after this. Malabuka and Merstash once again having the medallion, mythic loot, and vault uncontested. But there seems to be actually an engagement to the west of them happening. Looks like maybe a new hero has entered the realm of fencing fields.
We're almost at 600 points, Jesus Christ.
It's close, Jacob. It's close.
Just, when was the last time we see an FNCS this close outside of Major 4? Really coming down to the last 2 games. Vidil, Reason. Reunited has never felt so good. That gives them equal opportunity to try to finally take the fight to Walks and Pixie, in which we've seen them come out on top more times than not throughout this weekend. It almost looks like they're trying to draw the NPC out as well to try to get an easy elimination, being cautious as possible. They don't want to get caught off guard to Walks and Pixie.
It's all going down, to be
Crash
real.
Pad comes through. They leave. As now Peter Griffin NPC will be eliminated here for Vidil and Reason, as it looks like they've secured the benefit now of Snooty Steps.
They're gonna get it all to themselves. See another team just south of Snooty Steps. That's Pixie, that's Walks. They disengaged, and I do believe Vidil and Reason, they don't necessarily chase those eliminations towards the outside. They want to play this one out, especially with only 2 games left. Slowly but surely fell down the leaderboard a little bit farther than they would have hoped. But this is their chance to really pick back up the pace along with Bevy and Pablo. Insane solo clutches by Pablo to start the day.
Oh my god, you're Mr. Savage,
Just gotta
finally.
be able to find that momentum, really bring it back.
Savage and Mongrel here.
4 kills.
Taking a bit
Look
longer
at
this
that.
time around to finish off their off-spawn fight. 4 elims already on Mr. Savage. Where did those come from? That's what's on my mind.
You'd know if you actually
Maybe
watched
they
it.
did
Annoying.
finish it off quickly as another snipe. Not able to connect. But there's still so many duos in the area.
In theory, 2 first places would get him 200 points alone. He already has
All right.
4 eliminations. That's another 24 points right there.
Okay, you're cooking something here.
I'm just trying to draw up a situation here where Mongrel and Savage have an opportunity, if not to take first place, maybe get a shot at the global championship. I feel like anything is possible, but they definitely need to pick it up. Astro going for the dive bomb play.
Has it
coming out from above with the
updated?
crash
Yes,
pad.
it's updated.
Gears not going to fall for that one. He has the grapple blade. He's immediately trying to get on out. And I'm looking all over the minimap. Where's Hari? He's nowhere in sight. So Geary's probably by himself, trying to create some distance so that way he has a chance to bring his teammate back.
Yeah, Chari has been eliminated. So Kiras is going to have the fortunate item of the grapple blade to try and disengage. But do their opponents have it? Will they chase
Is
him
it a
down?
mirror pick?
As he's crouched up now, trying to do what he can. To
yeah,
be a little
it looks like a
sneaky.
mirror pick
The
XL.
back here kind of matches those crates, so you know I probably would pass by it without seeing him. But will Artskin Astro, sorry, do the same?
Which reminds me of week 1 when we were casting and Cammy was just hiding next to the mountain. That duo just jumped right over him, didn't see him at all. But whole different situation, especially in a POI like Ritzy Riviera. A lot of buildings, a lot of hiding spots, just like you saw. But it's that time. Forest Cast Towers now making their appearance. Kido and Kiro get it uncontested this time around. No Pink, no Vico in sight. Hopefully that's going to help their game. 376 points. It is looking good.
Yep, they've secured it alongside that elimination. Who the elimination was on is what I'm wondering.
Danny, should I put your links up? I mean, does anyone even check YouTube bios of people who don't upload? Do you upload?
But so far it's kind of up to...
I mean, if you want to, you can, but I don't think anyone's gonna like see it because no one really looks at bios, do they? But if you want to, you can, feel free.
They can end up with no victor if it plays out too long. There is that loot from one of the players that got eliminated on the ground, though, that he's going to be able to pick right back up. And it looks like he's not even going to try and take this fight as iDrop continues to escape.
Yeah, with no real HP, iDrop almost has no other option unless he's just hoping that opponent has some medkits or bandages, and that's would be the only real tense to take that fight. So he's trying to go for the high percentage play and bringing his teammate
Can
back.
you use as much promo, especially with TikTok? But TikTok needs to start gaining.
Winners Yanis and Flixie. A little bit more of a trouble here towards Reckless Railways, but this at the same time, you heard the analysts break it down. They thought they were going to be contested, which would help with their surge. Found out they weren't. Now a team moving over there at POI, and this is their chance to really find the surge that they were lacking late in some of our previous games.
John making use of the campfire, getting a little cozy here. But with his teammate down, it's only going to last so long. He needs to find some sort of way to bring him back in the match. Being so far in zone, though, you can assume there's not too many duos close by, if any. So he should be able to pick him up. The harder part is going to be getting back into the game.
Honestly, I got nothing to talk about range, waiting to the end game.
Getting enough damage to outlive the Storm Surge. That is going to be a journey for this duo. But for Axe Force and Raban, it looks like they are playing once again around the forecast tower.
Trying to clean it for themselves. Push some other teams off. Reason, Vidil. An opportunity here for eliminations. Looking towards the backside. They're not just focused onto one team. Misses the sniper. Sets his eyes back on the prize, which is Scroll and Sky, towards the other side of that. Couple of teams stacked up over here towards the shipping station. And so they don't want to get too congested in a fight that doesn't really matter too much this early on. Mustache, on the other hand, he's able to take down Cade. Probably not too far off from their drop spot, just north of Fencing Field. Diox is going to be the next target in sight. Malibuca, Mustache using the strength and numbers to try to take him down, but both of them dropped weak. 8 shields disappeared just like that.
The threat becomes a reality as Mustache was cracked. Now Malibuca forced to pop that Flowberry Fizz, healed them back up. Good news is they have the upper hand in terms of players. It's just Diox, and he gets quickly taken out. Now they've picked up those extra eliminations, those extra points, and continue on.
Yeah, it's important because throughout
You two using the commands you are. Which ones are you using? Meg, Potato, Sad. You are not alone. Here are some people you can call Samaritans. Why don't stop spamming Sad Excel?
A crevice to sneak those shots in. There goes it, happening yet again. We got Veno, we got Thomas, and now we have Mustache just lighting things up with the sniper.
You can see how beneficial it can be to carry a sniper, especially if you can hit your shots. It can truly turn around your tournament. Malibuca and Mustache now, with a good amount of damage, will just continue getting the best position they possibly can. And it looks like based on this structure, this tower, this castle almost, that Thomas HD and Queasy have built on the roof of Lavish Lair, you can only assume that they pulled zone, which is correct there. Issue is, though, you said it, Jacob, they weren't contested this time.
I think there's a bit of a
so
cooldown on Sad, so people don't spam it actually. I'm not sure if I set it up or not.
They will have to get tags on the players rotating through, and right now the only option
could have made some more interesting ones. I'll make some more whenever I feel like it. I'm not sure what more I can make. Like, give me ideas then.
Like they were eyeing that opportunity, but just like you said, they have zone in their favor. They don't want to do too much, especially if it does pull teams towards the north, even pull teams downward like we saw in that last game. His gear is fine, have a chance here to get his teammate back. Doesn't want to do it too soon because then that draws attention in your direction. At least he was able to find medkits, so it doesn't matter how long it takes
445
to stay
points
in the
there.
game. It's only a 1 tick, so not too much damage being done. And you kind of add in the fact that we've shifted kind of away from the heal-offs in which we were seeing throughout the qualifiers to almost all-out brawls for victories.
Yeah, I think the only kind of heal-off we had was when Queasy was on height by the train tracks today. So it's been very engaging late games here for the grand finals.
Oh, Giannis. Giannis.
Game 4 winners. Previous match. Continuing around the Reckless Railways, you can see the players rotating through more up north now as they want to get deeper into the zone. Meanwhile, there's some that have yet to even make it out of the zone.
Mongol Mr. Savage died. Or I still up. Let me check Twitch again. I'm just out on Snapchat, to be honest. It looks like they're still up. Yeah, they are.
In game 11, second to last chance. Instead of early rotating on over to the forecast tower, even fighting Kiro and Kudo for it.
Why are we wearing the Booga skin? It's such a random skin to be wearing.
And on their way there, they're going to find their combat cache. They'll be the first one to it, but they have to be careful. That's Veno. That's Tayson on the other side. And really the only way Veno and Tayson can make up the point differential is through eliminations and high placing games. And with the aggression that they showed ramping up over the last couple of games, this could be a fight that they're ready to fight to the end.
Yeah, Veno Tayson is not a duo you want to go up against in a combat cash fight, being the players they are. But Pink and Vico as well, incredibly dominant. Issue is there's even more duos, well, just one duo here in the surrounding area that could cause some trouble. So his shots continue.
Pink's looking lost though, to be honest. Sounds like a...
be one for Veno. He hits one tag, but it's not going to be anything big. The wall of place coming through. All they want is that big pump shot. 58 isn't going to be enough to crack them, but little by little, they get that HP and shield advantage.
Man, that was a great shot by Vico to kind of answer back onto Veno. He's trying to scrape together all the loot into his box. Not much left. I do see a med kit, but everybody here in the situation is about full HP.
Why is nobody else talking? It's just us three. There's only 5 people in the stream, so...
Immediately interrupting that, and in the distance, Kiro and Kuruo are attempting to third party this. Now it's just going to be
maybe it's not set to all messages. Maybe you're set to top. Maybe there are more people talking. I'm all messages. Everybody else is talking. So
yeah, I don't think they know that Kuruo and Kiro are even there. One of them was in a bush, the other crouched up on the previous build, so they should have an opportunity to at least take some shots and do a bit of damage. If it's enough damage to pursue the aggression though and go for the eliminations is what we'll have to find out.
It's HD's first.
Uh-oh.
Together, both of them boxed up. This fourth zone is coming to a close.
From 26 points to start this off to 14-point difference. Malibuca and Mustache slowly but surely closing that gap as this game progresses. Still 13 teams need to go down before placement points start to come in for a lot of these teams. So you don't want to spend all this time in the game just to go down without anything to show for it. Volko almost on the receiving end of yet another Mustache snipe. Always threading the needle and having some close calls. Shaco, Sky,
they've gotten so lucky with their loot every game.
Send them fully back to the lobby. That's going to be 6th and 7th place out as well on that leaderboard inside of the top 10, which opens up an opportunity for somebody to overtake them here in game 11.
Hi, how are you? Hello, Wattle. I'm good. What about you?
As 5th zone will appear, and they'll see how much of a rotate they do have to do. It's going to be Pablo Bevies, though, a little bit further down below. And as the zone does pull more up north, these duos have to start planning their rotate. Do we let the teams in front of us rotate first? Do we use any of the mobility items we can? Maybe a combination of a crash pad.
Whose stream are you on? This is the official Fortnite stream.
Down below as everybody kind of flies through the skies. There's a lot of options. Bevies and Pablos, though, are just going to use the grapple blade.
We got one reboot going off into the distance. Said, what can you get?
I always see you online. I haven't really been playing much recently. I've been doing like 1v1s just to practice. It's getting close to next season, and I actually want to do like good in solos next season as well.
Ran back to some reboots and get it, but a nice snipe lands and connects on the arc, leaving his duo all by himself. Now a solo, but he's trying to go ahead and get aggressive. Avenge his teammate. Shot's gonna get fired through. 50 shield gone just like that. Space is green.
37 teams up still.
And his opponent, especially because those third-party shots are now beginning to come in and float in their direction.
One bullet in the chamber is all Gira's had until he secured that elimination. Now 6 more opportunities with that refresh. Even 96 above Surge. That is the shot he needed to hit to continue going forwards. But as he's been cracked, he's going to be forced to once again stay in zone. And on the contrary, Mustache has been eliminated as well. Malibuca left as a solo. Pressure is on as he knocks down one. The 1 versus 1, but the third party's continuing to take shots.
Yeah, checks he's still moving his way in. Other
Or is
players
he
as well.
got
Volko on the other side. He found a little crevice underneath the water, still trying to hold on to his position, play defensive, but he's running out of builds. 521 above the damage threshold. Volko Vortexers come in, and they cause a huge distraction to find both of those eliminations, possibly saving the day for Malibuca. They have an opportunity here to continue to go on the hunt. This is a big decision here for Volko and Vortexers that has so many different implications to the leaderboard.
Inside of the storm, it makes this scenario 10 times more difficult as Malibuca is still up somehow. He has recuperated his materials. Now that he knows the duo has left, he can pop that Flowberry Fizz for the shield. One more med kit left to keep him up, but such a ways away from the zone. 3 medkits actually, as he's found some from the ground. Malabuka, you've got to repeat what we saw from the semifinals.
Say he's doing the math there. Thinking if he can go to the backside of zone and get the reboot. He's checking if anybody else is slowly rotating in. Malabuka's going to try to go for a repeat.
Pablo's still there. I love Pablo.
Did you see a replay? 172 below
And
the
he's,
damage.
oh, he's still up. He's
threshold.
still up. He just want to make it sooner.
Knocked
Yeah.
on the wrong door. There is no treats in that house, only tricks. But
There's no medkits.
it
Pablo's dead.
backfires
No.
there momentarily. Bevies goes down. Cammy goes in. Him and Seti are poised to have a good comeback here on the day.
Malabuka's made it back in. He has used one of the rifts from the Rift Island, as he still wants to recuperate that shield and HP. He has enough consumables in his inventory, but you can see at the mini-map, looks like a whole army of players now.
Mongol and Savage still up? Let me check.
Mark, you know, where do
I
we
think they went
land?
down. I don't think they're up
Do we
still.
go on top of the builds? We don't want to land in the same place of the
Oh,
other
Mongol, they're
players.
still up.
Stay away from the action.
Mongol and Mr. Savage, yes, stay up.
Now stops.
Both alive as
So we're
well.
gonna look for a
Thank
shot
God.
from Malabuka so far. Just one more shield left. If he ends up getting cracked, the focus is on him. He cannot let that happen.
And the 50-50 opened up. This is the same scenario he was in when he qualified to the FNCS Grand Finals. Looking for a repeat opportunity. Gears was unable to get Hari's reboot card, so he's been playing this one out as a solo with no real choice in the matter. And now he's 90 below the damage threshold. This is going to be a sticky situation for him to try to survive, especially if he becomes the target of a lobby just like that.
He hit a headshot snipe
90
earlier
below.
on with just one bullet in the chamber. Now it's 6 opportunities, 6
Got no
options.
shots as well.
He needs to make
He's
it happen
basically
once
dead.
again. Forced to pop the big pot to tank a little bit of the storm
Cabby's
surge.
down.
As the clock's ticking, the lightning striking. He needs to
No,
find
it's
an
over
opening.
there.
Sniper in hand, he cannot find anything. Gyros, please, just one shot is all it takes.
Nobody's really peeking. There's no opportunities. He actually gets shot up from
Yeah, he's
across.
dead.
Storm surge. He can only take one more tick, and nobody even peeks. He's gonna go down, and it's actually Cammy, I believe, that got credit for that elimination. 6 more points for Seti and Cammy. Slowly but surely crawling out from the
Reasons
depths of the
below.
bottom of the leaderboard. Reason, Vidil below Storm Surge themselves, but they have the Flowberry Fizz. All of it's going to be used for the most part to try to heal themselves up and get out of zone. They still have a rotation to make. Everything is kind of stacking up against Reason and Vidil in a situation like this, but he finds a duo trying to rotate themselves. Well placed shot, but not enough still
Good
to
damage.
get above the
21 still
threshold.
below.
Currently in that 3rd place spot. Malabuka is also playing as a solo. Issue is the
Missed
first
it.
place duo, Queasy and Thomas, still both looking healthy. As Reason has lost his duo partner, the deal is down. 28
Oh,
HP
he's
for
dead.
Reason,
No way he
no
gets it.
medkits.
We got a kill.
13 now, just one shot in the sniper rifle, and he needs that impact.
Yeah, still below. Finally able
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
he
above.
got a
The
kill at
ping
least.
pong is there. It shows how much damage is being dished around the lobby.
Malabuka's for
Malabuka, he's
HP.
above the threshold, but just a sliver of HP. No shields to regain. Storm is pushing him in
Stuck
as
in
well.
Storm.
There's only so much of that
Got
medkit he can
damage.
actually use.
Ah, it's annoying.
Takes shots,
Second
but
gets the
Reason
damage as
goes
well.
down. It's Queasy as well. It looks like he's been knocked as Malabuka left as a solo. Thomas HD left as a solo. All our top 3 duos as solos.
Thomas, he's able to pick up big, and he goes down. Thomas goes
Oh,
down.
Mongol and Mr. Savage
Malabuka's
still up.
chance.
Sorry.
At one point or another, we saw it was a 14-point differential between Malabuka, Mustache, Queasy, and Thomas. The foot race will continue, but it all matters here. How many placings Malabuka is actually able to pick up? About 2, maybe even 3 more. He will overtake that first place spot, and from there, it's all bonus.
The last player in the top 3 that is up. Every point is gold from Malabuka. As Bennu and Tayson, only 11 above, already taken damage from Storm Surge. They have that medallion to recuperate a bit of shield. But with both players being extremely low, just one shot away from getting knocked or even eliminated.
I'm trying to keep an eye out
Have
for
to
Mongol
keep
and Mr.
moving
Savage.
forwards. Tayson's down. Bennu another solo. All
Oh,
the top players are
go
going
behind.
down.
And
I love the
I
attempt
think
coming
the
out.
medallion went in
If
the
you're gonna
box as
swing,
well. Where's
you
my
better
mom to Savage?
swing
Okay,
big.
there.
He gets taken down altogether, trying to fight Kiro and Kudo on the high ground. We're going up this mountain, and then this next zone pulls. We're going down it as well. Malabuka playing this one near perfect.
He didn't even mean to get put in that.
With just 20 HP, but I might have cursed him with only 3 or 4 placings of differential. I'm not even sure Malabuka was able to take first.
Moni, Lunex, we'll have to find out. As now
Mongo and Mr.
it's a
Savage,
game
are we
for the
down?
top half of the leaderboard. These players that on the midsection have a brand
no, they're
new,
out.
bright opportunity to make themselves new crowned leaders. Kiro, Kiduo are going to be the ones on height. 4 elims on the board. With this type of zone as well, they should be able to hold on.
Trying to figure out who's next in line on that leaderboard, just kind of move up. But a lot of our top competitors going down early in this game in terms of the amount of placement points they can actually grab. 404 for Vico and Pink. This is a shot for them to move up the leaderboards for sure. Plenty of points still on the board. 209 above the threshold. And they have some elevation, but Vico's looking down at Pink. How can he help his teammate out? And he realizes he can no longer be the hero to this duo. He's going to be stuck by himself now as a solo.
Best end game so far. This is a pretty good end game. I'm not sure the best one. I feel like there was one yesterday which is better, but of today it's pretty good end game. Yeah, Mongo Mr. Savage. Yeah, let's let the back side. Mongo Mr. Savage rotating in. They're like healthy as well. They're vibing. First time they've still been up as well, so fair enough.
Nightmare for a lot of these players that are trying to use the second to last opportunity to burst up the leaderboard to give themselves a fighting shot for that first place, or maybe even a global
if they win this game,
championship
people
spot,
go
top 2 at the
insane.
bare minimum. Cringe, you can see him over on the other side. It looks like switching away from Lavish Layer was a great play for them because now they've made it to the end game.
Moni, Lunex, 4 on the board, about to grapple blade. Down below, you gotta be careful though. It's the same plan as a lot of these other duos. You don't want to get mixed up in an opponent's box as they quickly change layers now. A bit safer, but the pressure from above will come through. It's the height team taking shots. They don't want anybody overtaking them, so they're gonna keep applying that pressure to the duos close by.
And we're going up the mountain yet again.
I want to see a Mongo and Mr. Savage win. That'd actually be insane. They're top 16.
And literally as Vico, somebody's knocking at the box on the low side. Shaco's and Aaron going ahead and battling it out between each other. Shaco's going to be the one that gets dropped down. iDrop continuing to move forward as a solo and somehow finds an elimination onto Roban, giving them 6 more points. Crucial points here at a moment like this.
He only got 2 builds there.
20 builds, not much to work with for iDrop.
Mongo, that's Mr. Savage got a kill.
Is find that solo, find that potential impact elimination, but it's a duo
Means it's
close
a lot
by.
though.
You gotta pick your fight correctly here.
Dude, that she's on him.
So many healthy duos, but
How have they
also
not
so
seen him?
many
What is that awareness?
solos in
I get he's
shambles.
crouching,
He has
but
to
still
find
you'd
the
be
correct
looking for
one.
it, surely.
It's Lunex above.
He's on Mongo.
Still staying at the edge of the zone. Hits the
Please
first
tell me
shot,
Mongo got
back
that.
onto his
Yeah,
opponent,
okay,
but he
Mongo
goes
Mr.
down.
Savage got
The
that.
majority of the lobby is just running around as solo.
Oh, it's actually an intense ending game.
About
Top
5
10.
of them to be exact. Vico being
Mongo
one
Mr.
of them
Savage is still
without
healthy.
builds.
Why are they not
He's
showing
forcing
him? You
himself
can't be
lower
not
and
showing
lower,
him.
especially with the zone moving down that mountain. A little bit of
No.
a blessing in disguise.
Oh, they both
as
went down.
Mongrel finally goes down. 6
No.
eliminations for him and Savage, and an end game has been achieved. Definitely enough points.
An
to
end
move up
game
the
has
leaderboard.
been
Few
achieved. That's
spaces, but not
horrible.
where they would hope.
Lennox now left alone. Kiduo, Kiro still up above, taking shots. They don't want anybody getting close to them. Do
Oh,
they
I
have
can't believe it went
medkits
down.
to
That's
hold it off?
annoying.
Do they even need it? As Sinet and Vanyak pick up one more. It's Vico now, though.
Ooh.
Looking to secure another
Drops that one.
elimination.
Just finds those refresh materials. Not a ton, but at least it's something for Vico to use on the low ground. Vasquez there as well. Vanyak and Sined, one of the only duos still left alive other than Kiro and Kuduo on the high ground. So it's
Missed
a
both
duo's
shots.
dream
No
to
way
move
neither of
through
those
all
shots
these
connected.
solos. Vico missed opportunities.
builds.
Vasquez able to bounce around and get out alive.
4 still on the board for Vico.
He can't play
No
heal up
materials,
either.
though. He has 5 bandages, but it's not
He's just
gonna be
dead.
as
Don't even know
powerful
what
as
happened to him.
medkits. He needs to make something happen. Kiro dropped below to cause disruption on the low ground, leaving Kiduo up top, but with no medkits. He's gonna have to go for an elimination.
Yeah, and you see Artskill already starting that heal off towards the backside of the zone. He might be able to take it if he has a few med kits, because this is going to come down to a fight. Sined, Vasquez, Kiduo All three players still battling it out as solos here towards the front side of the zone. Art skill, he's able to at least get one
He gets
more
echo.
placing point
Yeah,
for
and he wins it. Kaduo winning it. Knocking out immediately.
Does it last towards the outside of the zone, but he stole together a couple of more placements before the game was finally stolen away.
Played perfectly with what they had. Kaduo quickly realizing he had no medkit. He had to go against that last player standing on the low ground, but knowing that he wasn't using a medkit, knowing that he most likely had more HP at 90, he took his time, he took his shots, and he took the victory royale.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing. Realizing the situation that you're in and making the most of it. Having the high ground, well-placed snipes from below.
Oh, and they griefed Mongo, Mr. Savage.
To hold on to their position, well-placed shot. That's how we saw Savage go down. Mongrel fell shortly after. These guys are picking up the pace at the perfect moment, Takata.
Blessed zone as well for the duo, being so high up in the clouds for the difficult roller coaster of a zone of the players who are rotating through the hill, the icy slippery slope down below. Kaduo finished it off strong.
And you got to imagine where it started. The biggest change up from day one and day two. Pink and Vico did not contest that forecast tower, which gave it over to Kiro and Kaduo for free. Being able to see the next zone has to be a blessing for them. They've won the game, but with only one game left, I'm going to throw it to our analysts one more time to figure out where everybody stands with the last chance around the corner.
That was actually pretty good.
Thank you so
Basically,
much,
second last game. I don't know what I was trying to say there.
It was so exciting to see some of the names that perhaps we haven't got to talk about over the weekend surge to the top, the mid ground and the low ground. And with Kiro and Kajiro, they did clutch that high ground, and then Kajiro himself clutched the victory royale. And this is a duo that we spoke a lot about in the upper bracket of the semi-finals. But I've been waiting to see them have a performance like this, Levin, and I'm so glad we got to see that.
I think it's one of the few examples of where we've seen them get that forecast tower with some relative ease, and that definitely has played a part. They've been involved in that sort of heinous battle all weekend long, Mini, and it's been one that they've come on top of in some occasions and not in others, but they make things work, and I think that is what makes this duo so impressive.
Yeah, when they do make it to endgame, they seem to do really
4 minutes
well,
into the last game.
Tower, as you mentioned, particularly in those sort of mountainous zones as well. If you have zones that are going to be pulling over hills, all the other players that don't know where that's going to go ahead of time, they can't plan ahead. So for Kiro and Kaduo, you saw them on height, they needed to be elevated, they knew that ahead of time, so they could sort of pre-plan and pre-prep for that. And really nicely well played, of course, as well. We saw some nice clutches there throughout the game from those guys, and of course the clutch out the win at the end is always good from them.
They might not be in a position to take the Axe of Champions at the end of this next game. However, don't forget, every placement counts. Every placement you get gets you potentially higher in terms of that prize pool and getting a bigger bag. So obviously our duos are still fighting for those positions at the end of the day. However, there are a number of duos who are still in contention for that Axe of Champions. So let's take a look at the leaderboard. With the big names falling so early in that last game, it kind of
Who's first? Queasy and Thomas HC, that's good. I feel like we deserve the win.
Where's
Pablo? They really fell down. Jesus.
530 points. If they had the game of their lives and Queasy and Thomas didn't, maybe there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, if we see a repeat of what we just saw right there, we could be saying Kiro and Kaduo are our FNCS champions for Chapter 5 Season 1. But we have to imagine here, with how both of these top two teams are playing, it's coming down to a two-horse race realistically. We saw, of course, both those teams being left out.
It's just gonna be whichever team does us first. It's either gonna be Malabuka or Thomas. Unless Kaduo gets like a really good game.
Thomas and Malabuka, and I mean, this is exciting, Levin, because we have one team that are contested, one team that have the tendency maybe to not have that great of an endgame in Mustache and Malabuka. So it's like, if Queasy and Thomas make it off spawn here, could be theirs for the taking, but Mustache and Malabuka, they know how to play well.
Absolutely. In that last game, though, Noms and Cringe decided not to contest.
I might actually record the last game.
For that game, they probably
there you go. Start recording.
Fans, right? You know, their Twitter followers are going up for
record
sure.
the last game. Just post moments on TikTok after. Get the likes up.
Not contesting once again, because yeah, they in theory could end the FNCS right now, right? Like going into this early game, if they decide to contest and things don't quite go the way for Queasy and Thomas, you'd think that's it, right? You'd think think Malibuka and Mustache would be able to accumulate more than 2 points.
It's not even a bad TikTok
well.
way.
So we'll see how it goes off Spawn. If they are uncontested though, which I think is what will happen, again, you just have an absolute corker of a game on your hands, man. I mean, are you not entertained? This is what FNCS is all about. Again, Malibuka and Thomas, 2 players that have been in this exact same position a year ago, right? Chapter 4, Major 1, both of them playing together. We're in a 2-horse race with Tayson and Mustache, and they fell. They weren't able to complete the job and get that title. So now, you know, now it's both of them against each other. Can one of them best the other? It's going to happen in this last game.
Remember what happened there at the end as well? It was Malibuka who actually needed to hit that final shot all the way back when in Chapter 4 Season 1 in order to win that FNCS. So we're seeing something very similar with the same people involved. It's
40 seconds. Last game.
Sure you can make the most of this last game. This is going to be really intense.
I actually want to know who's going to win last game now.
Standing on that stage with you back in Chapter 4 Season 1 as we watch that final endgame, as we watch these duos basically with the Shockwave Harrows just zooming across the zone. It was neck and neck, and it was incredible Fortnite, and that is what we're about to see once more for Chapter 5 Season 1. Jakarta and Jacob PR, it's game number 12. Take it away.
Last game of Major 1, Jacob.
What was that? Like a moan.
Difference between Malibuka Merstash and Thomas Queasy. But they were talking about it. The deciding factor here is what happens in the early game. Is Thomas HD and Queasy going to get contested once again?
Yeah, I think Excel left.
Will they be able to come out on top?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question we're asking ourselves. And with 2 points, that's less than elimination. That's less than half of an elimination overall. So when you see each other getting eliminations in the feed, it almost motivates you to have to push yourself that much further. Malibuka, Merstash, fighting history. Queasy, Thomas, fighting history. No matter what happens here in this FNCS, I'm just proud to say that history will be made.
Levin broke it down perfectly. This would be Queasy's 3rd FNCS title, each time with a new duo, and not only that, the new duo being their 1st FNCS title. And I think Thomas HD might be the most deserving one yet to secure that, being the world's, well, having the most top 10s in the world without yet securing that FNCS. So will they be able to do it? The question gets answered now. Battle Bus is ready. Let's get into game 12.
Hopefully everybody has strapped themselves in, because this final game is going to
be
they're
showing Thomas HD on Spawn. That's not surprising.
Full of emotion,
They're uncontested.
full of passion, and full of a chance to get that
Looks like
global
it.
championship spot and call yourself the best in all of the EU region. And we've called it yet again. No contestation coming out for Queasy and Thomas. Cringe and Noms, much respect to them.
We have a match, Jacob. We have a match, as Merstash and Malibuka have not been contested either throughout this whole day 1 and day 2 of grand finals. They have duos in the area, but none of them fighting their side of the drop. I'm looking to see if there's any changes in the last match, but it looks like it's going to be a similar situation. So it's going to be all about setting themselves up for that late game, securing as much loot as possible, as now that Queasy and Thomas are not contested entirely, they will have to focus a bit more on getting those tags. Misha
Why is it logging me out? Oh no. Oh god, no, that's not good.
Gotta be careful though.
I need to change phones.
Are known to pull out some sneaky tricks and really camp on the way to other players' loot paths, but uncontested. Queasy, Thomas, they're gonna spend a ton of time in and around the buildings of Lavish Lair.
No way are they gonna dial Spawn.
Hopefully they just don't get too greedy for more loot than they can handle. Otherwise, that's when things will start to go sideways, and Queasy is moving over in that direction. He has to be careful. Luckily for him, he does hear some shots pop off. Chance to get some damage onto Teeny.
He's full running. He's getting full
There's
keeper.
so many dangerous players waiting in the wings all around this position, and with little builds left, it's a great decision for Queasy to disengage, because that would have been so bad for him.
Missed the headshot snipe.
Crash pads.
Dies on Spawn. Oh no, he had headshot snipe. He's him, he's him.
Misha, though, Teeny now left as a solo. It's Chapix, Tino.
Oh my god.
We're going to be capitalizing on this
Yeah,
situation.
she hit headshot snipe. That's actually so big.
For Queasy and Thomas HD is all they really need to do here are take those pop shots. You can tell They have to kind of make a decision here, as in theory they do have the advantage against these opponents. They just got out of an engagement. They most likely don't have a lot of shield, most likely do not have a lot of HP, but at the same time, they don't want to do anything too risky. They can't get
It's the last game.
so early on.
Right now on the mainstream they're showing first place, which is Queasy and Thomas HD. But it's they're only winning by a 2-point lead, which is like 1 kill, not even half a kill. Yeah, first place is on 612 points and second place is on 610. So
gold loot coming out of the
he
vault.
missed
They get the gold hammer pump,
his second
a
shot.
gold striker. They already
Needs
have
to
the
reload his
mythic.
shotgun.
This is a game for Malabuka and Thomas off spawn.
I'm watching more of Mr. Savage on my phone while it's happening, because it's probably more intense. And also I'm going to screenshot him when they die and make a TikTok post, because it's going to be one of those ones which gets views.
It all comes down to this from the qualifiers, semifinals, first day of the grand finals. Now
Malabuka and all, they've been getting like really lucky with it. Nobody contests them really, so they just get it for free every game.
Of Major 1. It all really comes down to this. We can even take a look of what Queasy's doing here. As he was
Queasy's got a kill, so that's good for
and
him.
that's already 6 points, Jacob.
Yep. That gap is beginning to open up just a little bit. 2-point differential is now turned into 8-point lead for Queasy and Thomas. But another team that have earned the right to be in contention, a big win.
Yeah, it would help, it would help. I need the watch time badly.
Moved themselves into third
I'm down bad for watch time. I need like 1,000 more hours. Oh my god, Monkel, Mr. Savage is in the 1v2 again. Oh, he might actually be dead here.
First place is
Duo waiting for the reboot. It can't be reboot. There's no way. They died.
Go down early. It would be wide open for them to take it all.
Look, it's more than doable.
What are they saying?
Deal and reason at 500 points, basically. All it takes is one little hiccup from either duo in first and second place here. And it will open up that shot for the others down below. Bevy's Pablo.
Playing an advert immediately. He has made so much money off that advert.
As all our players here continue to prep themselves for the late game.
Oh, there's no way.
Kudo probably saw this, and now that they're in contention, they said, nah. We'll give it up this game. You gave it to us last game. Pink and Vico land a monster of a shot on the Yanis. Flixie's already weak. They have a huge advantage in this fight. Just not sure they got the memo just yet. Still another team looting up the scraps that are left over towards Reckless Railways. And then obviously, the tendency for Veno and Tayson to move over from Grand Glacier is going to be real in this position. But Yanis and Flixie have had enough. They're going to disengage on out, move back on over to Reckless Railways where they can heal up and regather some of that loot.
Take it Vico now. In control of the forecast tower. All the third parties they've had to go through from Veno, Tayson, Janice, Flixie. As we look at our 4th place team. Reason and Vidil. 100 points, Jacob, you said it. That's what the Victory Royale can get you today with 6 points per elim. We've seen it happen before, these massive matches. If they want first place, that's all they need.
I can't believe that's happened. Mongo, Mr. Savage, Grand's over.
Already they have the forecast tower in mind. There is one team positioned nearby, that's Hen and Vasque. They have to be careful for it. They've been ready to fight for it more times than not throughout the weekend. It's a huge tool to their game plan, being able to make it far in some of these games. The boss has already spawned as well. Hen and Vasque have control in terms of those pieces, but Vidil and Reason move in with ease to take down the boss, and now they'll be the ones with that reboot card to secure the first forecast tower.
Huge benefit to this match. As they're able to get the forecast, they will be able to see those zones up ahead. And it's going to be crucial for their positioning as we look back at Sangil Marius, who did take one of the matches today. They're looking to kind of position themselves in a bit more of an elevated location. And for our previous match winners, Kiro and Kiduo, they've put themselves into a battle.
This is not the time. You just had a phenomenal game going down here. Kind of end a dream run, but it's Veno and Tayson. They have different plans in their mind if they want to move up the leaderboard.
So going downhill.
Points, they got to give themselves a shot. And that's going to come with maybe a 15, 20 elimination victory
Who's
royale. At
last?
least
There's
there's
someone.
a condition for
No,
them
we
to
didn't
try
even
to
bother
win.
playing. What? Chapix?
Slightly
What
out of
happened?
reach and very, very risky. But Tayson and Venno,
I'm
if they
trying
want
to
to go
find
ahead
Bongo
and
and Mr.
advance to the
Savage,
global
see where they
championship
came.
here this
30th.
weekend, it's really the only way to do it.
Tayson Venno currently in 16th place. Hero Kiddo in 3rd. One of the duos here trying to hold on to their position, as you said it yourself, Jacob. Top 2
Make a
do
TikTok post
go
about
to
it.
global championships. So Kiddo and Kiro are just one position away from making it. But if Venno is able to get this knock, it could be the end for them. He hits the first shot. It's not going to be a crack. As he gets dropped down, 8 HP is what he's left with. The whole build fight is chopped down. And the pressure is on.
Disaster strikes. The interesting thing is they don't necessarily know how weak Venno actually is. Tayson's trying to move in on another angle, alleviate the pressure. But our team, one of our top teams that's in contention, Aqua Noah on the other side, going against Malabuka and Mustache, now cut in a hard position, slowly but surely trying to back up. Third parties coming in, spraying in their direction, coming from fencing fields. This is going to be tough for them to survive, especially against Aqua and Noah. But I think they've had enough. They realize who they're going up against, and they quickly disengage on out. A breath of fresh air has been had for Malabuka and Mustache.
Luckily enough, they did have the heals to recuperate the damage that was dealt. Now both looking healthy again. Still 3 shots in the chamber. Mustache with even more. They've done a good bit of damage, but they cannot get pushed here. They need to just focus on staying up.
Very, very scary for them momentarily. But luckily they have the luxury to kind of rotate back to where they were before, find any heals that were left behind, kind of get that HP back up. Thomas Queasy just checking some bushes, better safe than sorry. Even going for some cheeky shots into the distance. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And with the amount of sniper ammo that Thomas has, you know, you can kind of go for these Hail Marys.
I mean, we saw what Thomas did in a bush at the start of this tournament. But now if
Oh, here we go. The post is up already.
He's known for hitting his shots.
Are they streaming it on TikTok as well? There's no way. Oh my god, they are.
The time is now. North side of the zone by Reckless.
Thomas HD is still up, so they
Continuing
basically
to
got
just
the
look
win.
around. Once again, they were not contested, so they don't have that
Also
damage
virtual
early on
post.
like they have had in the previous match. So it is a bit of a change up in their original game plan. Now at the combat cache section of the match, 4 cast towers have already been secured. Now it's for that extra loot and a bit of metal for Kiro and Kiduo. Making it out of the engagement against Tayson and Venno. Have again a shot at the trophy or even the global championship.
And good job for them to be able to not only like quickly react, but manage to be one of the first teams on over to their combat cache.
It's actually been insane,
Yes. Amount of loot. You saw the shields gonna get regenerated, and they have some for later on in this game, especially with the way Storm Surge has been dealing damage
Matter
to
let
some
down,
of
they're
these
not
teams.
gonna.
Pablo
Mongo and
Bevis,
Savage have not done
almost
good. Pablo's still up
uncontested over
there,
here
that's what
towards
matters.
easy heel side. You said it yourself. Nobody in sight early on in the game. That's just because they found that first elimination and then pushed that second player so far out of sight. It wasn't even on the mini map. And now they hear another team. They don't necessarily know it's Venno and Tayson. Big heavy hitters that they could potentially go up against.
Venno and Tayson have been looking extra hungry in this last match.
They didn't do good, they didn't do the best, no.
Trying to push, trying to find that.
They should have done way better. I think it's just because they were so contested though.
Opponents and give them that option to keep pushing. With 40 duos up, 80 players, we're getting closer and closer to the mid section of the game here. As duos start rotating in, deciding, do we want to be more on that congested side? Do we want to go center? Do we want to stay up north?
Decisions. I think for everybody here in the lobby, they're beginning to feel the pressure.
Oh, okay, it's glitching.
Final game can do.
Even the commentators are confused.
And that's the interesting thing, is even if you're not at the top of the leaderboard in contention to
Oh
win.
my god, there's a win down now.
So much money, thousands upon thousands of dollars up for grabs for each and every placing as you move up the leaderboard. So there's still so much to fight for, even if you're out of reach of that first place spot.
Merstash being quick to react as he was split up from Malibuca.
Imagine.
Taking that sniper shot, unable to connect. Now this duo has history, Jacob. Entered the scene.
Oh my god, Malibuca's almost dead.
Yes, before splitting.
Oh my god, we might go down here.
Merstash picking up a title with Tayson. Malibuca yet to get his first. Will this be the time now?
Okay,
They've joined forces once again. Can they secure Malibuca's first FNCS finals? Can Merstash get his second? It's a duo I love to see. As now they go closer
Double
and
landing
closer
on
to the Rift
Seti.
Island, diving right onto Seti. This match is everything.
Yeah, Cammy was already weak as well. That's why they took the Rift. Didn't want to really grab him time to heal. Now they're hot on the heels. The Seti disengaged. Now it's Cammy's turn to
Someone's
drop
knocked,
down,
aren't they?
which gives up all of Rift Island to Malibuca.
Yeah, Cammy's
Merstash if they so want it, but they want the elimination. Malibuca was able to find it onto Cammy.
I'm
as
gonna
he
go
fell
good
down
luck.
off of
Good
Rift
luck, I
Island.
guess.
And now they have Seti in their line of sights, narrowly able to enter that Rift to be able to escape, to live to tell the tale, and potentially get Cammy back in.
This is big. This is very big for Merstash and Malibuca. That elimination, not
Thomas
only
HD
elimination,
still
the
up, though.
knockdown and the elimination is going to be a huge benefit to the damage that they needed. Queasy as well with that elim they secured early on. Issue is, it wasn't even a knock. It was just one shot onto an opponent that was low. It gave them that 6 points, but it didn't give them as much damage as they would have liked. They have the loadout, they have the loot, but for Reason and Vadil, they also want more.
They're getting backed up into a tough spot. That's Swizzy and Putrick they see on the other side, trying to get aggressive while they can. They too are in a position with enough eliminations mixed in with our top two going down just a little bit early. They could pull out an underdog victory, especially with how well they've been playing. Swizzy Putrick, though, not really wanting to give up on this fight. Great defenses, drop slayers, not wanting to give the video the shot that he's looking for.
Continuing to find a replace, continuing to find an angle. Putrick not letting it happen as the pickaxes come through. The zone will
Oh,
be
Tayson made a
closing here in just
post.
7
Back-to-back
seconds, and they'll be able to know
headshot
where they
sniped.
have to
GG.
rotate to. Reason you can see
Haha, cry little loser.
to keep a
Hope you
good line
get
of sight
sniped
on the
again.
players in the surrounding area. Zone
Jesus
has pulled
Christ.
close to them. They don't have to rotate a long ways to still be in the edge, as now they're not really forced to do anything too urgently.
No, they can literally just sit up there, gather information. They know teams below them, but now they can start to scout of which teams are positioned all around them on this island. So that way when they finally do make a rotation, maybe even in the next zone after that, it gets a pool, not in their favor. You know exactly where they want to rotate to. 451 points as we look aboard. Another duo, Giri's and Hari. Position just away from everybody else, outside of
I
Rural
can't wait for
Worlds.
the end game to start.
451 points. Like I said, even for those that may not think they have a chance at that first place, there you can line their pockets with thousands upon thousands, over $800,000 up for grabs today.
Queasy's
And
made a
once
post.
again, just a 2-point difference. The match started with a 2-point difference, and after a couple of eliminations, we're back at it once again. Third place, 530 points. Might seem far, but anything's possible with 100 points for that victory royale and 6 points per elimination. It really all depends on what happens to these top teams. Queasy and Thomas, we can actually see where they're at on the threshold now. They got that small tag for the elimination. It's put them 130 above, but they're gonna need more.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Oh, we're just waiting it out at this point. Malibuca Moustache still up. This is gonna be close.
But especially since Teeny was kind of chased around before he finally went down, there's really not enough damage when it comes to Surge, so there's no real feeling of comfortability. But on the other side,
I can't mute myself.
Moustache, a couple well-placed sniper shots, beaming into players' boxes,
People are posting.
even getting into a close engagement versus another team. They're well above the damage threshold, on top of Loot Island, with very few things to worry about, at least until the next zone pulls on over.
I mean, that knock on elimination was crucial.
Dino broke his
for the position
hand,
that they're
what?
in now. As Thomas HD and Queasy, the numbers getting lower and lower, but the stress levels are rising. Storm Surge is active at any second now. They could go from 37 above to below as they need to find damage.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation, and the switch up, the big difference of being contested versus being uncontested. They're not able to get the early damage, whether they win, lose, or draw the fight against Noms and Cringe, because they're no longer there at Lavish Layer. And with not too many teams rotating in that direction, it's going to be hard for them to try to figure out where. They're kind of forced into certain positions. Even with a sniper, Thomas is not able to find anything to work with. Luckily for him, Queasy landing a couple of shots, 18 above. But this is not a feeling of comfortability for this duo that has their eyes set on that first place.
A miracle as now 223 above as players continue to get eliminated.
We'll go back to watching it.
A bit of space, a little breath of air for the duo as they can focus now on their rotate. You can even see all the players by the Rift Island that are going to be making use of those rifts, of those launch pads close by. It should even open up that option to take shots on them as they rotate in. But the first thing they have to focus on is making it to zone, as Thomas has lost a bit of shield. Not cracked yet, though.
Yeah, forced to stagger in that position. Those are the dangers of rotating on foot. Instead of taking those rifts, you see
he's nervous, he's nervous.
Island, making their way on over.
He knows this is going to be his first FNCS win, so he's nervous.
Be one of the last, and they fall below the damage threshold,
no.
So they have no other choice but to look back.
Oh my god, they're below damage threshold.
Now damage being dished out. They fall even further below. This is a nightmare of a situation.
Oh my god, if they die, they don't win in FNCS.
Forced to pop the floppers. Doesn't look like they have a lot of shields. Only thing helping them is that
oh my god, hit a headshot, missed it. Oh my god, you can't lose this, Thomas. Okay, he hit a snipe. He's above, he's 12 above.
He hits the knock, but
does he get knocked here?
No,
okay.
Focus. That's Loki on the other side along with his duo. Queasy's trying to move in on the other side, but nothing is given. Everything is earned in a situation like this. And I do believe King was able to get the revive back on up to Phaser. And Thomas Queasy still flirting with disaster when it comes to that Storm Surge.
The snipe to put
60
them back
above.
Into the match. Now, 60 above. That is what put them
Nebs
in
just killed
position.
Nebs, what does that mean?
Big pots now being put to good use. Floppers still available, as they have a bit more time to get the rest of the damage they need, and it looks like they're gonna do it aggressively.
Oh, they're actually full set. That's 50-50. Queasy's dead.
Nothing situation, but Queasy's dropped. Queasy's dropped.
He's getting keyed. One dead. Phaser dead.
He's trying to save the day. Thomas with the backfire gets a knock back on the Phaser. This is everything for Queasy and Thomas. King is getting backed up little by little. Medallion not able to help out
off. Oh my god.
This is in the inventory of Queasy. Trade for revive, but Kiro and Kaduo, they cause destruction. That was a huge blessing in disguise for Thomas and Queasy, because now they're free to get this revive back on up.
The third place duo finishing off Phaser and King, as now Thomas and HD and Queasy are gonna be able to heal up, but they're still 42 above. They need more damage. One more snipe shot is all Thomas needs to hit here. You can see the difference in the leaderboard is nothing between first and second.
Thomas HD, okay, let's still first. I want him to win the whole thing.
8 points
Pablo's
is the difference.
fifth, so
I'm not
still
sure
gonna
how
get
they're
good
doing
placement.
this, Takada, but they are making it work. Down on
Placement's
Surge
1 point away,
against
so.
adversity. Talk about making history. Now we're making it entertaining. But Kiro and Kadu are looking to play busters to everything that's going on. No placement points just yet. One more team still needs to go down. Aqua and Tayson, they're both going to be knocked for their respective teams as well.
Pressure is still on. Malabuka and Murstache looking healthier than ever, while Thomas HD and Queasy fight for their lives.
They gotta just stay up 100%. They're above, they're 5 above.
But still, Storm Surge
that's not great.
attacking him throughout a majority of
They're not being
match.
tagged at least, that's a good thing.
I
don't think they're gonna get Storm Surge pops from them this time.
Just
I
41
think they'll be
above,
alright.
but as the players begin to rotate, 8th zone has appeared. This is gonna open up options to get that damage.
Yeah, the biggest thing that's keeping them alive is the constant hot potato with that medallion. No real shields to their name. You mentioned the floppers. 41 zone beginning to move in. This is where it's going to get tough for Queasy and Thomas. And as soon as the edit's open, Thomas takes a ton of damage. Shields getting dropped. Medallion is in the inventory of Queasy, so he's not going to have time to get the shields on back. And now he falls below the damage threshold.
30, below damage.
At its finest, as Queasy remains the target of multiple players in the lobby.
Forced to pop a flopper up to 74. Medallion gets dropped.
He can't pick it. Okay,
Will
go,
be able to
go, go.
recuperate shield once he picks this up. But it's
Oh my
Pablo.
god.
It's Bevy's knocking on their door.
Pablo and Bevy.
Get out. Grapple blade comes through. Rotate continues.
55 below. It's not going to be an easy rotation by any means, and the point gap has lessened from 8 back down to 2. Means Malabuka, Mustache, they found elimination along the way.
Got 100%. No way.
Queasy is down.
Did he get it?
It's all up to Thomas. 8 builds to his name. He's trying to get
Go,
this
go,
elimination
okay,
on the
good.
bull backside of zone, and he finds
7
that
builds.
elimination, but not many
He's
builds.
dead, he's dead.
But he gets bandages. Another
He's
pressure
dead.
towards the front
He's
side.
getting pressured.
It's looking disastrous
He's dead.
for Thomas as everybody begins to focus back. Thomas goes down. Malabuka and Mustache are still alive, and that is 2 or 3 more points due to placement. They might have just overtaken it right there.
Oh my god,
All they
Thomas
need to
HH
do
just didn't
is
win.
stay up. The closest duo now, Kiro Kiduo, were in 3rd place, creeping on behind Mustache and Malabuka. They need to find them in this late game. They need to eliminate them.
Just about 1 more placement, 1 more elimination will be official for Malabuka and Mustache to take this game. Kiro and Kadudo still waiting in the wings, 32 below. They still have a chance right now. They're still over 60, 70 points on the board in terms of placement if Malabuka and Mustache can go down.
Malabuka's down.
The pressure he gets knocked. It's all up to Mustache. This could be it. The comeback from Kiro and Kiduo. If Mustache goes down, he cannot let that happen.
I'm not even sure if a placement came in by the time Queasy Thomas went down. Not just yet. Mustache still needs to be able to clutch up. He's been in this situation before 1 year ago, and he was on the victory end along with Tayson of a close race. But now it's going to be put to
He's
the
dead.
test yet again. He's under pressure.
No way he
Gets
doesn't get
shot
low
from
focus.
different angles,
Die, die, die.
83 HP. He's
4
well
HP,
above
4
the
HP. He's
damage
dead as dog.
threshold,
No
and he
way.
still
He's dead,
finds a way
okay.
to stay alive. Even
He's
though the
first.
zone along the way, but he goes down. Mustache goes down, but he picked up more points in terms of placement.
It is all up to Kiro and Kiduo now. They need to secure the victory royale. They need to get eliminations, but with no builds to their name, they have to act fast.
There's a ton of placement points on the board, but they're going to need eliminations mixed in with that if they want to take it overall. Kiro and Kaduo, I don't even know if they know the situation that they're in right now.
They're still trying. Medkits
Oh, no.
up. Duo partners went down. It's all up to Kiro. He has no materials. He's on the edge of zone. No more medkits now, as he might be able to pick up a bit of loot.
he didn't
It's
pick
even
up.
more medkits. The blessing as he grapples on in.
He didn't grab the medkits though. He
One build, he's
panicked. He
dead.
went to the front of zone. Doesn't grab materials either. Kiro has to dig deep. He got 6 more teams, 7 more teams down worth of placement points. 581. He needs to be able to push himself over the edge, but there are so many teams in his path ready to stop him.
Oh, you got a kill.
Rotate continues. Shot connects. The Vico eliminated. That's 1 on the board. Materials recuperated. Now ahead of zone.
This is legendary right now. He's earned this spot. First elimination has been found, but once again, running out of builds, running out of time. You see him looking all around, trying to look to the backside of the zone. Can he find anybody sneaking around? There are so many duos on top of that layer that he's at.
Dead.
Sato and Alex, they cut him off in front. Hero finally goes down. He didn't get enough points.
Malabuka and Mustache, will they be able to hold on to the throne as Marius is finishing off this last match? Medkit popped, 3 elims on the board.
Sangil got his first victory royale this weekend in FNCS Finals lobby, looking to make it 2, looking to get more points and line their pockets with money, but Marius forced to drop down low. Shots coming from above. It's almost looking like a solo FNCS, but one duo, Noms and Cringe on the high ground.
And they're holding strong. There's 14 HP for Marius. He's forced back into zone, but it's duos that are up against him. He needs a miracle for the 1 versus 2. Takes the first shot, hits a wall, blocked off, as now Marius is the only solo left.
He's dead,
He's
yeah.
just hiding the only nook cranny he can
One,
take.
2v2.
But he gets taken out. And Sato on the low ground. Noms and
10
Cringe
builds as well. They
switching
basically
up their
won it.
drop spot in the last 2 games. They've got 6 eliminations up until this point. What a way to end the game if they can somehow drop down to their opponent and finish it off. But multiple win conditions going around both of these teams. 3 medkits each.
Dead?
Sato getting tossed around, trying to play disruptor, but he's
Yeah,
gonna
they
get dropped
basically-
down.
Oh,
Noms
it's
and
gonna go
Cringe,
to
they're
heal
the
off.
duo on the high ground, but Analec's forced to start to heal off early.
Both teams had 3 medkits. Andalex, though, the pressure's on him. Noms goes down with the knock. The heal off continues now. Who is going to be able to outlive?
Andalex does have a little bit of lead in terms of those med kits, but we've seen multiple heals getting scattered around on some fallen foes. Andalex starting the last of his opportunity. Crims, he finds another one, almost fumbles the bag there, but the med kit is going to be popped. Andalex now has to turn the tides. He has to go on the hunt, sees an opponent, staring him in the eyes, trying to go for the piece control.
Andalex won the last game.
Andalex clutches up by taking down Cringe.
He does it. The med kit was found by Cringe, but it was not enough to hold on. Andalex securing that final shot for the final victory royale of the day.
And that race was so close to Kata. It was so close to the very end. Queasy, Thomas HD, Malabuka, Merstash, history repeating itself going into the final game with just 2 points. But we're all left waiting. Who won? That's the biggest question. Of course, Andalex was able to clutch up in this game. He's probably lined himself with more money in his pockets, but who went to the Global Championship?
That's the big question. 2 teams from today are booking their tickets to the Global Championship, but only one team is securing that FNCS title. Andalex and Sato secured the victory royale for this last match of the day, but who is the duo that's going to secure that Axe of Champions? There's only 3 people that can let us know. Let's head right to them.
Oh, Mini Miner, announce it, please. Look at him, he's so happy.
Casting throughout this season of Chapter 5. And boys, I was hearing from production just now that there were 2 points in it as we went into game number 12, and now there is just 1 point in it, because when you looked at our top 2 duos, neither of them had the game that they were hoping for, but one of them had the game that they needed. And it's so almost eerie to see some of these names coming back a year later. You have both Thomas HD and Malabuka looking to get their first ever major title, but unfortunately for them now, one of them could do it. One of them sadly had to settle for second place, but who will be settling for second place again?
Oh, this is intense.
The duo is divided now. They're divided by who has a major title. We're waiting for the leaderboard to come in. Levin, this is so exciting.
I mean, this is everything an FNCS should be about. EU never seems to disappoint. And I mean, just to see history rewriting itself with the same characters involved in such a special moment.
Mini, say something, man. Best person on it, Mini, talk.
Global championships now, but it's all about the bragging rights. It's all about winning that FNCS. We know how much Thomas.
Come on, Mini, man. You gotta say something. You can't just sit in silence.
That finish is just, oh, you can't write it. You literally can't write it.
And that first title just means so much to both of these players, because both of them, Malabuka and Thomas, have waited so long and will both be wanting it as much as the other. That game was incredible as well. Both teams just had it just so close at moments throughout that game. We saw Malabuka and Mustache trying to fight for that island against Cami and Seti. They bullied them off it. That was on the edge of my seat for that. That was incredible. We saw, of course, Queasy and Thomas that were fighting against Phaser and King, and they both got knocked. Both teams individually got knocked. So we were on the edge of our seats again, trying to think, are they going to be able to get the revive? Is this the moment where they win it? Is this the moment where they lose it? We didn't know. We're about to find out, though.
We had our own watch party going on in the virtual green room, and you know what? We did not want to wait, and you guys don't need to wait any longer. It's time to see the final leaderboard. And who
this is intense.
Is raising the Axe of Champions.
Who is it?
And we can now
Malabuka. By 1 point! Malabuka wins it by 1 point. That's mad. Oh my god. There's no way Malabuka wins by 1 point. You'd be so mad. 1 point. Oh my god.
This is a duo that show consistency throughout
1 point.
5 season 1, and they are your deserving champions, Mini Miner.
They say that good things come to those who wait, and oh boy, has Malabuka waited a long time for this very moment by a single point, in a complete mirror to what we saw in Chapter 4 Season 1. Unfortunately for him back then, he was on the receiving end of the loser's medal, the second place medal. But this time, he has made it happen for him, Levin, and I couldn't be more happy for these guys, and of course Malabuka in particular.
This script
Wow.
is nuts. I mean,
Oh my God.
Again, 1 point again. Look, Mustache and Malabuka, so deserving. When you look at EU history and the greatest duels you've ever had, they were always considered one of them, but they never had the title to really show for it. Now they do, in a new era of this duo, and I mean, Malabuka, he will know how Thomas feels right now. He was right there with him last year.
Jesus.
And big commiserations to
1
Thomas and
point.
Queasy. I mean, they fought so valiantly. At times, they felt like the most deserving team.
Oh, I'm gonna end stream here, though. Jesus, that was
The way they have fought.
an intense